The Pat McAfee Show.
There'll be no rules for our guests, for us, for the things we can talk about.
Yes, speaking his mind.
I've never had a problem expressing my opinions or my thoughts or anything like that.
While being relatable.
I haven't had that manufactured fake-ass celebrity that a lot of people have whenever they go on those big networks. I've had a chance to really build my crew, build my following, build my audience.
And ridiculous.
What am I supposed to do? So I'm supposed to look at something that I can definitely afford and say, nah. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
The Pat McAfee Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Good afternoon, beautiful people. It is Thursday, June 10th, 2021, years after zero. This show will begin immediately following this beat drop from Twine. I just looked over there and Zito is on a 1994 phone. Legit, I don't know. I think he's actually talking to somebody. He is. That was an insane way to start. I apologize for a little bit of a stumble off the beginning here. Before we get to anything that is important to sports society today. Kyle Long, by the way, there are conflicting reports coming out of some injury he suffered yesterday. He's going to be out, they think, a lot of training camp even, maybe all the way up until the regular season. Right before then, obviously, Kyle Long, noted Pro Bowl All-Pro guard for the Chicago Bears. Then he gets injured towards the end of his career, has a little bit of a disagreement, I think, with potential turnover in front office and coach. He goes in and elects to retire. Electric man. I got a chance to hang out with him. We got a chance to meet him. He's been on the show. He is an awesome dude. Seemed like he found passion for the sport that was football yet again. He was golfing. He did some TV, did some NASCAR talk. He was enjoying his life. But I think he felt as if his football life had a unwritten ending. So he said, I'm coming back. The Chicago Bears got him off his contract, I guess. I don't know. They have to cut him off. Ballard would have to do the same if I come back. They would have to let my rights be free or whatever. Goes and works out for the Raiders. We all thought he was going to go to the Raiders because his dad is a legend there, Howie, obviously. He must be coming back to play for the Raiders. He gets out of the building. He goes into the Kansas City Chiefs building. Then all of a sudden you hear Kyle Long is back, and now he's a member of a team that is looking to build and do the next dynasty that the NFL, kind of lost out on when the Patriots became a bad football team all of a sudden out of nowhere after 20 years of dominance. He was looking good. He looked excited. And then yesterday, a minor setback came. It is either it's a lower leg injury. Sounds a lot like hockey there, the way it's being described, because it was reported that he got hurt and he's going to be out. Then it was reported, he has a broken patella, like he fractured his kneecap. Ooh. And then they're like, still going to be back in time. Then now it's like, we don't know if it's a fractured patella. It is just a lower leg injury or something. But the timeline remains. He should be ready. There is a chance he'll be ready by week 1. Kyle Long put out a tweet basically saying, hey, I did everything I possibly could to get ready. I'm not going to let this basically kind of change any of the process that he had to go through. And I think he's going to be back. Whatever the timeline is, I think Kyle Long was dead set and excited to get back into football, found love for football again, said he was enjoying his teammates. I don't know what the timeline is. Let's assume he'll be able to beat it. We're pulling for you over here, Kyle.
Yeah, good luck, Kyle.
T's and P's, want to see you back on the field because I think that's where you want to be, and that's where we want you to be if that's where you want to be. The broken kneecap, though, whenever I heard that, I was like, yeah, that doesn't sound like that's just like a couple months, right? Season starts in a couple months, less than 100 days. There was 100. He's just going to come back from a broken knee, and then it was corrected. Lower leg injury timeline remains, though. We'll see how that pans out. There's a couple other news stories. Dak Prescott has said, see ya to Adidas. He is joining Team Jordan, the Jordan team, which, by the way, is a big deal, okay? Whenever you get, this is almost like the, when you become a made man in the mafia.
Yeah.
You know how you go into that room and they put the angel, some Italian angel card thing, and they light it on fire in your hand, and then you have to close it, and then there's like a blood thing that happens, and it's that's kind of like when you become a made man or whatever. I always viewed, and I think a lot of people viewed, if you were wearing Jordan cleats on the field, it was like you're a made man. Like, hey, I don't know, you might not be the greatest quarterback of all time or the greatest wide receiver of all time or defensive end, Dwight there. That I got into, I guess, was Marvin's old locker.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so I saw him up close and personal. They are incredible. It's just, and it feels like whenever you get invited to, Team Jordan, it's like, congratulations. Like,
Did it.
Like, we want you in here.
Yeah.
I tried to ask Freeney numerous times, is there any way we can get a white on the team? You know what I mean? Like, hey, is there any way you can get a punter on the team?
Come on.
I would love to get access to everything that Jordan drops. I think like a month in advance, maybe 3 weeks in advance of everything. If you ever need something, they just send it to you. All the events, there's fashion shows. I think the group texts are just filled with like Jeter and Freeney and everybody's in
cool.
it. It's one of these things where they said he's the highest paid NFL guy to join Team Jordan. That's awesome. I'm very excited for him. But also, it's not even about that. It's about everything else that comes with it. I asked to join that team years and years ago. Still asking to do it. But instead, I grossly overpay for all the shoes that they drop. Anyways, congrats to Dak.
Yeah.
Excited he's back.
Go, Dak.
See you later, Adidas. You still got Aaron Rodgers. Oh, what's happening with him? What's happening with everything left? Ian Rapoport hopefully clears some things up for us in about 18 minutes. He'll join us. Yes, Ian Rapoport 2 times this week. I don't know if I love it either. But the only thing happening in our world is injuries that they're reporting. He's reporting.
Yep.
Feelings that they're reporting, he's reporting.
Oh, yeah.
So we might as well go right to him and ask goddamn questions. That's what we'll do today at 12:25. Can't wait to talk to Rap Sheet. Then in the 1 o'clock hour, by the way, 1:25. First time ever on this show. Long time coming, long overdue, many would say. Host of Bussin' with the Boys from Barstool Sports, Will Compton.
Okay.
Will be joining us at 1:25.
Yeah. Here you go, Willie.
Okay, Will will be joining us. He, by the way, one of the free agents still available that any NFL team could sign if they want to open up that bank account. You're talking about glue guy, locker room guy, and his podcast alongside Taylor Lewan, Bussin' with the Boys, is awesome. I wish I was on the same team as this guy, I think, after listening to a lot of their stuff. Cannot wait to chat with him about everything going on in Tennessee. Let's talk about Julio taking number 2 instead of number 8. You know, let's talk about Arthur Smith. Let's talk about Vrabes a little bit, huh? Let's talk about where are you going, Will? Who are you going to go play for?
Boom.
Has Tampa called you? Seems like that'd be because Bruce Arians has come out speaking after this mandatory minicamp, and he said, there's some guys shut up fat and fucking stupid. Basically what he said. He didn't say that exactly. He said there's some guys that, need to get in better shape and some guys that need to get in the playbook a little bit, but overall everybody feels good. And that was going to happen because B.A. and Tom, remember, they had a public spat almost. And it wasn't like an actual spat. It was just shit talking from the head coach and the quarterback, Tom Brady, because Tom was having his own OTAs. And then B.A. was like, there's a lot of people over at those OTAs that don't even know they're in real competition for a position at this OTA. So it was like, it was Kyle Trask, it was almost Andrew Luck, and then it was Tom Brady, Blaine Gabbert, and the boys who were over here. It was like one of those things. So whenever you got, messages that Tom Brady looked sharp as ever. Hey, Tom Brady wanted to play every single play.
Crisp.
Tom Brady wanted to look crisp. Tom Brady looked like it was Super Bowl. Him and Blaine were flying around. It was like, no shit, especially with everything that was going. And you could almost say it was good coaching by Bruce to call into question while they weren't there. Like, hey, they... over there, they ain't going to do what we're fucking doing over here. And Tom and Blaine are like, child, please. Okay, child, please with this whole thing. But B.A. came out and said, some of the guys are out of shape. Some of the guys don't know the playbook, but overall feel good. Can't wait for training camp, he said. Can't wait to get there. I think that's where we're all kind of sitting right now. The Houston Texans, they've actually canceled their mandatory minicamp. Coach Dave said, hey, I've seen all I need to see.
Okay.
Yeah, this is not abnormal, by the way. If there's very high attendance at your OTAs, you basically had a mandatory minicamp for the last 3-4 weeks or whatever. So those last 3 days that everybody else deems mandatory, you can kind of give not only the players, the coaches, everybody in the building, like, hey, you know what? Go ahead and take the weekend off. Go ahead and take the week off. We've done enough work here. Now, if you're only missing one player, and you're not sure that player's even going to be there when the regular season comes, you can see how Coach Dave potentially goes, you know what? He's not going to be here anyways. We've had OTAs. Everybody on our team. Deshaun Watson, I guess, obviously absent from the entire thing. Mm-hmm. There's no way that whole thing gets figured out by the time the season comes.
No.
There's zero chances that happens, especially with how complicated, severe, like very serious.
Oh, yeah.
So Coach Dave says, you know what? We don't need it anymore. Other than that, at Boston Connor, Ty Schmidt are here. Boys behind the glass. Can't wait for Ian. Can't wait for Will, AJ, the Hammer Down boys. We have a pretty nice little Thursday.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah,
Kind of need a moment of silence, though, don't we?
I unfortunately think you're right.
Boston Bruins are dead. Just in the old barn over there on Long Island. Bob Sala's wearing Islander jerseys.
Yeah.
I mean, they are absolutely rolling right now. 6-2.
Whoa.
Embarrassed.
Whoa.
6 goals
Okay.
one team had. 2 goals by one person, by the way.
Yeah.
The other team
Good
had.
game, Brad.
6-2. And I'm sure Connor's going to say the score was not a great indicator for the game. No. I saw the score, the box score. It says 6-2.
Yeah.
When people talk about how this whole thing ended for the Boston Bruins, especially after what? You guys are going to tear that whole thing apart, right? It's a rebuild now up there in Boston.
No,
yeah, it's a full rebuild up there in
Pieces
Boston.
going everywhere.
You guys are fucked up there. It is going to read the thing that put the dagger in the heart. The last 6-2. New York Islanders.
No,
that is
not at
tough.
all.
It was a great game. Hey, it was elimination hockey. You got to experience it last night. The Islanders are a wagon, dude. Listen, it's not your fault. They took out the best team in hockey, best player to ever play hockey just one series ago. Now you guys, it was just something that it was inevitable, dude. They are potentially the team of destiny right now, this New York Islander squad.
It does feel like it. Whenever, the national anthem's being played and the person who's singing it stops for the whole entire crowd to join in and actually carry the torch there, it's going to be a long night. I mean, I don't think there's ever been a team whose home crowd sang the national anthem on their own and then went on to lose the game.
Yeah, I would assume that there are facts that somebody on the internet could look up for us for that whole thing. But whenever the national anthem singer, she might be known over there in Long Island or whatever.
Mm-hmm. She did great, too.
Great. She did great. But she might be known over there. I'm not 100% sure. But when you got that type of crowd control, she basically went out there and was like, and the whole place was like, smack! You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The whole place just was immediately like, lady, we appreciate the hell out of what you're doing. And thank you for being the, kind of starting us on this
maestro.
thing. But the whole world's watching. We're fucking back.
Yeah.
And we're about to knock the Bruins out of the entire tournament.
Best team in the league.
That place was electrifying in there. They were chanting at Jari last series. He had no hope. They were bullying him, to be honest. They were absolutely bullying him, which we should take a moment. Actually, we apologize to Jet Passing for what happened.
Sorry, Jet.
We were told we were bullies and everything like that.
You guys do.
No.
You were a big
You
part
were part of the bullying.
I ain't
part
apologizing
of
to
it.
Jet Passing after what he did to Gumpy. You
Well,
kidding me?
all right. Well, I will say Jet did dunk on Gumpy, but I did not promote that one as much as whenever we had a baseball game in the middle of his answer.
We were still listening.
No, we were listening, but I think some of the people that were watching were potentially distracted, and they went into the comments section and said that there was no reason for us to bully. By the way, if you're watching us play baseball, you're fucking bullying Jet.
That's
You're
right.
not listening.
You should be listening to Jet.
Yeah.
What do you even? We gotta look alive over here. We're talking about baseball. Baseball fucking stinks. You know how much I want to? I gotta move. I gotta move.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever heard this before, but in like a football meeting, they're like, hey, if you're falling asleep, get up and move. Like you can get up and move if you're going to fall asleep, because it kind of brings you back to life. When we're talking baseball, it's just natural for me to fucking just start dozing off. I'm like AJ Hawk behind the wheel whenever we talk about baseball. So I just get up. Whenever he says the hitters are doing something, I'll mimic the hitters. Here we go. I'm going to go look alive.
Give me that bat.
And then whenever I step in there and he's describing the situation, I'd like to put myself in the situation, not cut him off, by the way, in the middle of his answer. I mean, sometimes I'll cut people off. Obviously, that happens. It is a show, and I do talk a lot. But normally, I enjoy, people giving full answers. Didn't want to cut them off.
Floor is yours.
So I'm sitting there, and this is why, this whole speech might turn here a little bit. Whenever, when that first one comes by, and you two, right on cue, go, ball. I mean, that's one of my favorite moments in the history of the show because I was literally just in my own world over here, like trying to listen to Jet, trying to see what Jet's saying, just literally not even fully recognizing that people are watching right now.
Yeah.
Like not
You
even
forget
doing-
sometimes.
And then as soon as I buy all the way in and you guys go ball, I'm like, oh my. All right.
That was just first pitch, too.
Right, it just steamrolled and snowballed into something, and there was no mean spirit behind that Jet pass, and I would like that to be known. But what a fucking moment. Maybe my favorite moment in the show's history.
I mean, Jet understands. He's been on the show several times before. And guess what? You can't come in and do the Mikan drill on Gumpy, dunk on him 4 or 5 times, and then and then start pouting about getting bullied. You just
I don't
can't
think
do
he
it.
pouted, by the way. I think a lot of his the Jets.
The Jets. Yeah.
The
Jeffy and the Jets.
Yeah, I think his fleet You know what I mean? His
Took
hangar,
umbrage
of
to it,
course.
yeah.
His hangar, his airport, his
Sure.
whatever the. They did say that we were being disrespectful, and I like to say after watching it back, I could see how you could see it was disrespectful, but also numerous times we said, "Hey, Jet, I mean, you started this whole thing with mentioning hitting a baseball
during the Great Depression."
And then he did mention 1920.
Yeah.
So I would like to apologize to Jet for what happened. There was no mean spirit there. And
No.
to the hangar, to the fleet of jets that follow along with passing, we do not mean to disrespect Jet or No, baseball fucking stinks, but like you guys at all. Just
Love you, Jet.
Now, with that being said, the Bruins are dead. And they lost, okay, to a team, to a borough, to a city, to a fan base that is, I mean, they might have it might be the kiss, the angel kiss this year. Refs are on their side.
Yep.
Bounces are on their side.
See, you know.
This happened to the Pens. Hey, we get some good calls back in the day where the pucks would go our way. The goalie would accidentally just closes up, save something out of nowhere. It feels like that's happening for the Islanders. And I know the Avalanche are good, and Marc-Andre Fleury's still standing on his head over there. And Tampa Bay, they're $15 million over salary cap right now.
Go Bolts.
And I mean, they're unbelievable. We got a house down in Tampa, and you know, I was invited to the Tampa Bay playoff game, by the way.
Whoa! Wow. How about that?
Yeah, not by the Lightning, but by the building.
Okay.
The people that worked at the building would like to extend an
Still
invite
pretty sweet.
to us because we're down there to go. So shout out to the Lightning, the reigning champs or whatever.
Yeah.
But I don't know if anybody's getting it how the Islanders are getting it right now. They are humming in all facets, and they're getting like the good bounces, it feels like.
A lot of puck luck.
That's puck luck. There it is. That's a team that's going to... Are the Islanders going to win fucking Lord Stanley's Cup last year in that barn over there on that island, Nick?
No, with what the Lightning are doing right now, you can think of them like the Bucks of the NHL, of the NFL.
Tampa Bay Buccaneers? Yeah, not the Milwaukee
There's a lot of
Bucks.
similarities there with the veteran presence that they have and what they went through last year and being able to do it again. Now, the Islanders are scrappy, good team, great disciplined team effort, but the Lightning are going to be heavy, heavy favorites in that series. Another fun fact for you, we don't like to pile on to Connor here and the Bruins' demise, but Matthew Barzal, one of the Islanders' best players, 3 or 4 goals in the series, offense leader of the team. He was a guy who in 2015 was available to draft for the Bruins. They had 3 consecutive first-round picks right before he was picked, passed on him each time.
Oh, so Barzal.
There we want him.
Barzal.
Why would we
remembered
want that guy?
Oh my God!
Yeah, but we got pasta because of it, so who cares?
Bro, Barzal is sitting in that locker room in the barn, okay, before going out there, and all the boys are coming by with their sticks, and they're just tapping them right on his head. 3 picks, dude.
Don't forget.
That's what they're saying. 3 picks they passed on you. They thought you stunk, pal. Go ahead and go do what you got. Barzal had a hell of a series.
Hey, Barzal's a hell of a player.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, he was
Imagine
all over the
Barzal
ice.
alongside Marchand and the boys up there.
No, he wouldn't be on that
my
line.
God.
No, he
You
wouldn't be
guys
on
would
that
win.
line.
Wow. You guys would have won, but instead, here we are. Bruins are in the same spot as us, the Penguins, and that's out watching the Islanders probably go win this whole thing. It's not your fault. Hockey's dead, dude. Season's over.
Yeah, it does stink that, the 11-game hockey season is no longer going because I was really enjoying it there for a little bit, but it doesn't matter. We're not going to get blown up like the Penguins.
What's this all about? What's this all about, by the way, with your tweet?
What's that?
Good season by the Bruins. I've only watched since playoffs started. Don't be acting like.
Look.
What are you doing? You're not even a fan.
I pound
You're not a fan.
from day one. I've been pounding. Hey, look, I will hop on the Bruins bandwagon whenever the playoffs come around because I ain't watching during the regular season.
Well, it's
okay?
impossible to watch during the regular season.
Exactly. So what do you want me to do? That's all I could do. I watched when I could.
Isn't it amazing? The NHL is like NCAA college basketball.
Yes, exactly.
Whenever the playoffs start, it's March Madness. I'm like, all right, what's West Virginia doing? We're
Watch
pretty good.
them all.
All right, we're going to win.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to win it all. Oh, we got a guy. And then we benched that guy for the entire game against old buddy Boeheim, who's been illegally paid by a college basketball program for his entire life. Illegally recruited. Yeah. Carmelo Anthony started recruiting whenever he was like 6 or 7 years old. Nobody even talks about that. Buddy Boeheim puts in 75 points against the West Virginia Mountaineers right in front of my face. College basketball season's over. I only got to enjoy it for like a week and a half, 2 weeks, I think. It is a problem. The NHL, though, I think with ESPN and Turner, hopefully. I mean, Turner also, the NBA is not, unless you're a diehard NBA Tuesday, Thursday. I don't know how much
No.
the NBA ratings are not something that people go, you know what, that's what we want. But I think the NHL would be like, hey, that's what we want.
That is what we
That
want,
would
for
be
sure.
great if we were to get that same type of thing. I hope it's a lot easier to watch these goddamn games because, I watched last night. Told myself I'll win because it's supposed to be Penn's Bees.
It should have been.
It's supposed to be Penn's Bees.
That's on you guys.
I agree. Okay, and hockey season ended for me. So anytime I go to NBC Sports Network and there's a game on and I start to enjoy it, I go, no, can't enjoy this. Okay, Pens are supposed to be here.
Yeah.
Pens are supposed to be winning this whole thing. Last night in a 6-2 game, it was awesome to watch. If we could watch that all season, I think that would be awesome for all sports people. But the NHL has made it damn near impossible to do so. So you and me sit here after 3 weeks of being fans of our teams. Now we got to wait, another 49, 48 weeks for hockey to return. And that is not sustainable, I don't think, as a sport. But if they get into the merch game a little bit more, like the New York Post, maybe the NHL will continue to grow. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, there's a chance. And listen, I'm excited because I'm still alive. I mean, we got a big game tonight.
You relax. You
game tonight.
You don't even know what time the game is.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
9 p.m.
Oh, yeah.
9 p.m., which is a whole can of worms in itself.
In your house.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, picking a West Coast team maybe not the best idea because it is tough to watch.
No,
those
you didn't
games.
pick. They chose you. Remember, like all fan bases.
Well,
From day one.
Yeah, I guess you could say that, but I mean, I already got my eyes on the Habs. I already got my eyes on the Western Conference.
You're past.
Oh yeah, I mean, listen, the way Stoner's been playing, and the way Mav's been playing in net. I mean, even if we do lose tonight, guess what? Still got another game in our
Okay,
barn.
so this is not an elimination game for you guys.
No. 3-2.
Okay, so you guys are in a good spot.
So I'm sitting pretty right now.
Hey,
I'm
let's
feeling
get that to
pretty good.
Game 7. Game 7 hockey's good.
Nah.
Yeah, let's
nothing
get
like
that
it.
to Game 7.
Yeah,
let's
nothing
go
like
ahead and let the Avs go ahead and do their thing, and then let's get back to a Game 7.
See, I saw a lot of people saying that, but I heard some reports that Stoner was like, no. No, it ends tonight. So I mean, take it for what it's worth. But yeah, I have a feeling the Golden Knights will be moving on after tonight.
I heard some reports. Stoner said no. He said
That's just
no.
what I'm hearing.
Stoner doesn't like the Game 7.
No.
Nah, he said, look, we don't fucking do it.
We'll win tonight.
That's awesome.
Mav said the same thing.
Wouldn't it be cool, though, if the NHL playoffs was all season? You know what I mean? It won't be because it doesn't matter for 80. How many games do you guys choose to play over there?
82.
82 games.
56 this year.
I don't know how the dude survived, by the way, because the way the amount of skating that they have to do, the traveling, the wear and tear on the body, the hits. I mean, last night McAvoy ate like an in between shoulder and elbow
after the whistle,
right to his jaw.
That
3
was
seconds.
cheap shot.
That was cheap shot.
And then,
Cheap
No
shot.
penalties, by the way.
Yeah, then after the game, in the handshaking thing, old Trot's out there, scumbag, just like, I fucking ordered that hit on your jaw. and McAvoy's like, it's a game, pal. Yeah, that's going to happen. I don't know how they do. That's why Sydney, okay, at the best of all time, he's been able to withstand so much for so long and still be so productive, the greatest of all time. I don't know how hockey players do it. Can we not shorten that season and just make it one big sprint?
Yeah.
Maybe we just shorten that season and make it one big. Are they ever going to shorten that season, Nick, or is it going to go to more games, you think?
No, because you shorten the season, you're taking money away from the league, the owners, the players. They'll never do it.
No, but what if the ratings are up? Let's go. Let's talk about, changing where we think the revenue should come from.
These guys really don't get like any time off either,
Ever.
do they?
No,
It feels
back.
like the NHL ends and then there's like a 3-week month break and then they're back already.
Now, once again, this might change with ESPN and Turner, but those guys were doing that. They're getting paid very well, but nobody was watching any of these fucking games.
No.
We went and did a little deep dive on the average ratings of like NHL and MLB because I don't know how any of these people make money. I don't know how the MLB makes any money. I guess it's hats. We landed on hats.
Hats in the locals.
Hats in the local thing.
Hats
but-
and hot dogs.
Hats and hot dogs. And they have so many games, I guess. Then you look at the NHL and the average rating, it's like 60,000, 50,000, 40,000 people in some places. It's like, how are they making any money? If those ratings went up, you would think you'd be able to make more revenue off of that. Do you shorten the season and do so? Probably not. Hey, I want more hockey. I just like to be able to see more NHL playoffs because as soon as my team's out, it's hard to even give a fuck.
Yeah, it stinks.
High stakes hockey.
It's a
High
bummer.
stakes hockey. Yeah, Game 7 coming, by the way, for the Golden Knights and the Avs here.
Can't wait.
After Stoner's statement of no.
Hey, they were pulling in 10 million people watching in Canada for the Leafs and Avs series.
That's awesome.
Both Canadian teams, right?
Yeah, and Canada.
But that was just in Canada, so you factor that in with whoever was watching in the States. It's not all dire. There's some hope.
No, we're talking about that. We're saying the NHL playoffs is awesome. We're saying is how do we get like the game on Monday in the middle of nowhere, middle of timeline where everything else is on. How do we get anybody to watch that? Hopefully ESPN and TNT figure that out. Joining us now is a man who would never have to worry about that because the league that he works for is always the topic of conversation.
Oh, yeah.
And I wonder if the NFL ever sits back and thinks about the times when they weren't potentially. You know, like back in the day, the NHL right now is trying to grow, right? We're trying, they're making moves, they're trying to grow, trying to grab eyeballs. I assume it's what everybody's trying to do. NBA has to figure out how they take advantage of their digital imprint as opposed to just the TV rating stuff. The NFL, though, never, ever stops.
No.
This morning, it was reported by Rapoport, Pelissero, and the NFL folks that Kyle Long got injured this morning. It was our lead-off conversation.
Yeah.
Who knows how it's going to go? That's what the NFL is, ladies and gentlemen. Rap Sheet and Friends host Ian Rapoport.
Yeah, Rap Sheet!
What's going on, dude?
What's up, man? How are you?
2 times 1 week. How do we feel about it? We hate it or like it?
Hey, I like it. There's no one that I'd rather talk to except for, well, I guess my wife and my kids. Pelissero and Garofalo I like a lot. A couple of my buddies from high school still hang out. A bunch of my friends from town. Some of the people I see at pickup. Not all the people, but I would say some of the people, you know, kindergarten or second grade pickup. So definitely among the, I would say 40 to 50 people that I love talking to.
I was at 19, so I was off a little bit. I don't think I knew how big your pickup game was over there, but I'm happy to be in the top 40. All I got to do is make top 50 one time in a Champions Tour event, and I get $20 million. Top 40 with you is priceless, my friend. So let's talk about the NFL right now. You and Pelissero, Garofalo. I think Pelissero is maybe the first one on it. Kyle Long, lower leg injury. Then it was maybe a fractured patella. He'll be back, and then now it's back to lower leg injury. What are we hearing here out of Kyle Long? This is a shame because Kyle Long, it felt like he was so happy to get back into the game. He was with the Chiefs. He was doing well. What are we looking at here for our guy Kyle?
Well, it's to me, it's sort of two things, right? And this is something that me and Pelissero worked on while he was toiling in his office this morning, and I was on hole 4 or 5, missing a lot of putts. Kind of nailed it down this morning, got a lower leg injury, did a bunch of tests. A couple things about this. One, the overwhelming reaction is basically like you said, where everyone just hates it because Kyle Long is the best. It was a really cool story. Out of retirement, the kind of guy who comes back and gets himself in really good shape and has a chance to make the team and be a starter for the Chiefs. So he is out until probably the start of the season. So that is bad news. It seems like it's some sort of significant break. That's the bad news. The good news is people are talking about it like he's got a chance to come back week 1, which means he's probably going to make the team, right? Like everybody loves Kyle Long, and this was a cool story. But when someone comes out of retirement and hasn't played in a year and is kind of trying to reinvent themselves, we don't know if they're going to make the team at all or not. And the fact that it's being discussed now that Kyle Long will be back by week 1 or week 2 maybe, that means he's probably going to make it. So it's not all bad.
Ian, what are we? Ian,
how catastrophic.
Ian, I understand that for some people they retire, they come back, they might not make it, but there was not a single report that Kyle was not going to be a starter for that team, was there? I thought it was all.
No.
I thought we're all very much understanding. Like, all right, here we go, Tooney, Kyle's in there. They go to Orlando Brown. Like, hey, they got a holy. That's what I thought. Was that not the? Was I misreading that?
No, and I think a lot of people were saying. I'm just saying, like, I've seen this too often where you have a guy who's either coming out of retirement or the last leg of their career. They come into training camp, and then sometimes those guys don't look the same, and sometimes they don't like it the same. Like I remember when I was in New England covering the Patriots, there were a couple training camp retirements. I think Teddy Bruschi had one. Troy Brown had another where you show up for camp, you're ready, and then you're like, wow, I'm not ready for this like I thought. So missing a year, he had a lot of injuries. I was sort of not sure about it, but now it does sound like he's going to make it at least.
Ian, that's awesome news for our guy Kyle. Happy to see him get back out there. I'm sure Patrick Mahomes is also excited because I think the thing that happened with Kyle when he retired was mentally, emotionally, he might have checked out of football. Seems like he's all the way back. Hopefully the body will be able to keep up with it. I'm very happy for him. You stink at golf, huh? That's what I heard in your original answer.
No.
It gets covered. That's a shame.
Well, I would say today I played okay. I hit the ball really well. I didn't putt at all. So I scored not as well as I would have liked. So I would say kind of an up and down day. My game is not really where I kind of hoped it would be this time of year, but it's still early. So.
What are we, just a couple weeks in, right? You go after the draft. When did you really start your golf season?
Yeah, after the draft, you kind of start to hone in. And my handicap was kind of low, and now it's kind of getting up again. So I need a lesson maybe or two, kind of a fix-it type situation. Then maybe I'll get back to making some putts.
Well, it sounds like you just need to practice putting, Ian, instead of putting around with all these bullshit stories that you guys are fooling into the internet. I mean,
it's just not as fun as hitting drives.
Yeah. Hey, you got to drive a show. Hey, putt for dough now, Ian. Okay. All right. I see you at the turn. All right. Okay. Would love to golf with you someday. What is the next big thing now that OTAs are over? What do you have going on? What's the thing we should be looking forward to? Dak going to Team Jordan? Is that the big news for the next week or so? What should we be looking at here?
I do not do a lot of reporting on player shoes. That seems like more of a basketball thing. Although I'm happy for Dak. He's
gloves too, and hats, and clothes.
Whatever. But good for Dak. I'm sure it's a lot of money. It's very nice. I'll tell you what's kind of interesting happened yesterday, and it was under the radar. The Texans canceled mandatory minicamp. So, not a big deal. Like, a couple teams, the Eagles, the Colts, have canceled it. But what this means is Deshaun Watson doesn't need to show up. Like, that would have been, for next week, that would have been a pretty big storyline. Like, does he show up or not? Does he risk getting fined? Does he risk losing his guaranteed money? What would he? But now they canceled mandatory minicamp because they're all good, according to David Culley. So one of the big stories for next week is kind of off the table now.
So maybe Coach Dave did that so they didn't have to deal with all the bullshit of, do you find him, do you not find him, does he show up, does he not show up, how's everybody doing with Deshaun? Everybody has to answer questions about Deshaun, who probably don't have any answers about Deshaun, because I don't think anybody has any answers about Deshaun, and that's going to be a long thing. Good move by Coach Dave.
Coach Dave.
I didn't know that. I didn't really piece together that is why also, probably in the reasoning for why he canceled it, because for us, we had like 99% attendance for the OTAs for like 3-4 weeks or whatever. Yeah. And the mandatory minicamp was at the end. And the one player that, we were kind of waiting on to show up, I think, showed up and he was hurt. So he couldn't even play. So Chuck was like, all right, everybody we don't need this mandatory minicamp. We've had 4 weeks of this already. You can go home. So it's not like abnormal to cancel it or whatever, but right. I didn't even think about all the potential PR that is saving them as well. That's good. How is Coach Dave? We don't know anything about him. That guy got dropped in the worst position a head coach has ever seen, right? I mean, that has to be at the time, is it not?
It's the craziest thing. So David Culley is basically the most anonymous head coach in the NFL. The only reason I even knew who he was last year, and I do this for a living, theoretically, right? So I should know a lot of the head coach candidates.
Not theoretically, you actually.
I mean, actually and theoretically, but yeah. So the only reason I knew who he was he came up in a discussion about potential head coach candidates, and I reached out to John Harbaugh like 2 years ago, and I'm like, somebody mentioned to me that David Culley should be a head coach. Am I crazy? And Harbaugh was resounding, stood on the table for his guy, like David Culley should be a head coach. He is a leader of men. He's one of the best assistants I have. Why people aren't interviewing him, I have no idea. Probably because he's not a coordinator. He went on and on, so I kind of put him on my radar. So whenever I got to discuss him, I was like, just so people know, this is a guy that John Harbaugh says is absolutely ready to be a head coach. And he has a couple head coach candidates on his staff. So then when he interviewed for the Texans, kind of in my head, I was like, I need to keep an eye on this guy because he's probably going to have a good interview. And then he won the interview and got the job. And then, oh, by the way, here's the Deshaun Watson situation. So we have no idea about David Culley, but how anyone manages that, from Nick Caserio to David Culley, that is challenging.
I like that Dave Culley, by the way, Coach Dave, has, to the press, basically been like, we all know what the fuck's going on. I have no idea. Yeah. All right? I understand you have to ask me these questions. He's like, I don't have any answer. He is, I think we all have quite a feeling of empathy for Coach Dave for his whole situation. Because then, was it you? No. It wasn't you. Somebody reported that when he got that head coaching job, it wasn't you, but it was a rumor. He's just he's kind of holding this job until Josh McCown knows whether or not he wants to be a head coach. I mean, that's immediately upon this guy becoming a head coach. Like the next day, it's like, okay, so I'm here to I'm a placeholder for Josh McCown, and then they're like, Jack Easterby, by the way, is calling the shots over there. Deshaun Watson, it doesn't want to come back, and also now there are some very, 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 very serious allegations. Coach Dave had to walk in there and just go, this head coaching thing is not what I thought it was going to be at all in this entire thing. Was that your reporting of the McCown? No, you wouldn't.
No.
Yeah. Okay.
It was not. Now, I did hear the rumor, but I never heard anything to like really substantiate it. Now, they did talk to Josh McCown and officially listed as a head coach interview, I guess. So it's not crazy. And I do think McCown will be a head coach one day. So there is something there, but I never got the sense he was like a placeholder, I would say, for Josh McCown. And I mean, you're right, though. Like, he walked into it. Nick Caserio walked into it. Everyone has probably, starting from Bill O'Brien and some of the trades he made, I mean, the Texans as a team has been pretty widely ridiculed for a lot of reasons. Like this year, they were a terrible team last year. Nick Caserio changed over the entire roster, basically all new players. And people are criticizing him because he has all new players. Never mind the fact that a lot of the players who were there last year were very bad players. So it's like they can't win, and the only thing that matters is until they take the field. So there's like a big disconnect between what people think is going on there and what is actually going on there.
Well, we don't know what's going on between McNair and Easterby, though, so I don't think any of us really, truly will ever know what's going on in Houston. You ever meet Jack Easterby? Theoretically, you should have met him.
I have never met him in person.
Damn. Oh, you've talked to him, text him? You follow him on Twitter? I follow him on Twitter. He put one out this weekend. I was like, okay, Jack.
Should I follow him on Twitter?
It's like once a month he'll show up.
Just kind of drop in with some inspirational stuff. I could use a little bit of that.
Do you follow? What do? Do you do the internet for anything other than just showcasing the information you know? Do you follow? Are you a big Gary Vee guy? You look like a big Gary Vee guy.
Yeah, you do.
Hey, you're a big Gary Vee guy.
Huge.
Not a Gary Vee guy.
Whoa.
I hate him.
Whoa.
I mean, he's involved with an agency, and I like the guys in his agency. Can I say something without being insulting?
Yeah, of course.
I doubt it from the way you talk, by the way.
I have no idea what he does. I really don't.
Yeah.
He's famous, but I have no idea why.
He gives great advice.
Yeah.
Great advice.
Invests and stuff.
Garage sales. He teaches people how to make money.
Playing
wine.
cards.
Currently big wine guy.
Yep.
He's an author. I think he's a speaker, obviously.
Pokemon cards.
Pokemon.
Wow.
He does do Pokemon cards.
Yeah.
Pokemon cards?
Yep.
People still do it?
Logan Paul had Charizard on.
That's right.
Yeah, come
Charizard
on.
right on his team when he came out for that fight. Did you watch that fight, Ian? Are you a normal human? Did you see that fight?
Did not see the fight. I'll tell you why. And it's not because I'm against completely ridiculous shows of sports or whatever that was. I am for lunacy. Like I'm pro. Okay. The problem is it's very late.
Oh.
And I love boxing. I really do. Like going to a fight is awesome. And I probably will never get to do it except maybe if I happen to be in Vegas, and I never watch because I am old and I have kids and they get up early and I don't like when I stay up till 1 and then they're jumping on my head at 6.
Yeah, pro lunacy, but let's get to bed. All right, let's get to bed. 9 o'clock.
Yeah. Right.
If it's how do you watch Sunday night football, Monday night football, Thursday night football, Wednesday afternoon football? How do you do all this?
All right, you want the actual way? Like if you're asking, I will tell you.
Oh, you
So,
record it, watch it in the morning.
No. That actually would be smart if I did that. No, I have to watch it real time in case, like, Myles Garrett decides to swing a helmet or something. You know, like you have to.
That's a good point.
You know?
Yeah.
Have to be awake for that. Have to be awake for that.
I was actually taking my dogs out because there was a minute left in the game, and my phone explodes with everyone in the world texting me, and I'm like, what in the world could I have missed with a minute to go? And it was Myles Garrett. No, my method of watching is I'll watch, probably the game until the third quarter, and then I will take my iPad. I will get in bed. I will watch. It's a little too much info. I will watch the fourth quarter in bed. Make sure there's nothing I have to report on. Put the iPad down. Go to sleep, and then wake up for Good Morning Football at 5:30 the next morning.
Well, we appreciate your dedication, all right, and all the bopping. Let's run around.
Bop City.
Let's run around the OTAs real quick, shall we? Justin Fields, Justin Fields looks very good. Darnell Mooney said that he was smiling the first time he ran a deep ball and saw the ball in the air. Matt Nagy said it seems like he'll take your heart rate out. Justin Fields going to be the guy up there, and all reports sound great for him. Is this a game changer for the Bears? Are the Bears going to stink? Is Nagy going to get fired inevitably here, or do we think Justin Fields is a guy right now? Is that reports right now?
I think Justin Fields is a guy, and I don't think he's going to start, but like, he can only look so good for so long until everyone goes like, okay, hang on, like we got to get this guy in the field. Now they do not want him to start. They are not planning on him to start. They're planning on Andy Dalton to start. They're going for the Patrick Mahomes, Alex Smith model. Alex Smith was like the number 1 rated passer or something that as he kept his job. Is Andy Dalton, I mean, if Andy Dalton plays like that, then you're not going to bench him, but it's going to be very, very interesting if they're like 4-6 or something like that. Fields is looking good in practice. Like there's going to be some moments for the Chicago Bears this year where they have a decision on like which way their organization's going to go, knowing that it is a very important season for all the higher ups.
So what's that called? A paradox? A paradox is when you say something and then immediately contradict it. Mm-hmm. Is that what a paradox is? I'm not 100% sure. Yeah. You went to a big school and did that. Them saying they want to have the patience and everything and not have him start, but then immediately go like Nagy might get fired though if they don't do well. There's going to be no patience then, right? You just assume if Andy Dalton is... Listen, Andy Dalton is a gunslinger, okay? Yeah. Andy Dalton got beheaded last year on a field, and he's getting back onto a field. Mm-hmm. Andy Dalton won in Cincinnati. They don't have an indoor practice facility or a scouting department, I don't think. So, like, Andy Dalton, a good player. But if you're Nagy and you're staring down a potential firing, right? There's only a couple, like, what do they have to do? Like, you know what I mean? Is it 2-1? What if they're 1-2, 1-3? Like, and that's very early in a 17-game season. I just feel like Andy Dalton, if he doesn't win, he's out strictly because of the conditions. And Justin Fields might either get thrown in there way earlier than people think, or maybe he just goes in there and fucking dominates. We have no idea. That's why OTAs are a blast to talk about. What do you have, Connor?
Yeah, on the same tone rap sheet with Cam Newton and Mac Jones, is that the same situation, or is that a full-blown competition now?
I would say it's more of a competition than the Justin Fields Andy Dalton one is, because I think they plan on Andy Dalton starting absent something like, you know, unless you just can't keep Fields off the field. For Mac Jones and Cam Newton, I get the feeling it's going to be more of a real competition, because Cam last year obviously started, but there were some moments when he, just being real, did not look like a starting quarterback, obviously. And I think Mac Jones, where he is mentally, is probably going to be ready very quickly. I think it's going to be the first actual real training camp battle that New England's had in, like, I don't even know, 3 decades. Like, it is going to be really fascinating. And, you know, I think just because of how advanced Mac Jones is, he is going to be pushing. So I have no idea what's going to happen. I think they'd like Cam to start. But again, like, you got to play the best quarterback. So if Mac Jones is ready, like, I think Bill will put him out there and say he's just our best player.
Ian, you hearing anything new about Todd Gurley? The reports are that he's in Baltimore on a visit, but they have a pretty loaded backfield. Are any other teams interested, or do you know where he potentially is going to wind up?
I thought he was going to be a Lion. I thought he was going to be in the Pride. What happened?
I thought he was going to be a Lion too. They couldn't get to a point contractually where they were both comfortable, and I kind of was checking on it, and then now he's headed to Baltimore. And it's interesting because Hunter Henry went down with a little injury, according to Mike Giardi.
Whoa! What is it? Is this a Bill Belichick thing or a real thing?
We'll see what the Twitter says. Okay. According to Mike Giardi, my esteemed colleague, injured his lower leg during a 7-on-7 midway through practice. Got his ankle foot retaped, but after testing it on the sideline, never returned.
Phew.
Instead, viewing it the remainder of his practice from a knee. So if he was on a knee, I guess he couldn't.
Well, and if they thought he could potentially tape it to get back into an OTA. Okay, so Hunter Henry is a little banged up, maybe a little twist or a sprain or something like that. That is not that big of a deal. But not good enough to get back out there and practice. These are necessary reps for Hunter Henry to get back in there with Jonnu Smith and maybe Mac or maybe Cam. Is everything okay up there? What type of camp are they running in New England?
Yeah, who the hell is throwing the ball? Why did he be in the position where he's going to hurt his foot or ankle?
Well, he was making a play.
Hopefully.
He's making a play. Period about midway through practice, he got that ankle foot retape, but after testing on the sideline, never returned instead of viewing. Okay, so we might be wrong. Can't jump to conclusions. This does not sound like that big of a deal. Hopefully he's okay. Don't like these injuries coming out of these OTAs, by the way. Nope. This is what everybody's talking about. You know, on OTAs, on premise, off premise, who's hurt, who's not. Does this matter? Nope. Okay, so let's just figure this whole thing out. Let's get back to Todd Gurley real quick before we got to get out of here and you got to get back to your life. You think he's going to be a Raven? You think he's just waiting until training camp, kind of testing out, see what do you think this is?
No, I think he could actually sign. I will say honestly, like I was surprised that the Ravens would bring him in because if you're going to bring someone in, that means you might sign him. They got Dobbins, they got Gus Bus. I mean, that's a pretty solid backfield. And of course, every fantasy football person lost their mind when they saw Dobbins' carries might get split. But it's a little depth. I don't think it's going to be too expensive. I mean, Gurley at this point in his career is not going to be commanding $6 million. And he's a Baltimore native, so maybe he'd like to come back home.
Oh, you just went back to
I guess
Georgia?
he's a big Orioles fan.
Oh, let's go us. Let's go us.
They stink.
Yeah. Mets beat him pretty good last night. Anyway,
Mets stink too.
But it's definitely something to keep an eye on. And if the Ravens think they can get a good deal for a good player, I think they will do it.
All right, we appreciate you so much, Ian. We got to get to a break. I don't know what you got this afternoon. Hopefully it's working on your puck game. We appreciate you. Ladies and gentlemen, host of Rap Sheet and Friends, currently on hiatus. NFL insider for NFL.com and NFL Network, Ian Rapoport. All right, let's get to a break. We're back on the other side. Can't thank you enough or Ian enough for joining us right there. We'll see you in 4 minutes. AJ Hawk will join us, and Will Compton will join us. Then the rest of a day of just so much fun.
Yeah!
Here on SiriusXM Channel 82, Mad Dog Sports Radio, YouTube.com/The Pat McAfee Show.
I was told by Del Curry, Scottie Pippen struggles on a golf course. Right?
Right.
I was told at that thing that I'm going against Scottie Pippen the next day, match play, heads up, one-on-one Scottie Pippen. So we decide, like, okay, we could probably have a couple drinks, stay at the casino a little bit longer than we should.
Representing the NFL out of the Shoeless Golf Club of America, Pat McAfee. His opponent, representing the NBA, Scottie Pippen.
You know what I mean? This guy's got 6 rings. Yeah. He's a fucking Hall of Famer. But today he's going to play against me. And then I start seeing Scottie hit some shots that are just like starting to come together. And I'm like, wait a fucking minute. I think I was lied to.
We were lied to yesterday. We were told Scottie Pippen was a terrible golfer. Bro, he's Scottie fucking Pippen.
Going in the back 9, I think I was down 1. Like, we were battling. But I started making putts. And Scottie Pippen went ahead and got real hot. I mean, real fucking hot. I was down 3 with 7 left. And I looked right in the camera, and I go,
so we're down 3 with like 7 holes left. Scottie Pippen's about to get this work.
Scottie Pippen from 190 yards out just fucking dunks it. Fucking boom, bang, and then walks up to the green, gets the ball, cameras on him, and he goes, Pippen ain't easy. Kidding me.
All right, down 4 with 6 left after Scottie Pippen just chips him from fucking 400 yards out.
I was fucking demoralized.
Pippen ain't easy.
By the way, best he's ever performed at golf, because I'm around, better teammate than Jordan.
Yep.
People forget. Oh, yeah, I told Del, I was like, Del, what the fuck you lying to me? He was like, well, I saw it yesterday. He was not great. And Greg Anthony told me, and I was like, Del, he buried me, Del Curry. He buried me. He was like, hey, Pippen ain't easy.
Yes, baby, it's time to celebrate.
Talking about a shotgun of beer after he had beat me. Obviously, I like teach him how to do it.
Yeah, put a hole in there. It might spread a little bit, so.
Yeah.
So you're going to go here, and then you're going to open and flip up. Does that make sense? Congrats on winning the NBA a couple times, blah, 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 blah. And being an incredible golfer. Right, well, cheers. Appreciate it. Hey.
Damn.
Okay,
That's
Scottie.
the best Bud Light I ever had.
Hey, there's no Spillane up here.
You right.
Can we take a moment of silence for the first 2 to 3 years of Zach Wilson's career? Because all he's got going for him is Bob Saleh. That's it.
Moment of silence for his mom, who made her Instagram follow. That's what I thought we were doing.
That's what I thought we'd do. Let's go to Chris and Indy. What's going on? Mrs. Wilson. Hope everything's all right.
Yeah, she jumped out there right with some hot takes, and then
she got a fake mask she wears.
She
AJ.
does not like Hooers.
Not a fan of Disney.
She doesn't like
Or
Disney
Snapchat.
or Hooers.
Oh, there's going to be a bunch of Hoovers running around Zach. She said enough of it. Not on that Snapchat.
I am caveman. Me throw rocks. I make fire.
This is the Pat McAfee Show on Sirius XM Mad Dog Sports Radio. We thank you for taking the time to seek out this small regional show that streams internationally. Here's Pat and the boys.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Caveman song was just too quick. Got in there.
All-time classic.
It's 100% my fault. The guys over at Roback, RHOBACK, have been sending us their performance polos, quarter zip pullover, and hoodies, and we'll be honest, we're in love with their stuff, aren't we?
Oh, man.
Love
the
them.
best.
It's soft, it's comfortable, and it's incredibly fresh. Roback allowing us to be active while looking good is an absolute game changer. Not mentioned here, by the way, is their hats.
Oh, man. I love this thing.
It's a great logo.
Yeah.
It's a dog hair, and it's a good fit. Your head looks much better with that hat on.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
No problem. And Ty, I know you wear a couple of their custom ones. You look unbelievable with their hats.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
You have a small head.
I
you
do.
have a large head.
Yeah.
All heads welcome with the Roback hats, which I appreciate.
It's awesome.
A lot of skull.
When you see someone rocking a Roback with their dog logo, you just kind of give them that subtle nod because you know they get it, like a Jeep wave.
Yeah.
No, don't. I don't think they want anybody barking in public.
Oh.
That's not very subtle.
Bingo, Jay. Fucking Jay heard it. SUBTLE.
That's how you spell subtle.
Roback's performance polos are next level. It took them over 20 iterations to get the perfect collar structure that lasts after many washes, unlike any other polo out there. Their print designs are... Oh, yeah. Their print designs are starting to take over and gain the attention of several NFL stars. I'm not even a big polo guy, but Roback's polos are so good that whenever I put on a collared shirt, it's got to be a Roback.
You were saying that.
Use code PAT at RHOBACK.com for a generous 20% off for all new customers through the end of this week. Woo. That's RHOBACK.com for 20% off all polos, quarter zips, hoodies, and performance tees with code PAT. They have a new summer polos on the way, so go check them out at Roback.com or RHOBACK.com. Let's get to a phone call real quick before the hour ends. Kyle in Illinois, what's going on, bub?
Hey, Pat. Big fan of the show.
Big fan of yours.
Just down in Broad Ripple, Indiana the other week. Heard you recommended a nice swim in the canal there.
All right, Kyle's a hack. All right, so let's...
Okay, good to know. Good to know. Kyle in Illinois.
Broad Ripple was the area in which I was put in the back of a wagon, shackled, at 4 a.m. in the morning, October 20th, 2010, for allegedly swimming in the canal that he's referring to there. It's a beautiful part of town.
Yeah.
A lot of good restaurants, bars, a lot of drunks.
It gets wild up there.
That's what I was doing before the alleged event occurred. That's their side. I have mine as well, Kyle. Thanks for coming to Indianapolis. Hope you had a great time. Broad Ripple, a little bit out of downtown, still in downtown premise, so you might have been out at Mayor Joe Hogsett's backyard, so he got a chance to see you have a good time out there. Because if it was any time, in the last 18 months or so, I think even looking at that canal will get you thrown in jail over there, Kyle.
Can't do it.
You're lucky you escaped here with some freedom. Now, at this point, though, it feels like we're starting to come back.
Oh, yeah.
Lucas Oil Stadium can't be filled up in the fall, but we are starting to come back. Science is starting to say we're in a good spot.
Let's go.
There's commercials coming out there like, hey, you want to hug your grandma? Go get vaccinated. I mean, there's a little bit of incentive there. I'm thinking about putting up a massive, massive award if we get to the point where we can say Lucas Oil Stadium can be filled.
Yes.
Let's
Out
do it.
2 with AJ Hawk on the other side and Will Compton. This is the Pat McAfee Show. I think I've realized this year with the conversations, you do seem to be a rather normal human, which is very interesting, right? I assume for a lot of people to hear. AJ said, no, you are not a normal human. But because all the stories about you before this year, to be honest, a lot of people, the way they believed is you were the smug king almost is what the thing about it. And then getting a chance to chat with you, it's like, well, that's not the case at all. How is that like something you have to focus on? I assume it gets hard whenever you're hanging out with, Scott Stapp is hanging Aaron Rodgers jerseys up in his goddamn office. That has to be pretty weird.
Well, look, I think that's an interesting thing to talk about. I think a lot of times, people have said things about me, and it's been the same few people, and that's been kind of the prevailing story or thing that's reflected on. I think for me, I talked a lot about the work I did on myself. It was nice, and it wasn't intentional. Like, I didn't sign the show to have, and you guys know, we talked about this off air, but there wasn't, some agenda doing this. It was fucking talk to Pat and AJ every week? Yeah. Sounds pretty awesome.
It has been, by the way.
It sounds amazing. But what it's allowed me to do is, I think, silence all the douchebags out there who were, talking for me and making themselves more relevant by using my name or, running with stories that were not really based in any type of fact. And look, I've grown as a person. I've said things and done things that I wish I'd handled a little better. But this was a great, natural, authentic, whatever, whether it was 15 minutes at the stadium or 45 minutes to just bullshit and have a conversation. If you're a friend of mine, if you know me, I think this is about as normal as interaction you're going to see from me. It's not a lot of BS. You're not going to hear cliches and garbage. I'm going to, shoot from the hip mostly. Tell you as much as I feel comfortable telling. I feel like I've been as honest as I could be. I've told you guys a lot of fun stuff. That's fun for me because then I don't have to maybe rehash it on a Wednesday, or people get to see a different side of you that maybe they didn't even know was there or didn't think was there. And it's been fun for me. I really have. I've appreciated every single week we've done these. And like I said, the best part is there was no agenda. There was no plan. I mean, even us, we didn't know we were going to go 10 minutes or 15 minutes or an hour. We just started fucking talking, right? And then this came out, and it's been a lot of fun.
Today's challenge will be a frozen pizza basketball shooting relay. Zito and I will have to eat half a frozen pizza. Once we finish a half a frozen pizza, our teammate that'll be next, in my case, Nick, will have to make a layup, then a free throw using the same ball. Once he makes those, he will then pass the ball to Foxy, who will have to make an NBA three and then a half-court shot.
Boys, are we ready? Get to our spots.
Zito and I are starting.
Social distance. No, the social.
Cheers to pizza.
Pat is off to an early lead. Pat is dominating Zito. Zito eating much slower. Zito's eating much slower than I thought he would.
I used scissors to cut this son of a bitch in the fork.
Pat used scissors to cut the pizza because we do not own utensils in this office.
I'm cramping up.
Zito is cramping up. Nick, go. Free throw now for Nick. Zeke is still finishing his pizza.
Yay!
Foxy, you're off. Foxy from
you
three.
You can rebound for him, Nick. Let's go!
Bailey, go!
Foxy, Big Motor's gonna pick that up. Oh, yes!
Hey, McAfee is off to quite a lead.
Oh, my God! Oh, Nick!
Oh, he's down!
On the wall, Nick!
Bailey hits the... Foxy's on! Bailey at the free throw line. Is he choosing to granny like he did?
Oh, Bailey's going
Connor,
in.
go!
That was going in.
Foxy is at the home run. Connor misses. Foxy barely misses. Oh, this is electric. Hey! Pat is now on to the second half of his pizza, and Connor cannot buy a bucket. You hate to see what's happening here.
Stooge.
Oh, an air ball at this point. Has Connor ever shot a basketball before? Connor hits a three. He's now back to the half-court shot.
Here we go.
People will remember that in this same position, Connor went 0 for 12. 0 for 12 in basketball.
He's stacking, Pat. We need you.
Oh, there's a stack guide. That was his original plan. Are you regretting the stack decision? The Joey Chestnut of pizza basketball racing, Pat McAfee, has finished. Nick, layup, go. He's getting psyched out for Billy McCollum. Doesn't care. The free throws. Nick, first free throw up, air ball.
Take your time,
It's not even close. Don't worry, Zeke has like 6 pieces left.
Take your time, Nick. Take your time.
This is the Billy McCollum factor. Foxy is up. Foxy from 3.5.
Bingo. Bingo. If he hits
All
in his
Foxy
first
needs
swing,
is a half
we'll
point.
give away 5,000.
Oh! 5,000 to the commenters who picked Team Pat.
Suck it, loser. I finished. Congrats.
The Pat McAfee Show.
There'll be no rules for our guests, for us, for the things we can talk about.
Speaking his mind
I've never had a problem expressing my opinions or my thoughts or anything like that.
while being relatable.
I haven't had that manufactured fake-ass celebrity that a lot of people have whenever they go on those big networks. I've had a chance to really build my crew, build my following, build my audience.
And ridiculous.
What am I supposed to do? So I'm supposed to look at something that I can definitely afford and say, nah. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
The Pat McAfee Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Coming to the deep end. Welcome back to the Pat McAfee Show, Thursday, June 10th, 2021, hour 2. Hammer down, boys, in studio. Let's get this thing started. We appreciate you guys. Gumpy is still hot. What are you? You're 9-1 or something like that in the last 2 nights?
4-1 last night. Keep her going. We got Euro starting tomorrow at 9 a.m., baby.
What are you doing? Are you doing a spaces on your Twitter? Is this for live betting?
We might set up a camera out there. 9 o'clock first game. Let's get cameras on it.
Yeah.
Italy money line under 3.5. Here we
Italy
go.
money line under 3.5.
That's the parlay first game.
Okay, do a little watch along alongside that thing.
Why not?
Why not?
Why
you
not?
said.
Let's
Let's
go.
do it. I'm excited for you to continue the heater that you're on because yesterday we thought you could potentially get knocked off the tracks whenever ESPN baseball stooge specialist, great guy, jet pass and dunked on you twice. I would like everybody to know that I don't like that for Gumpy.
No.
Did love that it happened though. You know, jet passing, suited and booted, investigative journalist. You know, taking off from the foul line, dunking on Gump. But I did see last night you delivered quite a video back to Jet. Is this thing over, or are you two at a truce at this point? And I like the fact that you're still incredibly fucking hot gambling wise, pal.
Yeah, nothing's going to take away from gambling. We know that, Pat. That is, that's
locked
number
in.
1, yeah. And whatever Jeffrey wants to do from now on, I mean, that's up to him. The ball's in his court.
That's
right. Okay.
Oh, the baseball's in your glove,
Yeah.
pal.
Goal.
All right? The baseball's in your glove over there. That was a lot of fun to watch yesterday. At Tone Diggs, COVID Cowboy, host of Hammer Dahn, youtube.com/Hammer Dahn, 4 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time every single day. I feel like your guys' show is really starting to go. I enjoy watching it. I mean, we've been interrupting it the last couple of days.
awesome. I love it.
Strictly because we're bored and potentially on CBD out there, and we're just walking in there. But the show is unbelievable. You guys have been crushing it. I want to let you know, I think we all feel this way. Don't say it enough. Incredibly proud of what you guys are putting together, man.
Good job, boys.
Not easy to do, dude. I really like what you guys are putting down out there.
Thank you. That means a lot. And we are going to hit a slow period here after the Euros are done.
Are you guys
going
going
to
to take a break? Are you going to have 2 seasons?
No,
Is this
we'll still have the
season-
NBA playoffs. And then, luckily for us, the entire preseason schedule for the NFL just came out. So we can just handicap every single one of those games for a few weeks.
Zito did come into my ear in the middle of the Ian Rapoport conversation, and hold on now. Zito did start speaking into my ear, okay, in the middle of the Ian, you fucking children. All right, listen. What? You.
I don't even know what we're talking about. No way.
He
No way.
started
I caught it now.
speaking into. Oh, now you did.
Yeah. What was it?
He was speaking into my ear, basically. Thank you.
What was it?
This is what we get. This is why we won't win Emmys. You hear me?
Well, I don't know what we're talking about. It went right over my head.
Yeah, exactly. So Zito started speaking into my ear, though, in the middle of the Rapoport conversation.
Beginning.
In the middle of the thing, because I had asked him a question already. He was answering, and I was just sitting on the camera, and you asked me, there's no talk back for me to go back. So this is a one-way street. Zito just coming in, and I shake my head like this in the middle of the call. I think Rap Sheet synced that in like kinda, and then Foxy put him on the full fucking screen there. That was it. He was like, hey, Zito comes in, preseason games have been announced. I was like, I don't really care, but I could see how that could be great fodder for you guys, because guess what? You can bet on those. You can make money off those. You have no idea what those third quarters are going to look like. You don't even know what insurance guy is going to be playing defensive line potentially for some of these teams. But I like the fact that you guys are going to project on what the bets are going to be, and with the way you guys have been betting, they're probably going to be smart picks. Joining us now is a man who has all the smart picks in this world. Every bucket of life this guy has somehow succeeded in. He's a college football national champion, a Super Bowl champion. He's an entrepreneur. He has somehow survived driving while falling asleep his entire life. Ladies and gentlemen, AJ Hawk. Hey, Roback! You got that Roback.
That's right, man. Are they still with us? They're still with the show?
Hey, the guys over at Roback have been sending us their performance polos, hoodies, and quarter zips that AJ Hawk is wearing right now.
Yeah.
How is that? You like that, huh? That's like right in your vein of clothes that you wear, right? Like kind of... Yeah, business leisure.
It's perfect. Like I said, I cut it off into the 3/4, like the old baseball shirt. So I just wonder if they're going to eventually sell them like that.
Oh, the AJ Hawk.
Whoa. The Hawk back.
Oh, the Hawk back. I don't know how you would change. It's a
3/4. It's a 3/4 zip. So
that's what it is. Hey, you see, there's one.
Yeah.
There's another. For all this time, they've lived in two different worlds. Let's bring those things together.
Come on.
Let's do 3/4 zip, 3/4 sleeve. Let's bring it together. AJ, let's talk about some news. Kyle Long, friend of the show, lower leg injury. He is going to be back before the season, and Ian Rapoport alluded to the fact in the first hour that means he was going to make the team, definitely. I thought that was a foregone conclusion, and these injuries that happen, especially in OTAs, such a fucking mood killer in the locker room.
Well, first off, look at that left arm right now. You tell me that guy's a threat to not make the football team?
Hey, listen, especially with his football knowledge, his IQ, he's been there. It felt like when he retired, it was mental and I guess some physical injuries as well, which get people in that thing. But I was baffled by the thought of that means they're making the team. That must be a question somewhere. But
he's going to start. I thought he was going to start there.
So did I. So did I. I thought Orlando, Long, Tooney, who else? You guys got rid of Eric Fisher and Schwartz, right?
They're gone. Laurent Duvernay's back.
Oh, the dog is back. Yeah. The whole revamped offensive line that we're all like, all of a sudden they have like top 3 offensive line in the NFL right now. And we just assumed Kyle Long was going to be the starter and make it back because of how good of a player he was before he retired. But this is a bummer, dude. And this is one of those things where Kyle Long, pretty infectious guy. I think as soon as he got signed, he didn't leave Kansas City. He was like, hey, I want to get back into the mix of thing, wants to be a team. That's the bad part of these OTAs. It's like, it gets better, but if you lose anybody in OTAs, training camp, or preseason, everybody starts looking around like, man, was not worth it right there, you know?
No, it's not. Luckily, I guess, for Chiefs fans and for Kyle, I think, thankfully, they said he has a good chance to make it back by week 1. And it's not an Achilles, it's not an ACL, one of those deals that would put him out for the full season. So, but unfortunately now, in June and July, instead of sitting there getting into football shape and really fine-tuning everything, he's going to be rehabbing whatever he has.
They were just going to maul people too. Orlando.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, he was going to go try to kill people. Mm-hmm. That was going to be a great. Now, how do they replace that? I assume that if he's scheduled to return right before season, offensive line, I don't think that's one of those ones where you just, as soon as you're healthy, you're right back in. I don't think, right? Is it? Unless rehab.
Depends. Yeah, depends how good you feel and depends how many games you've played in this league. And I know Kyle had a year off, but this guy has plenty of games under his belt, and he has knocked out plenty of people.
And I guess this is, by the way, where the physical therapists, the trainers, the staff that's in Kansas City, it's like, okay, how do we treat this injury how we're supposed to, but also keep your body in shape well enough that when you get back, you won't get deboed by some other incredible athlete that has been training the entire time. That's like that full, when somebody puts together the regimen or like whatever the fuck it's called, the process, the procedure. Is that what it is?
The rehab plan?
Yeah, but it's called
the
something.
plan.
Regimen's a good one.
I think, yeah, whatever it is. It has
manifesto.
Yeah, maybe one of those things. But there's like a full thing. It's like, hey, we're doing this because of this. We got to do this by this day because of this. Like, that's a very fascinating part of injuries.
Timeline.
Yeah, timeline. There it is. Fucking hey, come on, dude. That's not a tough word either. I should have got that one.
Hey, but with Kyle
on?
though, Pat, don't you think they're going to be very conservative with when they get him back in and how many? Like maybe they ease him back in. They know, hey, we have 17 regular season games. We're going for the Super Bowl. We need to make sure we're ready when it counts. And they want that depth. And they don't want something to happen like happened last year in the Super Bowl.
Chris Ballard told me.
Yeah.
And he said I was allowed to say this publicly, and this was one of the only text messages he has answered. Okay,
come on, Chris, wake up, dude.
I mean, that's good.
Was this before or after the criticism of Julio?
Yeah, this was before this was before that one. They signed that tackle from the Chiefs, Schwartz
Fisher.
They signed Eric Fisher or whatever. And I was like, congrats, because Costanzo had retired. That's a big deal. Costanzo was like a staple for a long, long time there. Don't think he got as many.
Yeah, under the radar guy that was very, very had a ton of benefit and brought a ton of value to that team. For some reason, didn't get mentioned that much.
Yeah, he didn't get that much, and it's because Quentin Nelson came in, and Quentin Nelson. I think Anthony Costanzo would even say, like, he made me better, it made us better. But that was the guy, like, hey, this is potentially greatest guard in the history of football playing right now, and we're getting to watch it. So I think Costanzo maybe just kind of blended in, because not a lot of offensive linemen are going to get talked about, especially when Andrew Luck's the quarterback and T.Y. and everything that's going on. He signed a big deal. He was a staple to our line for a long time. So whenever he retires or whatever, I heard from him the other day, by the way, I think life is going very good for him. Hope he's well. The signing of it, I was like, is this guy going to start then? Does that mean he's back? Because it was an Achilles, right? Wasn't it an Achilles? Yeah. Does that mean he's going to be back for the season? And Chris Ballard was like, I'm not going to rush him. Hey, I'm not going to rush him. We got a long season, especially with 17 games. It feels like, and this was why it was such a pivotal, a pivotal negotiation piece. Okay, in the CBA is adding that extra game, because guys are crawling to the finish line at the end of seasons in positions that, maybe you obviously see superstars, they end up with season-ending injuries, but there's a lot of other positions that you just get wear and tear through the year. So I think teams are starting to try to figure out what they're going to need for this 17-game season. It's allegedly going to go to 18 soon, by the way, which I think the day it got to 17, I think I said, oh, so that means 18's right around the corner then. They'll add another bye week in there. But I think GMs are trying to do that, but I don't think anybody's going to know exactly the full effect of this until we do the season. I think it's going to change some things for the way teams are structured.
How's it going to change?
I think they're going to add more offensive linemen.
Yeah,
I think there's going to be
carrying offensive linemen is tough, because your backups only really play like on field goal block and field goal.
Yeah, and they don't cover kicks. They don't do anything like that. But guys, I mean, I think you're going to need. I think offensive linemen that aren't, the people that play like 7,000 straight snaps or whatever, there's some turnover on offensive lines. And by the way, that person potentially was just signed to the team a week ago, 2 weeks ago. It's like, I just think there's going to be some positions that do hand-to-hand combat, and there's a lot of shit that happens that we don't hear about. That 17 games could be long-term effective.
To your point, and with the O-line depth, both in the Fisher with the Colts and Kyle Long with the Chiefs, the Colts also signed a dude who started the last 3 seasons every game at left tackle for the Chargers. And then they do have Tardif coming back for the Chiefs, who was their starting right guard for the Super Bowl.
So let's load up here. Let's load up. We don't know how these guys. What if we start seeing a rotation at some positions? That would be insane. There was no way it would happen, because offensive line needs to be together and everything like that. But I think we're going to see some injuries in those positions that are going to potentially be, affected to a real run in all these teams that are loading up at positions. The Chiefs, the Bucks. It's like the Chiefs understand, like, hey, we might get an injury in one spot and we're fucked. The offensive line in the Super Bowl obviously went down. We were in a bad spot. We got to load up in this so this doesn't happen. The 17-game season is something that is fascinating. We don't really talk about it anymore. It's a good thing to talk about right now because there's nothing else to talk about. But that 17-game season This is going to change a lot. What, they go to 18 games, AJ? Now they're going to Germany. I mean, it's going to become a whole thing here. It's going to be like the soccer over in Europe. They play like all year round. I think this is going to be, once they see the money that 17th game brings in, and then maybe Apple or Netflix or anybody else, Google potentially getting involved in purchasing rights. I mean, there's just going to be, here we go. Let's buckle up. It's a good time to be an NFL fan, I think.
Oh, yeah. But yeah, okay. What's the max amount of games you think they'll ever get?
I mean, his internet today.
I know, but hey, that was going to be.
We can't understand anything you're saying.
Yeah, shut down the system, dude.
All right, we know your people coming after me.
You people.
Kidding me?
No.
Yeah, yes.
I mean, you're living next to Lex Wexman.
All right, see you later, AJ. See you, man. I'll call you back.
Good, yeah. Because I knew he asked, should I hang up on him?
Yeah. The 17-game season, if that is what some GMs are doing in like offensive line positions and stuff like, because these guys, and it goes into the conversation about opioids and Toradol. And last night there was a Dark Side of Football about playing through injuries and doctors of teams potentially misdiagnosing players so they can get back on the field. John Turley was on this documentary last night that I watched. And he said the way he was treated in St. Louis for the Rams was nothing that I had heard before, but it was nothing that I had witnessed, I don't think. But it was also a lot of what we had heard about why you need to go get a second opinion and everything like that. It was fascinating to listen to about how he was getting these codeine shots in his leg, in his hip or whatever, played through in the entire season. And then he went to another doctor and he had a herniated disc in his back and he was like almost close to being paralyzed or whatever. And he was being told by the doctors that, no, it was just something that was happening. It wasn't maybe a pinched nerve or something, and we'll just shoot it up so you don't feel it or everything like that. You had heard those stories. I had heard those stories. And I think as a NFL fan growing up, I had heard those stories as well, that was what was going on. But it's now the marijuana, an extra game. It's like they're going to have to really manage that whole thing.
Yeah, for sure. And I think the Packers, to your point about the linemen, are kind of starting to do that right now, and obviously the 17th game's part of it, but I think they also looked at last year, like when Bakhtiari went down, like they were just a completely different team. I mean, they faced all that pressure in the NFC Championship, and I think they could have got like a bunch of receivers and stuff like that, but they've kind of focused on the offensive line.
Yeah, let's get to a break here. AJ will join us on the other side, as will Will Compton.
Here we go.
We'll talk to Will Compton about, not only his incredible podcast alongside Taylor Lewan, Bussin' with the Boys, but also, he's a free agent right now.
Yeah.
Where's he going? Are you going back to the Titans, Will?
Ooh.
What are you trying to do out here? I don't think I've ever met Will in person. I wish I was a teammate of Will's. He played special teams, Oh,
yeah.
I mean, that would have been... I can't wait to chat with him. Hopefully AJ has figured out the internet over there in Ohio.
Yeah, maybe.
By the way, big Ohio problems over there. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
A lot of them.
I think in Ohio, actually, Cicada crashed a car.
Probably.
Yeah.
I think a Cicada crashed a car in Ohio. And listen, that's the first of what I assume will be many fucking... Keep your heads on a swivel out there.
Roll your windows up.
Windows up.
Windows up.
Every car out there.
Hey, sun things, moon things.
Yeah.
Windshield wipers on, even when there's no rain. Because you never know when a cicada is going to need a pow!
Yeah.
Because it's coming. These 17-year-old bugs are a problem.
Ain't messing around.
They need to get their asses back into the dirt.
In the ground.
Now. And I don't need them undertakering out of their coffin 17 years from now.
No.
You need to be gone forever.
Stay down there.
They're killing people, shutting down planes, hurting my eardrums every single time I go home.
Yeah. Bingo.
Messed up.
Done with it.
Can't have it.
Will Compton, AJ Hawk on the other side. Be a friend, tell a friend. This is the Pat McAfee Show, Thursday, June 10th, 2021. I have a surprise, obviously. That's what this show is all about. We have boots on the ground in Cleveland, who I assume knew this was going to happen all along. Ladies and gentlemen, live from Cleveland, Mr. Jason Glazer. Your thoughts on Kyle Pitts to Atlanta, fine sir? Oh, there's a delay.
Well, first and foremost, Pat, I'd like to say, hey, listen, thanks for having me. Cleveland is beautiful this time of year. Granted, it does smell like a mixture of poop and diarrhea and sewage.
Jesus.
It doesn't smell great down here.
Jesus.
But I'll tell you what, 27 years in this thing, I fucking live for the draft. Love being down here. Love being into Cleveland. But yeah, Kyle Pitts, listen. What do you want me to say? I knew this 2 weeks ago.
Really?
I mean, do we need to do this whole fucking song and dance?
Okay.
I'll give you guys 1 through 32 if you want to know. You know, do you want to have fun?
That's nice.
You want to not know who's going? But yeah, I had this 2 weeks ago. You know what I'm wondering is if the guy you had in your studio, Mad Mel Kiper, I know that sorry son of a bitch didn't have this 2 weeks ago.
Mike's not plugged in.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. I actually just explained it.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
No, you didn't.
Yes,
No,
I
you
did.
didn't. No, you
Yes, I
didn't.
did.
No,
I
you
had
didn't.
this.
I did.
Yeah,
I
no,
did.
no, you didn't.
I did. You
I
did.
had this. I
I did.
had
You
it.
did.
Trust me. Can
You
I
did.
talk for Christ's sake?
Okay, fine, yeah.
Can
Go
I
ahead.
talk?
Go
Okay,
ahead.
yeah. Like I said, Kyle Pitts,
No, you
unbelievable
didn't.
talent.
No, you didn't. You didn't fucking have
Yes, I
it.
did.
You're a bad sack of shit,
Jason.
Kiper. I know it. I looked at your mock draft.
Jason, please relax. Oh my God. I had no idea it was going to get like that. Sorry about that, Mad Mel. Obviously, there's a little bit of content there. He's saying you don't know your ass for a fucking hole in the ground, though, Mad Mel. How do you feel about that from Jason Glazer live in Cleveland?
Well, classic move. You know, Glazer looks like he's getting ready to go to a goddamn titty bar or something like that. I mean, dress up, pal. It's the NFL draft. Look at me. I'm dressed to the nines. You know, you look like an asshole. I mean, just get him out of here, can we? I mean, is he going to stick around? Can we get him the hell out of here?
I think is his microphone still on? Jay, can you hear us? Jay, is everything good back there?
Listen, fuck you guys. I'm out of here. I'm going over to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I'm going to hang out with Dee Snyder and Twisted Sister.
Are you serious? Okay, Jason, sorry. Thank you so much. And ladies and gentlemen, Jason Glazer.
Thank you, Jason.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Here we go.
Woo! It's a knockdown at 6 seconds.
6, 7, 8.
He might be dead.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Come on. Come on. Say it loud, ref.
Ladies and gentlemen, with the match ending in the first round, your winner by technical knockout,
Thank you.
the red corner.
Woo! Fuck you, buddy. You too. We did it. We did it. Yeah. Listen, am I the greatest Oculus boxer of all time? Possibly. But getting punched in the actual face is much different than the fake shit. So I'll continue to go in here, battle against these jabrones, and keep it moving. I am tired though, even though it was quick.
Every day is game day for these guys. It's showtime on the Pat McAfee Show.
Welcome back to that show. It is Thursday, June 10th, 2001. Back joining us live from his attic in Ohio, AJ Hawk. Thank you, AJ.
Wow.
Baby AJ. Thank you for joining us, pal. I appreciate you, man.
Hey, thank you. Is this the time when we have Will coming up sometime in the next couple minutes?
Yeah, I mean, this was what you were doing at the beginning of our show whenever we started with this thing, where someone would become... What's that?
You know what would help if you just let me know what time and if people are coming on. Then I wouldn't have to ask.
Yeah, but if you had the internet...
Like a simple text.
Yeah, but I mean, if you had the internet, we talked about this whole thing. I mean, you and I literally talked about this right beforehand. We couldn't hear each other. I tried my best, you know what I mean? But at the beginning of this whole thing, you remember when you were doing that? I mean, that was your thing. We come out of a break.
Yep.
Hey, welcome back. AJ Hawk still joining us. Hey, when's blah 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 getting here? Okay, now that you said that, let's get right to it. I mean, I like that. You know what I mean? Because the anticipation for some guests should be like that, especially with who we have joining us here for the first time ever, I do believe. A man that both AJ, myself, the boys have admired from afar. A man that I wish I got to share a shower with. Ladies and gentlemen, host
Never too
of...
late.
You're right. Your host of Bussin' with the Boys, also an NFL free agent right now, legend of a human, Will Compton.
Yeah!
boys. Hey, listen. Give me a minute, Pat.
All right, you got it.
Zito, Foxy, Diggs, all the boys behind the scenes. I know they work a lot harder than we do. Pat, I would be dumb not to thank you guys. Pat, we've had a lot of conversations with Bussin' with the Boys. You've helped mentor me in a lot of ways. But I am stoked to be on here. And obviously, the guy who was hung up, who was hanging up in middle school, a poster, Under Armour, first round, to Texas house. Click, clack, baby. AJ Hawk.
Yeah! That's what I'm talking about.
Thank you, Will. Good job. Hey, Will. Pat said when guests come on, they need to come hard right off the jump. So good. You came very, very hard. Right
All
there.
right.
So I appreciate
when you had that
it.
poster up, you didn't know that was the type of human it was, obviously. AJ and I have talked about you, Will, off air, but I think the overwhelming, resounding opinion from all of us is, I wish I was on a team with you, dude. You seem like one of the coolest dudes of all time. That Bussin' with the Boys with Taylor is a very, very good show. And I think from your Instagram and from your conversations you have with people, you have a lot of respect around locker rooms, man. It's a very, very cool thing. We're thankful you're here too. So I just want to let you know that we appreciate you're here too.
Hey, that is an outstanding compliment. You know, sometimes there's a lot of the glitz and the glamour. I would have loved to have showered with you gentlemen as well.
Yeah.
But I do, man. I love the camaraderie. You guys know the biggest thing when guys retire, they miss the locker room the most. So I feel like I always have the perspective of knowing that it's going to end soon and to enjoy it as much as I can, like while I'm in it.
How many years? What year is this next year going into?
Year 9.
Hey, we're free agents. What are we doing? Are we going back to Tennessee? What's going on? Are you going? By the way, congrats. Congrats. Yeah. It's
Thank
not
you.
easy to have that long of a career. Are you going back to Tennessee? You telling Vrabes, let's go? Tannehill opened up some money for everybody, it sounds like.
You know, when they made the big trade with Julio, I texted Arthur Smith right away. I said, hey, you didn't have to clear up that much cap room for your boy. I'm a free agent, man. I'll play for anybody. Of course, Tennessee, I'm living in Nashville. I'm waiting on Vrabe to text me again. Hey, are you ready to go? Or have you eaten too many ribeyes or smoked too many cigars? That's the text I got last August. But I'm ready to go, man. You know how it is. I'm staying in shape. I'm not know where I'm ranked on the old scouting list for everybody. Scouts have been trying to pin the boy down for 9 years now. I think, for the most part, every opportunity I've gotten, I've exceeded expectation and overachieved. So, hey, the boy, I'm ready to grind for whoever, man.
That's awesome.
You are. Hey, and you mentioned having Julio now. So what is Julio going to do, you think, to that offense in Tennessee? And how much better is the team going to be this year compared to last?
I mean, what do you think Julio's going to do? The dude is an alien. I hope everybody's on board with the whole alien Tennessee thing. Like, they have superstars there now, man. They got AJ, you got Julio, you got Derrick Henry. On paper, if the line stays healthy, one of the best O-lines in the league. Shout out to boy Taylor Lewan and Bussin' with the Boys, clearly.
Right.
And then you got Tannehill dishing it around everywhere. I mean, the dude can throw it. He can chuck the ball deep. He can do all the things. He can hand it off, of course. And then don't sleep on my boy Anthony Ferkser, the tight end over the middle. Everybody's going to be trying to double AJ. Who should we double? AJ, Julio. We're going to give the ball to Derrick. Play action pass. Anthony Ferkser over the middle. They got an offense, man. You know, they're going to have to put it all together. I know Vrabe is mediating and tempering all the expectation, all the hoopla surrounding it. Fortunately, I'm not in the team meeting rooms right now, so you can't dummy me in the team meetings. But I can kind of talk freely of what the Titans might be able to do, and I'm fired up to see what they're going to do.
I'm excited for you to potentially get back into that team meeting room, and Vrabel will go, big shout out to fucking Will saying we're going to Super Bowl.
Hey,
all right?
When Brave has me in the team meetings, man, it's a little different. I'm definitely not this way. I'm sitting there, assholes a little tighter.
Oh, yeah.
Brave, I'm sorry. I'll temper it down on the internet.
Thankful to be here. Thankful to be here. Love what you got going on. Love what we're doing here.
No doubt.
You got to do what you got to do. Let's talk about Tannehill, though, a little bit more, because you got a chance to see him both in practice, in the meeting rooms, everywhere, and on game days, especially with his meteoric rise right now in talent level, it seems like. Now, he was obviously a wide receiver in college, transitioned into a quarterback. Miami Dolphins fans say whenever he was healthy, he was good, but it was under Gase, so you didn't really know. He comes in there and has been unfucking believable. Is he a guy, too, like off the field, whenever you guys are traveling, locker room, it seems like he is Cool dude. They gotta. You think he's there 10 years now at this point? You think Tannehill is going to end up being like premier guy? It seems like he's on his way right now.
You know, I'm gonna say he's a premier guy. He came in, he backed up Mariota, came in and just lit the place on fire. From my understanding, he's gotten to be in the same offense for a long time, and he's kind of just taken this thing head on. He's a pro's pro. Like, yes, he is one of the boys, but he's also one of those QBs. He keeps it very professional. He's got a wrench up his ass sometimes walking around the locker room because you know what I mean. He's commanding an entire offense. But he is one of the boys, man. He has fun. He knows when to have fun. But for the most part, he knows how to be a pro's pro. But I'm a big fan of Tanny.
Hey, what about Arthur Smith? You mentioned him. What's he going to be like as a head coach in Atlanta? I know, Pat, you've had him on the show before and talked to him. He seems like kind of a reserved guy. Like, what kind of leader is he?
Hey, I have nothing but good things to say about Art. We joke around. We call him the head coach of Big Dick Energy because he would always come around before games and be like, hey, let's bring some Big Dick Energy today, boys. And he would just fire us up. And then afterwards, like say the offense won a big drive, which was a lot of the time. He'd come in and be like, how about that Big Dick Energy, boys? And just honestly, I'm a huge fan of – what happened?
I don't know if it was us or you. Zito, I think, tried to pull up a graphic and just –
Don't be swiping.
No, was it him or was it us?
like an update. It was an update.
Oh, no, an update on you as well.
He killed the vibe.
Yeah, I mean, it's over. You know what this is. It's not Zito's fault, by the way.
No.
This is technology, though.
Yes.
I mean, Will, what do we do?
Bill Gates.
He's
bored with the divorce.
Slow down. Oh, my God. Anyway, sorry about that, Will.
You're good.
Go ahead, though. What are you going to say about Art?
I was just going to say, hey, I have nothing but great things to say about Art, man. He really is. He's a leader. He's a leader amongst men. The dude, he's had every opportunity to be a silver spoon guy his entire life. When his dad's owning FedEx, he's always taken the hard road. He's one of the boys. He's one of the most genuine, real guys who will give you real feedback as a coach, and I respect that a lot about him.
His dad was a Marine, I think, whenever he came on, and whenever we were first talking, like the first 4 or 5 minutes, I think we were trying to figure him out, during the conversation. Yeah. And then we got like, oh, this guy's a dry asshole. Okay, he's a dry sense of humor asshole kind of like this guy. Yeah. That's kind of, we kind of got to that, I think, like 6 minutes into it. We only had like 15 to 20 with him, but we came away after it. I think I came away much more impressed with him as a human than obviously the offense is going to be incredible and everything that he's been able to do on the offense side, everything like that. But cool guy. I don't know how you don't become a silver spoon guy, by the way, Will. I have the utmost respect. I don't know how you don't get comfortable. I mean, I've only tasted it for a couple of years now at this point. I have no idea how you don't become a full douchebag there. You know what I mean?
No doubt, dude. And it's crazy too because Art was on the second time on Bustin' with the Boys. We call his dad to talk about a gambling story with FedEx.
Yeah.
And he calls his dad, and his dad answers. And before he gets on the phone, Arthur, he sits up straight. So, hey, their old man, their parents, they did it right, man. They got him in check.
Will, whatever you hear about this Aaron Rodgers situation, and you've been on a lot of teams. Okay, over your years, obviously most notable with Tennessee Titans, but you've been around. Tannehill is a guy. What is it like when you're on a team where there is a guy playing quarterback? Me and AJ have talked about this, and then a place where it's like you don't know. Isn't it a much different world whenever you have a quarterback that is an absolute stud? And do you believe, alongside me and AJ, like, hey, whatever we got to fucking do to keep this guy happy, just keep him, if you have a quarterback? Don't you feel that way, or you view it differently than us?
Well, we're in the media game. I'm a free agent right now, so I can't pigeonhole myself into any situation because I'm very fond of Matt LaFleur and what they got going on. But man, A-Rod it's Aaron Rodgers, man. He's an alien as well, like Julio. He's going to be in the Hall of Fame. It can be a run play, and he's just going to dart it out to Devontae Adams. Or Deontay. Oh, man, I'm really butchering that name.
Yeah, you're not going to be teammates with that guy.
Hey, if I get on that team, I want to come in. Hey, I apologize. That's on me.
Yeah, that's old me. Yeah.
But, that's a great question for AJ Hawk. He played with Green Bay.
Go ahead, Todd.
Will, how hard is it to stay committed to just being in shape all the time when you don't necessarily know like what's coming next, especially when you have the podcast on the side? Like, is that just like a lifestyle at this point?
Yeah, man, it gets difficult at times, especially when you get older and, you're on your back nine of playing ball. You got to be you got to be self-motivated a lot, just because there's times where I'll have to work out that I might have to fly somewhere else and go do a thing for bussing. So I think I've done a really good job compartmentalizing all of it. Getting into this whole industry was very, we can talk about the climb and the success it's had, but there's a lot of fear and anxiety with potentially thinking, hey, I might play myself out of the league with being the first NFL active player podcast where we're just kind of slinging it out there. But it's definitely difficult. Like, it has its challenges like everything else. But as long as you prioritize, I've learned a lot about organizing, scheduling things out, planning stuff ahead of time. I've definitely been on top of all that stuff with working out. It's gotten harder, but I love doing it, man. I love being able to juggle both and then be an example for guys that aren't necessarily superstars to kind of show, or either give them the courage to show that, hey, you can do both things as long as you prioritize and do it the right way.
Yeah, and to your point there, when I had my show when I was playing,
hey, on my phone.
Yeah. I'm joking. But I was hated by the people, some of the people that were making decisions, because I was doing that. So, like, for you, I could genuinely see how you would potentially fear, like, okay, if I do this, am I potentially running myself out of an opportunity because they'll say it's a distraction as opposed to anything. And when you get labeled a distraction on some people's minds, it's over. So I think the ability to balance that you've been able to do, unbelievable. Fucking really, really, you and Taylor as well. And with the level of the show, it's a great show, and I hope you continue to get opportunities to play, because I think that's a big part of why your show's so good, because it's like, hey, this is somebody who's living it right now, as opposed to people, even me, I'm like 4 years out, I think. AJ's more than that. It's like, that's a whole different, you have a much different view of the locker room and a much different world than even us, and we're like the youngest in this thing, you know what I mean? So I hope you continue to crush it, and I hope teams continue to realize that you're an asset to their team as opposed to a potential detractor,
Oh, I appreciate that, man. I feel like over the last couple of years, I've been able to kind of show that.
Yeah.
And it was definitely like, there's the whole fear factor too. Like, it's not like I'm like a Taylor or even you, like you were a Pro Bowl punter that decided that route.
Still a punter.
Right, still a punter. Yeah, I know you can still kick the ball.
No, I'm saying, but on the team, I was still the punter though,
For sure, but I'm saying, like, as somebody who year in and year out is more of a minimum guy, I've been on minimum deals. And if I can easily get labeled that distraction. It's like, okay, well, this guy's not worth it at all because he's not gonna, X, Y, and Z, whatever they want to say. So there's definitely like that element to it. So I've been glad and fortunate to have been able to do it on the Raiders and the Titans last year.
Yeah, but I think the football guys listen to your show and they're like, yeah, we want that fucking guy in our building. I think you're always gonna. That's my immediate take from that is like, I bet that Titans locker room is fucking awesome over there.
Yeah.
That's my immediate. Go ahead, AJ. Sorry about that.
I would say, Will, do you think like the turning point for your show, like when it really the jumping off point came when you had your head coach Mike Vrabel say he'd cut his own meat off to win a Super Bowl as a coach?
There's no question that when Vrabel came on and said he'd cut his dick off for a Super Bowl, him and when Jalen Ramsey came on and talked about how he was trash talking everybody, I think that's when a lot of stuff set off for us. And then Jalen gave us a shout out, to the media, making a media guy say who we were, like, okay, give him credit. If you want to bring it up, like, say their name. Pat did a great job throughout that year, shouting out the boys all the time.
Okay, gotcha.
Hey, you guys know it's a collective thing.
Yeah, it is. Well, listen, I'm pumped for you guys to continue to grow because this sports media is filled with, there are some slap dicks out here. It is a real thing. Diggs has a question for you, but before we get to that, and by the way, COVID Cowboy's big fan of yours. You didn't shout him out earlier, but he did, Diggs. Okay, I'm so sorry. I thought you may be pissed on this Cowboy. You had Johnny Manziel on. Speaking about being labeled a distraction, and I watched some of the clips. I didn't get to listen to the entire show, but I texted you immediately, and I was like, what did you think of him? What was your, if you wouldn't mind, what was your full takeaway of Johnny Manziel? He's a guy that I've only been around one time, but the entire world has kind of watched that guy's life happen almost at this point since winning a Heisman at his freshman year or whatever. Was he a good guy, cool guy you'd want to, like, what were your thoughts on Johnny Manziel? I feel like he is one of the most interesting people in sports history at this point.
Yeah. I thought he was awesome. You know, there was questions I wanted to ask personally to where it was like he felt, because I know he's done a lot of interviews talking about his perspective on everything. And you're right, like literally everyone has gotten to watch his life kind of unfold because he was in the same breath as like a Tom Brady and a LeBron. Not because he played at that level, at the pro level, but because of what he did in college. He was a household name. He was Money Manziel. And so I was curious how he would respond when I'm sitting there being like, you know, hey, as an undrafted guy watching this all unfold, it's like you're watching a first rounder just swindle an opportunity where I would kill to have an opportunity like that. Or Taylor asking him, hey, do you have any regrets? Him saying no, obviously it's taken a long time for him probably to get to that spot because I can only imagine the mental when you come down from that peak. Oh, yeah. But even him saying no to Taylor and Taylor just kind of look at him and be like, that's interesting. And then kind of just leaving some dead space to where it's like, what's going to happen here? I thought he handled himself very well. The perspective he has, the extreme owner. Yeah, dude, it was. I was sitting there and I was like, I hope that, you know, we got to get something rolling here. But the extreme ownership he had and all the situations he talked about, like he could have easily talked about, you know, being in a better situation, playing in Cleveland. He alluded to some things, but not at the expense before he just outed himself in the whole thing. But I think, you know, it's all subjective at this point. You know, who are we to think if he does have that perspective now? I hope he does, because everything he said on that podcast I thought was very enlightening. I was happy to see that his headspace is that way, because living with regret is just one of the hardest things to live with, man. And if it's always on your mind, like, you're never really going to get out of that slump, and no one's really going to save you other than yourself. And I feel like he's done that.
Okay, good. I'm happy to hear that. Go ahead, Diggs.
Well, I'm not sure if you remember this play or not, but Steelers middle linebacker Bubby Spillane had to meet your teammate Derrick Henry in the hole at the goal line last season.
Yeah.
Being Derrick's teammate, is that just the worst thing that could potentially happen to a linebacker in football?
You know, this isn't going to be taken like the best way, because I love Derrick. Derrick is one of the boys, and I love we're boys. Like, I love Derrick as a friend. But watching Bobby take advantage of his opportunity in Pittsburgh as an undrafted cat who was with the Titans, we got to be in the same room, and I just got to see this kid's passion for football and just his unwavering work ethic when things didn't go his way in OTAs and even training camp when he was actually having a good preseason with us. And just seeing him be out there with the Steelers, picking Lamar Jackson off and taking him to the house, hitting Derrick Henry on the goal line, and watching him make plays week in and week out before he unfortunately got injured. I was fired up to watch Bobby Spillane take the bull by the horns and run with that opportunity as an undrafted guy.
Was that the biggest neck you've ever been around?
Hey, he would come in. We actually played the Pittsburgh Steelers after a preseason game, and I was telling Taylor, kind of laughing with him about old Bobby Spillane, because he's got the best personality. And I was like, man, hey, Robert, he's all fired up. The kid just loves football, and he comes walking on the plane after the game. So I was like, hey, Rob, I saw you out there and make that big interception. He's like, oh yeah, man, you know, I love football. I'm just excited to have the opportunity. Hey, Taylor and I just looked at each other and just started dying laughing. But I love Bobby Spillane.
Oh, you just got a buried Bobby.
Yeah, sorry, I got to say that story.
I don't know.
Well, I just love football.
Hey, you need those guys.
Need them.
And by the way, you're one of those guys too. Yeah, and you're.
I love football.
Yeah, big.
I love football. Coach Vrabel, LaFleur, Arthur Smith, every head coach.
Will, you're the absolute man, dude. Go ahead, Ty. Oh, Connor, I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah. Will, on that same note with Derrick Henry, when you're practicing against him, is it just known like, hey, we're just going to two-hand touch this guy, no one has to tackle him, or do you just have to, strap it up and just go full speed and do what you can?
No, it's pretty much known like, hey, there's no hurting Derrick Henry out on this football field. But, I mean, the dude runs hard. He's a workhorse. He's truly one of those guys who they don't, as a superstar like that, like the Joe Thomas, I've heard stories that he would just show up on Sundays. Derrick Henry hasn't been that way as of yet at all. He goes to every practice unless he actually is injured. But the dude is a workhorse.
Who'd you hear? Hold on. What'd you just say? You heard Joe Thomas just shows up on Sunday? I understand that there's two different ways. Yeah. Dwight Freeney, towards the end of his career, he'd come out Friday he'd be there for practice, but Fast Friday, he'd be a part of the walkthrough, he'd be a part of the game part of. Then there's like Robert Mathis, who I think Robert has always believed like, hey, I need every single rep or I'll suck out there. What did you say about Joe? You just kind of slid that in there about Joe Thomas.
Just slide that in there. So we had Andrew Hawkins on, and we were talking, we were on Joe Thomas, how they do their Tomahawk show and everything he's done with Joe.
Emmy Award winner.
Emmy Award winner Hawk.
Yeah.
And he was talking about how Joe, toward the back end of his career, because he played with Joe, how Joe just didn't show up until Sundays, and he would play on Sundays because his body took that much time to get ready for a Sunday game. And then Joe came on our show. He called in. My CTE might be kicking in, but I think he confirmed that story on our show.
So he wasn't even in the building all the other days?
You know how it is, Pat. He might have been in the building, but they're just laying in the training room. You go in and dap him up when you come out of the hot tub. Hey, man, I wish I had your life. Like, I hope it's all good. As you're putting on the helmet and the pads, like, I'm going to go grind it out here for a day in the cold weather.
Hopefully I'll get a couple snaps this weekend. I'll see you.
No doubt.
Hey, Will, we appreciate you so much, man. Busting with the boys is fantastic. Wherever you go next, we'll be lucky to have you, and thanks for joining us.
Pat, I appreciate you, brother. AJ, next time you need a lot of stogie. And also, you guys need to come to Nashville. We forgot to mention that.
Oh, yeah. Hey, when are we doing that? How are we doing that? Where are you just near downtown? We just go to Broadway, put on a cowboy hat, and we're fucking there?
Yeah, we'll get you some boots. It's called the 20-minute city. You can be in Nashville. We can get anywhere. But you guys need to come in July when there's dead space with sports. We can liven it up for the people, give the people what they want. I think we can have some fun, have a nice little collab. You can see the new spot.
It'd be an honor, I think. AJ, is that all right with you, AJ?
Absolutely, man. Especially since you're going to buy a plane, I'll just hitch a ride.
Yeah, I love that.
By the way,
hey, I appreciate you boys, man.
Hey, which one do you love? Do you love that I'm buying a plane or that he just kind of shit on me buying a plane? Which one?
Both, because Taylor will do the same thing. I'm flying Southwest. He's flying private jets. Like, you know what? When somebody's got that PJ, you take advantage.
Hey, bingo. We'll see you in July, hopefully. Ladies and gentlemen, Will Compton. Hey, great teeth on that son of a bitch, huh?
I said the same thing to Ty. I was like, this guy's teeth are so white.
He was the most handsome, white, bland face that was kind of lying there for a while. What a guy. Hey, how's it feel? You know? Poster up on the wall, one of the legendary guys in the league right now.
Hero.
Click clack, AJ Hawk.
I don't know if there was an Under Armour poster.
Yeah, there was.
Dude. They were trying to get every dollar. You took every dollar from them, so they had to try to make it back as much as they possibly could. They had you everywhere. They had you doing this. They had you doing that. I mean, there was.
Hey, PK Subban is in Dick's. He has a huge picture of him up at Dick's. Is he still a current player?
So he's a current player. He also just signed on as an ESPN analyst for their new hockey coverage, which, by the way, we're big fans of. I thought he was somebody that they should have been marketing because he could talk. He also, by the way, not normal black hockey player. He happens to be very, very good, has a great personality. Then they kind of just, passed him, shoot him off. And now it's like the NHL maybe has a little change of heart. Like, oh, this guy, good for our Oh, they're good for our sport. Okay, we want people to potentially know that we exist out here. That's good news.
Did they team him up with Barry Melrose? Do we know?
Hey, listen, that guy, best suit game in the biz. Ask about his mullet. He will not respond in a positive fashion.
Damn it.
I was on a show with me and Dan Dockich. I was co-hosting alongside Dan Dockich. I think we had Barry Melrose on. What's that?
We took a break when AJ's internet was all messed up.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Why'd I hang up on Will then? I thought we had to go. Golly, that's amateur hour.
It's AJ's fault.
Thanks a lot, AJ.
I mean, you could have asked me. I knew that we were going to the Hard Out.
Well, you know that because you were...
You're all doped up, aren't you?
Me? No, maybe, but it's his internet got me flustered.
Yeah.
Will was great talk, too. I'm a big fan of Will. I hope he gets signed. So it's Green Bay, potentially. Sounds like it's Green Bay, potentially, Tennessee, Atlanta, and I don't know who else, but it seems like there are some teams interested in old Will Compton. Now, does Vrabes know that there's other teams interested? I'd assume he knows that Arthur's in there. Vrabes isn't going to want that guy out of the locker room, I don't think, AJ. And, Will's saying he's a little bit more buttoned up, obviously, when he's in there. I apologize for that whole thing. A good locker room, a good culture is huge. You need that locker room guy in there, AJ.
I mean, absolutely. Can you imagine Taylor Lewan and Will in the same just those kind of people keep it fun, keep it competitive. Yeah, you need a lot of people you need everyone. Like you said, the Bob Spillane types that are just so happy to be there. That's what makes the locker room fun.
Yeah, all the different types of humans in there. But as it gets to become Groundhog's Day for 6 months straight, basically, which is what the season is, every once in a while you need a dance clown out there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Hey, how we doing?
Here we go.
Hey, here we go. The coaches, there's a lot of coaches that have made entire careers off of that, by the way. Let's get some phone calls, shall we? Shout out to Will Compton. Let's go to Owen in Boston. Bruins are dead. Bruins stink. What do you want to talk about?
Oh, hey, how we doing?
Hey, not too shabby. Sorry to hear about your brilliance.
That's okay. R.I.P.
Thank you,
All right,
Bees.
yeah, thank you, Bees, for your service. That was awesome.
Shout out Boston Connor.
Hey, shout out.
Big UFC fight coming up this weekend.
Who?
Adesanya and Leon Edwards.
Yeah.
We got Nate Diaz getting back in the octagon for the first time in a while.
So that Nate Diaz won. Now, obviously, the main event,
Adesanya,
Stylebender, and that's going to be a great
Italian guy.
Nate Diaz, he's fighting a Stylebender's fighting an Italian guy.
The Style.
Hey, good luck out there, Stylebender. Need to get you back, by the way. That guy was going to be the guy, still probably going to be the guy. Need to get him a win, obviously. But when you talk about Nate Diaz, a 5-round non-title, non-main event fight, he's going to come out, just eat 400 punches and then win that thing in the end, Owen?
Yeah.
Smart booking.
It's 5 rounds?
Yeah, 5 rounds. Smart booking by Dana White there. Nate Diaz, I think he's the second from last. Oh, I don't know what that is. So there's 2 fights after his fight. So is that third from last or second from last? That's second from last?
Third, I thought.
Third from last, yeah.
He's plus 400.
Yeah, third from last.
That's like the years in the NFL when somebody comes in 2013. It's like, do you?
Not the first year.
Which one do you carry over there? So, but that's
Not
a
really.
5. It is. It is like maybe not, but in my brain it is currently. And I also didn't know we went to a break already. So it's a 5-round fight though, and that's because Nate Diaz is just like an absolute stud
He
warrior.
gets better. He gets better as the fight goes on. Yeah, Nate it's fun. We talked about it. The dude runs triathlons. He swims to Alcatraz and back. He and his brother, they're freaks.
So Dana White's like, all right, we'll get you back. Can't have you being a title. I'm sorry, it's been so long, but we already got some other. What do we need to do? And I'm not doing a 3-round fight, dude. No. As he's smoking, probably.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
As he's probably smoking vitamins, he's like, I'm not doing a 3-round. All right, 5-round non-title fight, first time ever. Yep, got it. Dana's
Sounds
like,
good.
Thank God. That's going to be the main event. Everybody's going to fall asleep after that. We'll find out what happens after that in the morning. But that Stylebender fight might be 2-3 a.m. after that 5-round Diaz fight, don't you think?
Yeah, where is it? Do we know?
It's in Arizona, I believe.
There we go.
So full arenas in Arizona too?
Yeah, I think the
so.
Suns have had full arenas. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think Dana would go if it wasn't.
Hey, by the way, Suns, what's that all about?
They got a ball team.
Yeah. They're very good.
Boys got a squad.
Yeah, Chris Paul, by the way, he's got people on skates or whatever.
Seems like he's healed up a little bit.
His shoulder's good again out there in Arizona in the
Do
sun.
they have a chance to win it all though? Like, can they win it all?
No,
Nets,
probably not.
The Nets exist. Yeah, let's go
What
to
about if Harden doesn't make it back?
Doesn't matter.
Still.
Let's go to
Durant.
TJ in Washington. What's going on, TJ?
Blake Griffin.
Oh, what's going on, man?
Yeah.
CJ.
Hey, TJ, what's going on, man?
Hey, man, just out here living the dream. Appreciate you guys. I don't get to call in often. I work downstairs in a cellar, so I don't get that much cell service.
Oh.
But I kind of want to piss. Yeah.
Happy we
that's
could
all
talk to you,
though.
man. Hey, see the light out here, okay?
go.
Down there in the cellar.
Yeah.
Somebody give the guy some service. Jesus.
What do you do down there?
Yeah, what do you do in the cellar? Wine?
Yeah, wine. I'm a little wine stooge out here.
Nice.
Okay.
I mean, I still got it.
So,
Yeah, right on the head there.
Yeah, thank you. I lost it.
But no, I kind of want to piss off some
else
people right now.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
Whoa. What people? Hold on. Listen, I understand we are.
No, some Packer fans and maybe Packer Nation.
Okay, yeah, go ahead. Do what you got to do. They've been coming after me a lot, too, so I was once one of them, but fuck them now. Go ahead.
So I'm just going to go ahead and bury them. Like, Aaron Rodgers, I tip my hat to this guy. But if I'm Jordan Love, I would want to get the hell out of Green Bay. If they're going to treat, multi-MVP Super Bowl champion, first ballot Hall of Famer the way they're treating him, how are they going to treat me? I'm a goddamn stooge that really didn't even want to be put here.
If they cheated once, they'll cheat again, says TJ. If they cheated with you, they'll cheat on you, is what TJ is saying. Look what's going on right in front of your eyes, Jordan, is what TJ is saying. And maybe Jordan is looking at it that way, but Jordan also might be looking at it as, hey, I got to be 100% for week 1. I'm a quarterback. That's what he said yesterday. I can start now. I can start later. This is my life. I got to do what I got to do to get there. Ain't that right, Todd?
Yeah, I think he just wants to play. I don't think, now granted, Packers Nation may never recover from those comments that this guy just made, but I mean, but I think Jordan Love, he doesn't have much of a say in the matter, I don't think. He's just got to get ready to play football.
All right. Well, I think you are right. I mean, Jordan might get to the point of his career where he might be comfortable enough to tell an ownership group that isn't in existence, but a power group in the building to go fuck themselves. I think Jordan hopes to get to that position one time, and I assume he's taking notes. And Aaron, I do believe, saw how Brett Favre was treated by the Packers too, and that potentially has led into this whole thing. Maybe. I don't know. He's never said that. I'm just saying there's been a lot of situations that Aaron has alluded to, or his friends have alluded to through the media, that could have pissed him off. One of them being AJ. AJ, speaking of that, any news on the other side of this break on that whole situation with your best friend?
I have nothing. I mean, what do you think? Is there any communication between Aaron and the team?
You tell us, dude! Ha!
I'm trying to find out from you.
Yeah, I bet.
Good tease, dude.
In the third hour, we will follow up. What's that?
There is kind of some breaking news for the next hour.
What is it?
The College Football Committee is recommending a move to the 12-team playoff.
Yeah, I mean, it is. It's a couple days ago it was said. Now it's moving, so maybe it's more likely. We got a 12-game playoff for college football. 2023. Here we go. Yeah! Three's on the other side. We gotta overreact. Yeah! Before McAfee, we'll see you then. If something happens one time, anomaly. Happens 2 times, it's like, oh, okay, maybe. But whenever there's a trend of 18 plus, 20 plus things being predicted, you got to go like, hey, Groenick, the gig's up. We know. You're a time traveler.
Just tell us.
Bro, I just want to talk to you. I got so many questions. Siegfried and Roy tiger attack. Do you remember that?
Of course.
Do you remember back in the day how tight Siegfried and Roy were with their tigers? It was like every main story was like, oh, these tigers are the best behaved animals on earth, blah, blah, blah. Simpsons in 1993 said the tiger is going to turn. This little friendly tiger is going to become an enemy of Siegfried and Roy quickly, and it's going to happen. 2003, it actually happened. Autocorrect errors, 1994. Before you could even play Snake on the gray little box phone, they predicted that autocorrect will happen on your phone. Are you kidding me? Didn't happen until 2007. FaceTime, 1995. Not even a thought. I don't even know if anybody knew what the fuck the internet was.
Oh, that's that little mark with the A and then the ring around it. At. See, that's what I said.
Mm-hmm. No,
what is internet anyway?
In 1995, they said, don't worry, you'll be carrying around a device where you will be face-to-face with somebody on the opposite side of Earth. 1995, they said that. 2010, it happened. Faulty voter machines. 2008, they predicted it. 2012, it became the forefront of conversation in a big, big way. I assume these voter machines have been up in question for a long, long time, but they just knew that it was going to come to fruition in 2012.
No, I want to vote for Obama.
2 votes for McCain.
Come on, it's time for a change.
3 votes for McCain.
The God particle. Now, this is the big one. Ty Schmidt did research. He said the God particle is the absolute reason why he is 1,000% a time traveler. Homer Simpson got up there like fucking Matt Damon in that movie where they have that
Good Will Hunting.
Good Will Hunting, and draws up this equation for what the God particle is, which what is the God particle?
Yeah, it's basically this equation that essentially like explains how the universe was created.
And they did that in 1998, and the exact equation happens in 2012.
That's unheard of.
14 years ahead of time. They got Homer Simpson up there looking like that goddamn janitor from Harvard, solving equations up on a chalkboard, and 14 years later, it's like, yeah, that's actually how the universe was founded. It's like, wait a fucking minute, little comedy writer with a goddamn yellow cartoon, bro. That's insane. The NSA spying scandal. Everybody knew that the Patriot Act was like in existence, but nobody had a clue that NSA literally knows everything about you. Every dick you've sent has been seen by some government agency, but it wasn't always like that. We didn't know that everything was getting spied on, Sean. Nobody knew that.
I didn't know.
They predicted that in 2007, 2013 it happened.
No, Lisa, it's not like the government is listening to everybody's conversation.
Smartwatches, 1995, they said it would happen. 2014, they came to fruition. America's Ebola outbreak, 1997, they said it. 2014, do you remember when Ebola hit? It was like, it was literally...
Hospitals like shutting down.
Oh, they had people wearing like hazmat suits, carrying people around because they were scared Ebola was possible. In the modern world, this was happening. Years and years and years and years ago. Matt Groening said this is going to happen. The FIFA corruption scandal, 2014, they called it 2015. It came all crashing down. Everybody knew they were getting their pockets greased, making decisions, sending a World Cup to a goddamn desert. Matt Groening said it's going to happen. It happened. Greece's debt default, 2012, they called it 2015. It happened. So many countries out there, by the way.
They picked Greece?
The exact country to happen. Trump's presidency, 2000, they called it 2016. It came to fruition. The Simpsons called this President Trump out there, and everybody probably looked at, those Simpsons guys are so funny. Bang, 16 years later, it is about to happen. It goes down. Lady Gaga Super Bowl halftime show, 2012, they called it 2017. I mean, I think we all knew that she was born this way. She would probably get to halftime show at some point, but to the details that they had. These are not coincidences. Coincidenci. I don't know how you pronounce it.
How the fuck do they know this stuff?
It's
got to be time travel.
Matt Groening is a time travel. I have so many fucking questions. Disney's takeover of Fox, 1998. They said it. 2017, it happens. The Shard in London, which is a building behind Big Ben, I guess. Is that right?
Apparently, that's what Google search said.
1995, 2009, it comes to fruition. Robot Librarians, 95, they called it. 2016, it happens. The censorship of Michelangelo's David, 1990, 2016, it happened. Three-eyed fish from the fucking nuclear waste place.
In Japan.
Three-eyed fish comes to fruition in 2001. Matt Groening did it in 1990. 9/11. 9/11. They called that happening. If you do recall, planes going into buildings, they said it in 1997, 2001, it happens. The Syrian uprising, everything that's going on in the Middle East has all been talked about on The Simpsons. And then he created another show called Futurama. That is huge. He created another show like, listen, here's me rubbing it in the face that's where I could go if I have to. I have so many questions for Matt Groening, and guess what, Matt Groening? The gig's up. We know. I'm all in on you, Matt. And I'm a fan, by the way, aren't we? We're big fans.
I'm a huge fan.
If you want to travel to future me or current me or past me and say what's up, I think we would all be appreciated.
The Pat McAfee Show.
There'll be no rules for our guests, for us, for the things we can talk about. Yes,
speaking his mind.
I've never had a problem expressing my opinions or my thoughts or anything like that.
While being relatable.
I haven't had that manufactured fake-ass celebrity that a lot of people have whenever they go on those big networks. I've had a chance to really build my crew, build my following, build my audience.
And ridiculous.
What am I supposed to do? So I'm supposed to look at something that I can definitely afford and say, nah. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
The Pat McAfee Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back to that show. Hour 3 here on this Thursday, June 10th, 2021. A lot to talk about, a lot to get to alongside AJ Hawk. Yeah. AJ, in the second hour, we got a chance to chat with absolute legend Will Compton about a lot of things happening in the NFL world. As we're going to this last break to hop into hour 3 here on SiriusXM Channel 82, Mad Dog Sports Radio, and YouTube.com/The Pat McAfee Show. We said there might be an update on the Aaron Rodgers situation from his best friend, the man who was in the Kentucky Derby photo alongside Aaron and friends, Miles Teller and everybody. AJ, your update on the Aaron Rodgers situation is...
Exactly what I told you before the break. I have nothing to tell you.
Come on! If you say the same thing you said 3 weeks ago, though, guess what?
Yeah. We're back.
You
know what, Pat? I don't think there's like one big grand gesture they could do to really patch things up. I'm not sure exactly what they need to do, but they need to find a way to get together and figure this thing out.
Okay. All right. Wow. There we go. Okay. So, what we heard from Will Compton in the last hour, kind of breaking news, not being treated as such. He's potentially in negotiations and conversations, and this means other teams that aren't going to be listed here need to get on board quick. Will Compton's talking to the Titans, Falcons, Packers. Mm-hmm. There might be more, there might be less, but Will is potentially joining, one of the hottest free agents in the NFL is joining those teams. What we had just heard, now this is 2, on this show on just a random Thursday.
Massive.
What he's saying is there's no grand gesture that the Green Bay Packers can do that could potentially woo Aaron Rodgers back into the building. A.J. Hawk, friend of Aaron Rodgers, confidant of Aaron Rodgers, man who was in the Kentucky Derby photo alongside Aaron Rodgers doing a inside joke with Aaron Rodgers, says he does not know what it needs to or what needs to happen, but something needs to happen. Can you confirm nor deny the report that is being reported right now, A.J. Hawk?
The report that you just made up that I said?
No, that's what.
No.
This is what I'm doing. Me, Matt Groening, okay? We take a peek into the future and tell you what's going to happen. With what you just said, what I just said is what's going to happen. Now we need to make sure that we confirm with our source that that is how it should be being reported.
Yes, and I forget who. Someone, was it Rapoport maybe, somebody was talking about the relationship between the front office and Aaron, that there needs to be some trust. Isn't that it? Like Aaron needs
Andrew
to trust
Brandt.
him?
Andrew Brandt, a man who was, signed your contract over there and Aaron's contract over there, has had to pitch to the council of what deal to make. He said there needs to be some trust. How do you gain that? Do you go on a trip to Japan together?
Ooh.
Do you do like a camaraderie building trip? Do you go maybe tackle one of those tough mutters?
Oh, yeah.
Good. Do you do trust falls? How do they build up
Ropes course? Do the ropes course up in the canopy of the trees, maybe?
Yeah. And then climb over the wall where you have to go ahead and use each other as steps, because whenever you view yourselves as one long column of stairs, you're going to get to your highest thing.
Wow.
Highest peak.
Yeah.
Now we know.
So whenever they're going over walls on top of each other, walking on shoulders and heads of each other, it's full trust that together we can get to our highest altitude. But if we just try to jump up, we ain't going to make it over the wall. That type of stuff can happen on a trust trip. Are they going on a trust trip? Is that what you're saying? Is that what needs to happen, AJ?
I mean, I don't know, but you know what? It's maybe something I should present to Aaron. Like, think of what Aaron could do here with all the power he has. Like, hey, guys, sends a three-way text to Goody, Russ Ball, maybe LaFleur,
Mark,
even. Like, they're boys, it seems like.
Murphy,
and says, hey, meet me at this location. Sends them a location. They show up, and it's like a day filled of trust falls, maybe some paintball back and forth, maybe a ropes course up there, maybe jumping over walls, helping each other out. And then Aaron can they do that for like 3 days straight. And Aaron's like, yeah, I was coming back the whole time. What do you mean? I just wanted to see you guys suffer a little bit.
The trust fall thing, could you imagine just if as soon as they get there, Aaron goes, trust fall time? What if Mark, go ahead, get up there.
Good luck, Mark.
All right, you're first. Now, let's see. Like, imagine if that's as soon as they get off the plane, they hop in like a bus with there's no windows on it. They go to like a hangar, and he's like, all right, here we go. Welcome. This is what we're going to do. We're going to build trust fall right now. Go ahead, get up there. Your turn. Who's going first? LaFleur, you want to go first? How do you feel about everybody? And if that's a problem, maybe we need to work on it. Is that what they need to do, though? Is it something like that? How do they mend it, you think? You said no grand gesture.
I don't know. That's what I said. I don't know, because it's not like, hey, if you do this one thing, we're cool. Like, I don't. It's way past that, I feel like.
And we've all been in situations that we can relate this feeling towards, right? Nobody expects it at the highest level. I mean, behind closed doors, Tom and Bill were having this type of thing.
Oh, yeah.
That's all kind of leaking out now. But with this situation, we've all kind of been there where it's like, you've done a lot, huh? Haven't you done enough at this point? And then it's like, well, I'm sorry. It's whoa, okay, that ain't. I understand where you're potentially viewing it for the last whatever I've been fucking up, but could you please? And get the fuck out of my face right now. And I believe that is another reason why there's no way that either side knew this was going to become public when it did. You know what I mean? I think that's why we potentially haven't heard anything, because explaining what's going on is it's a personal thing that's happening in a public setting. That's never good, and there's no winner in that whole thing. The sooner it's over, the better, I think, for all parties involved, and most importantly, the fans, I would assume.
Well, there's no way. Like, I mean, again, people were saying that maybe he doesn't show up until like mid-season. Like, what could possibly be done between now and like training camp or whatever that would just magically fix things?
Gotta do trust falls.
That might be the only thing.
Maybe. I know Aaron has swam with sharks, I think, for National Nat Geo for Shark Week. Maybe they get in a shark cage together. I don't know.
Shark Week is just another group of whites hopping in water with sharks every 30 minutes.
Yep.
And all we're doing is hoping one of them gets bit. And it never does.
They never do.
And then we come back next year.
Yeah.
Can't wait, though.
Or at least
Do it outside the cage.
This is the year.
Well, I don't want anybody to get eaten, but don't be marketing something that it ain't. I mean, Shark Week had a run.
Yeah, it's kind of like the Bigfoot shows. Like the Bigfoot shows, obviously they're filmed and they're put out 6 months after. I think we may have heard if they found Bigfoot.
You don't know, dude.
They're keeping it under wraps.
I've been Bigfoot hunting. Okay. Go on. What were you gonna say?
Did you find the elusive? You
saw
Bigfoot?
Well, that's the thing. I couldn't get my phone out in time to take a photo. There wasn't enough light. The moon wasn't full enough. The whole thing about Bigfoot hunting is it's 90%, audio, pal. So whenever you're hollering into a supersized cheerleader, what are those megaphone? Yeah. They had one.
The vuvuzelas.
Yeah, vuvuzela. Yeah, vuvuzela. Hey, soccer's coming around, by the way. Those vuvuzelas are coming back in that. But it was one of those, but it got big and you had to do a Bigfoot yell, which they knew what it sounded like into it, and it echoed through the forest, through the hills. And then you waited for one to come back. And it felt like, you know how we have moment of silences on this show, and they're always interrupted?
Yeah.
It always felt like that moment of silence for the return call from the Bigfoot, we cut it off too soon. I always wondered, hey, maybe we wait another hour, Right. It'll call back. So it wasn't the most, electrifying hunt or pursuit that I had been on, but I did try to find that son of a bitch right there.
What was the call?
Well, it depended upon which Bigfoot expert was stepping up to the microphone.
Can't we pull up some audio? I bet there's some example audio on the internet.
There definitely is.
Oh, yeah.
There definitely is.
But you got it in the repertoire.
No, I don't remember the exact octave, but I do remember it feeling as if, because I did do everybody's potential Bigfoot call, and I don't know if it's a regional dialect, these Bigfoot
sure, probably.
But they all sounded very different. I remember feeling as if I was just yelling into a thing, and I actually thought to myself during my second call, man, these are an angry bunch.
Yeah.
They're like cicadas. If this is how they just communicate, they're yelling all the time. And if they're anything like I think they are, they have our entire operation. They just so happen to be much larger. So I didn't find anything. But Bigfoot hunting, I don't think, is what they need to do to build up the trust. What they need to do, and I'm being serious when I say this, go over to Japan. They just need to go over to Japan, do a tour of Japan, make it a USO tour. You can't talk to anybody but the people you're with. Literally. The Japanese folks do not want to speak to you. They do not care about you. Their language, you can't even guess. Like Spanish, I think you can kind of guess, you can kind of figure it out. French, I think there's even some things that get shared. German's difficult. It definitely sounds different, but I think there's an ability to do charades. Japan they ain't fucking in it. You have no idea what the words are. They are not like, hey, let's talk to the Americans. They've never done anything absolutely terrible to us. It is a thing where you are with your group.
We're all we got.
Send them over there. Me, Chuck, Pops, DeQuell, Anthony Costanzo, Matt Conti, the PR guy. Our trip over there, I think that thing brought us, we should have took the whole team over there.
Yeah.
It was like, here we go. We are all we got over here. And by the way, I think we kind of live by our own rules over here, too. It seems like we are in a movie over here. It was just, I think that's something they might have to do. Take a trip together. Maybe go stare at a beach together. Is that that feels like what's going to have to happen as opposed to anything else, on financials or anything like that?
I don't know. I don't know how you set something like that. Obviously, there's no way they're going to be able to go to Japan between now and the start of the season. You think they're going to all of a sudden take a quick trip to Japan during COVID?
Well, it sounds like they've had quick trips to negotiation table that cost them 3 trips out to Malibu or whatever, and all of them have come back fruitless, pal. You know what I mean? I don't know what else they're going to do, AJ.
Have they tried escape room?
Bingo.
There it is.
Escape room. But actually have Jigsaw run that one where they have to. Where they actually have to do
That's
it.
like riddles, though. Like, Aaron's too good at riddles. He would love that stuff.
Exactly.
That would be good.
He's in a good mood then.
He has the upper hand, by the way, while he's watching these people try to figure it out.
Let him set up the room, and he can watch as these guys try to.
Let's see. Then still, I don't know if that's the.
Well, he can talk with him whenever he wants to.
So he's the voice of God. So he's setting the tone.
He's setting the tone.
See how much success we just had?
Yeah.
Let's keep it going.
That seems a bit weird.
What, the escape room or his voice of God?
If Aaron's like sitting in a perched booth behind some, mirrored glass, and he's just speaking over top of them, making fun of them, basically how they can't figure it out.
Well, I would like to say that it's definitely very weird, but I think that's what Ty was.
Hey, it might work. Who knows?
Yeah, we don't know.
Jigsaw. If he's Jigsaw, that's what he does.
Hey, those Saw movies, dude. I don't like horror films at all. I don't like scary films. I like sleeping at night. I like laughing. You know, if something can put me in a good mood, why are we not doing that instead of the thing that's going to potentially keep me up for a couple of days or maybe not be able to walk into a part of my house or the woods or something like that? But those Saw movies, hey, they got me in there. They were on my Facebook as favorite movie for
Really?
Yeah, made its way in there. Hitch.
Of course.
That made it in there, obviously. Will Smith absolutely crushed it. That left one time. Then Saw went in there, and I think Saw 4 or Saw 3 or something else came in there. I mean, I like those movies. And that was exactly what the escape room came from, right?
Oh, yeah. I think the first Saw movie, I'm probably wrong, but it was like a psychology experiment that a bunch of college kids came up with, and they turned it into a movie.
Yeah, because you got to think to yourself, there's some fucked up people who are, kind of behind this entire thing. The voice of God, if you will. Yeah. Because those are thoughts that had to be put onto paper and then executed. And at some point, I assume during the incredibly creepy stuff, they say, "Nah, not gory enough. You're gonna have to actually cut that off.
Yeah, we want to see his bones break.
Yeah, we want to see him die.
Yeah, we could come up. I think we could come up with some good scenarios.
A new one just came out recently. Chris Rock was in it.
Yeah,
I would like to play a game. That little fucking bike trike.
Yeah, sweet.
I was always.
I mean,
weird.
the best scary movies are Chucky, Child's Play.
All right,
bet you like that, weirdo.
I mean, it's not really scary, but it was awesome.
Do you watch scary movies? You watch those horror flicks, dude?
I'm not against them. I don't love them though. I'm with you. Like, all right, now I don't want to be scared trying to go take a leak in the middle of the night.
Yeah, what are we doing? There's people that love it though.
Can't do them.
King Corbin, he's just got skulls all over his house. He watches those. What are you doing?
Yeah, he's a psychopath. Though.
Yeah.
Saw's not scary. Saw's not like a scary movie.
It's
It's
a
like
thriller.
scary if I was in that situation. But the Exorcism of Emily Rose, that one messed me up. I saw that I don't know how many years ago.
Now, what was I've never seen that. I think I get it, though, whenever you say exorcism, what had happened. And I bet you that was a nightmare of a journey for an hour and a half or whatever. But happy to hear it got out.
Actually, much longer than that. Afterwards, the aftermath is what was worse.
Oh, with your life or?
Yeah, my life. Yeah.
It changed you completely, huh?
Trying to explain to your kids why Dad's scared about something. Yeah.
Hey, don't jump into the pool while holding your nose. Also, can you come with me? We're going over here to the very dark part of our yard. There's some people. What was that one?
Paranormal Activity.
Was that the shitbag one that we had in high school? The
Blair
house?
Witch Project?
No, that was Blair Witch.
Blair Witch.
Blair Witch, yeah.
That one had people doing a lot of that for a while. I didn't watch it, but I seen basically our entire school watched it, I think, and everybody's like, I'm scared to do blah, blah, blah. I'm like, yeah, I'm not watching it. Why?
Did you guys see Candyman as a kid?
Oh, they're remaking that right now.
Willy
actually.
Wonka?
Where you have to, it was like the thing in elementary school to go into the mirror and you say Candyman and see if he appears?
5 times.
That's Bloody Marys.
That's
That was
Beetlejuice.
scary.
What a joke.
Beetlejuice too, yeah.
You guys were doing this? What's going on? This is what your
I
childhood was?
didn't want
You
Candyman.
guys go out and play. Why don't you guys go out and play?
I don't like scary movies. I'm not doing that
Dark
shit.
and cold outside, so we looked in the mirror.
Nah, get a little grit.
Yeah,
Okay,
play
go
in
outside.
snow.
Watching Candyman would give you grit.
I don't think so. I think it
Get a
gives
little
you-
grit. You said you didn't like watching them. You like sleeping at night.
Nah, I like
you didn't
working.
like being scared.
I like working. Okay, I like working hard every day.
Where
I
my
need a good
boots?
night's rest. You ever heard? All these psychologists and doctors, by the way, the new big thing is sleep. Sleep is important. I don't know if everybody knows that on the internet. It's taking over my internet at this point is how important sleep is, That's why you need one of those purple mattresses.
Hell yeah.
Comfy as fuck.
No, but it is. That keeps people up at night, I think. People legit don't sleep after watching those movies. I'm like, why would you want to add that into your life? I don't fully...
There's a new one. There's a new one that's on iTunes right now. Have anyone seen it? The Girl in the Window or something?
Oh, it's on Netflix.
Look, I heard it was pretty good.
So what's that called? The Woman in the Glass or something? Because that's how you just described it.
Yeah, it is. I think that is basically the title of the movie. I got it wrong.
Woman in the window. She's a murderer across the street. in
The
Philly.
girl in the window. Yeah, so it's the woman in the window is the...
Yeah, I think something like that.
Oh, it's a Peeping Tom who's a lady? Oh, Peeping Tina.
She sees a murder.
Wow. Oh, so it's like Pineapple Express?
Sure.
Like Disturbia.
Oh, yeah, where they see
Pineapple Express is good.
See the guy get killed.
Yeah, Pineapple Express, good movie. By the way, there's one where somebody gets killed, they see it, and it's funny. So why don't we just all do that? Let's get to a break. All right, we're going to answer a bunch of phone calls on the other side. The Saw, you don't think scary movie there, huh? No? Because it's like...
It's more like if I'm in that situation, it feels awful, but I'm not like watching it. I'm not freaked out about what's coming up next.
So I don't think I've ever seen a scary movie though.
There are some jump scares in it, though.
Yeah.
You know, there's that like pig head that one of the characters is wearing. They like jump out of a bathtub. You're not expecting
Texas
it.
Chainsaw Massacre.
That one, yeah.
I saw that one. That was a scary movie, right?
Annabelle Horror. You seen Halloween before?
Nah.
Those are.
I've never seen them.
Is that
They just
Bushwick?
look scary to me.
Well, you like scary stuff?
I don't like them. The ones that scare me though are like the demons and ghost ones.
Conjuring.
Oh, white noise.
You should try The Conjuring.
The Ring back in the day.
Good chance I ain't fucking with any of this.
Based on a true story.
36 years. What?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you'd like The Conjuring.
Yeah, they got photos of it from back then.
Based on a true story. We'll give you this is a documentary. This ain't a scary movie.
Exactly. And it is
Conjuring
insane.
I don't know how many people in here have gone ghost hunting. Have you guys gone ghost hunting?
Oh yeah, North Carolina.
Have you actually gone to a place?
Yeah, went up to Hanky Church.
No, okay, I've done that as well. I've done that as well, where I've heard about it. I've gone to the most haunted town in the South. It's somewhere in Florida. I forget what it is. That's how it was marketed. That was on the same trip I went Bigfoot hunting. I went ghost hunting like a couple days before that. It was wild. We didn't find shit, by the way. I got the chills one time. I think it was potentially a breeze. They told me no, that was a spirit.
Oh, wow. Passing through you.
Yeah, woo. I got the chills.
there
Like, you
he
felt
is.
that? That's Sister blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. Do you pay these guys?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, dude. You fucking pay the shit out of that thing. You know what I mean? Oh, no.
Yeah, you don't want to get some bad karma when it comes to the ghost. So, yeah, you got to better pay the hunters.
You can't be messing with the ghost.
I just got a hilarious text message. I will tell you guys off air. We'll make a decision whether or not I should say it on air. We'll be back in 4 minutes. This is Pat McAfee. We're going to, hey, all phone calls through the end here.
Here we go.
Let's go.
Come on, phones.
Let's go.
Bring the
here.
heat, phones.
It's Thursday,
Make a
dude.
commitment. You can make a commitment that are you gonna drop them if they're not good?
Do you want me to or not? You want me to be nicer to people?
I like when you take your aggression out on some calls.
Well, that's the issue, though, because then I'm labeled a bad guy, but really I'm trying to look out for people. So
You're looking out for the audience.
Yeah, but it never gets labeled that way whenever people tell their friends.
Who cares?
Well,
Who cares about labels? You care about labels?
No, I'm outside the box, okay? Look, here's me looking inside the box,
Yes.
all right? I'm outside. I don't love labels, but I think when people get on here, they get pretty excited. But when they stink, god damn it, it's fucking awful for everybody. And it's who has to be the person that tells them who's the bad guy? I guess I'm the bearer of bad news every time. Why don't you hop in and just say, this guy sucks? Why don't you do that?
Okay. Yeah, if they do, I'll jump in.
No,
you won't.
You always go, yeah, this guy's got a point.
good. This guy.
This guy's got a point.
You don't know. Don't nail me down. Don't pigeonhole me.
All right, we're back in 4 minutes with phone calls.
Label me.
No shout outs.
Hey, by the way, Chris Mad Dog Russo is not next. He's not next.
He's not?
He's off next 2 days.
Oh, shit.
Who is it?
Danny Cannell
Yep.
and
Patrick Mayer.
Ooh. They're going to crush. Standard has been set by Chris Mad Dog Russo. They will perform as such. We're back with phone calls. We hope you perform in a beautiful fashion whenever you get through. Like Gumpy, you might end up with a job in the building. You get a good phone call.
How about that?
That is a precedent that has been set here. We appreciate you all. See you in 4. Bye.
Just checking your availability. If you're in Indianapolis now, did you get to Buffalo?
Yeah, I got a plane that's supposed to take me down to game day anyway, so I could definitely have it go to Buffalo first. How long's the flight from Indy to Buffalo? You can find us a plane for like 4 o'clock. I think that'll be perfect.
The best we can do is depart around 5:30.
Okay, do we have can you find any other planes that can get us out of here earlier than that? I was just asked if I could appear in Buffalo within the next 4 hours to basically do the show on Fox tonight.
Okay, I'll call you back.
You know what I'm asking for?
Yeah.
All right, so he's gonna call Jim Irsay and see if I can just use Jim's jet. He's calling me back shortly, but just start packing.
Hey.
You're the absolute best. Does this sound like a potential yes you're saying? He's the fucking best. I would be so thankful. Hey, this is really cool. I don't know how many billionaires would do this for people that have worked for them in the past. This is awesome, and I can't thank you guys enough. Can I take a kendo stick to his back?
We'll talk about it when you get here.
All right, I appreciate you, man. Hey, let's break the fucking internet tonight. What a hilarious life. We are live on Fox in 6 hours and 35 minutes. 3 hours of sleep, no clue what the storylines are. Just fucking let the nuts swing, bro. Let's just go out there and have a good time. Plane company. I know. Here we go, boys. All right, we'll talk Smackdown tonight. This is going to be a night we're going to look back on and remember. And then we're going to hop on a plane and head to Memphis for college game day. I think this is a joke too. I just want to let you know, like, this is a Truman Show. I very much understand that this is not supposed to happen. I got the text at 1:42 p.m. today from Mr. H that says, "Have you heard there have been some travel issues? Can you make your way to Buffalo?" Jim Irsay, owner of the Colts, literally lent me his plane. Might be the most confident I've ever tweeted on it. Something. I didn't know we were that good of friends, to be honest. I was throwing a Hail Mary, and he responded and said, yeah. So I got here about an hour and a half before the show, and to work with Renee, Tom, and be on Smackdown with a bucket of makeup on my face. This has been a dream come true bucket list type situation here in beautiful Buffalo, New York. Come on, boys. We're going to be on cable.
Here by Pat McAfee, replacing our guest commentator Aiden English.
No sleeves in, George. Good to see you.
It feels good here in Buffalo. I got a text from the game, a cerebral WWE official. He said, hey, you might have heard about the travel issues. Can you make it to Buffalo? I said, absolutely. What a magical evening it is, November 1st, 2019. I mean, let's be honest. The Marine was a heater. You know what I mean? He's a great actor. He was great on The Real World. He was great on all of that. Tegan, no! That's how they do it in NXT, baby. Almost took me out holding another grown lady in the air.
November 1st, 2019, greatest SmackDown in the history of SmackDown.
Pat, you joining us? It might absolutely be correct the way things have gone here tonight.
SmackDown in the history of SmackDowns, November 1st, 2019. It's documented. I had a good time out there, man. I had no idea what was happening, so it's really just natural reaction to everything. That was awesome, dude. That's a real bucket list thing. Game day bucket list. This is like complete bucket list. 2 in 1 week. Oh yeah. Got a horseshoe shoved up my ass and a horseshoe owner lending us a plane. Are you kidding me, dude?
This is the Pat McAfee Show on Sirius XM Mad Dog Sports Radio. We thank you for taking the time to seek out this small regional show that streams internationally. Here's Pat and the boys.
From deep in the hills of Humboldt County, the Coastal Cowboy Dip Boys at Canadips have an exciting announcement for the best fans in all of sports. The McAfee Mafia! Woo! That felt weird coming out of my mouth. Mafia you don't talk about. We don't say it.
That's true.
But they were talking about the people that listen and watch this particular show. Go ahead.
You did nail the swearing in earlier, though.
Yeah, what angel is it, though?
It's either the Virgin Mary or one of the other saints
that
they drip their blood onto and then they burn it.
Yeah. Like Mike. This burns in your hand, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
St. Giovanni.
I would never been able to do it, by the way.
Why is that?
100%.
Irish, German.
Oh, you have to be 100%
100%
Italian.
I think your mom has to be Italian, I think. Then I think you, I don't know. Would have been
You'd end up like Joe Pesci.
Ladies and gentlemen, AJ Hawk. I don't think Joe Pesci would be the other guy in there. It would be the.
He wasn't made. He couldn't be a made man, so they beat him to death with a bat and buried him alive.
Al Pacino.
No,
it wasn't Pesci. It was the other guy.
Casino, I'm talking about.
No, it was Ray Liotta. Ray Liotta.
By the way, they're all. Ray Liotta is the guy though that
Henry Hill.
But I had thought about.
Maybe he wasn't made man. My bad. Pesci got beat to death with a bat, but maybe he was.
He was.
Yeah, he was.
Just check Google.
And he saw something, and something happened, and everybody had to die. It was because of a plane heist. Whatever, you get it. Every movie's just.
Yeah,
every mafia movie is a banger, and everyone is the exact same, including the Travolta Gotti movie. That was just absolutely
the best one.
Unbelievable. We won't read the ad read, Jay.
Shut up.
Later. Humboldt County, by the way, though. I mean, right now, promo code LipBoomers, 20% off Canadips, and they'll throw a free Trainwreck can in your order. Trainwreck is a king of sativas that was created in Humboldt in 1970s and has a flavor of sweet lemons and spicy pine. Ooh. The Canadips Cowboys only made 2,000 of these cans, so get the first go by heading to CanadipsCBD.com and buy any 2 cans or more with promo code LipBoomers. You get 20% off, and Canadips will throw a free Trainwreck 10 in there in your CBD patches fresh out of Humboldt County that are a great tobacco-free alternative to those who, have a little bit of a habit.
Yeah, well said.
You love this shit.
I do.
You love these lip boomers from Humboldt County.
Great lip boomers. It actually feels like a legit chop when some of the competitors do not.
And it feels like a as well, right? Also, don't forget, it has like the actual texture, though.
Yeah,
right?
it does.
Yeah, because a lot of the chaw people out there that are potentially listening, all the alternatives kind of, I think they don't hold up as well as tobacco would. Maybe the spit isn't as juicy as it could be with tobacco. That they've got it all done.
They nailed it.
CANNADIPS CBD.com. Buy any 2 cans or more with promo code LipBoomer, 20% off and a free train wreck tin. Also, don't forget 2 winners have been chosen, and Canadips is in the 3rd round for Croptober, which is the best consumer cannabis event of all time. Canadips will be flying out 5 winners for an all-expense paid trip to Humboldt County for an off-road excursion to see the land of giants in full bloom. Don't forget to enter at CanadipsCBD.com/Croptober. I mean, that is wordy, but they're doing a lot of good shit over there. Shout out to Canadips. Phone calls, that's what we're doing, right? No. Yeah, phone calls, but first, hey, there's clips of Julio Jones wearing the number 2 for the Tennessee Titans. Diana Rossini posted this on her cell phone. He looks unbelievable right now. This is from Diana Rossini's Twitter account. She is at practice. She said, "This is Julio Jones. This is also me showing off my camera work. So please nominate me for an award." You got it, Diana. Great shot here of Julio Jones getting some work in. Little fast feet, cut corners. He looks
how big he is.
Yeah, he's unbelievably large, and he looks incredibly quick. And then also, he has come out and said he feels better than ever. He feels young. He feels like he's back whenever he was in Alabama. Didn't take enough time to heal properly last year. I'll be ready to go, tweets Paul Kuharski from Julio's first press conference. I assume there'll be more quotes out of this. Obviously, now it's a spite year for Julio. He has to prove himself again to a new building. He has to prove himself again, probably in his mind, to his new teammates. He probably wants to impress everybody, and now he knows that the Titans are a team that could go. I'm fucking pumped for Julio, pumped for the Titans. Absolutely despise it for the Indianapolis Colts, AJ.
Yeah, it's going to be tough, I think, having Julio so close with what the Colts have going on. But, I mean, so let's say the worst case scenario for Julio is that he doesn't stay healthy, right? He doesn't play a whole lot of games. I still think he has a huge benefit to that team. Did you watch any of them mic'd up a couple training camps ago when Julio was coaching the guys up, teaching them like the tiny little weird things that nobody thinks about, how to keep what foot you need to leave back to try to keep 2 feet in, like all these tiny little tricks. That's going to be very beneficial for the rest of that team. And I think just having him right there just gives you firepower too and gives you a ton of confidence. I mean, Vrabel has to feel even more confident in his team now, adding Bud Dupree on the defensive side. But now you have this dude who is legit first ballot Hall of Famer stud, and I think he can still play.
I got to see it with Reggie Wayne and T.Y. Hilton, right? Reggie Wayne kind of gave the game over time to T.Y. about all the little things like football IQ stuff with wide receivers where, hey, don't lift your hands or look until very late, because Reggie Wayne was able to get open for his entire career, even when his speed, I would never say he slowed down, but let's say he wasn't still running as explosive or whatever. He was able to get out of his breaks in a manner that got him open. And there's just like these little tricks that kind of develop over time that only experience can teach to you. A.J. Brown now has that with Julio, and AJ's been absolutely unbelievable. Now, I'm not saying nobody else has done that, but I think the fact that Julio is that type of leader, after seeing those mic'd up things that you saw, seeing his production level, seeing like how everything is gone, that is why, I was so like, let's get this guy in here. Like T.Y. has had to do that, obviously, for the younger wide receivers. He's the vet in the room, but just Julio being on the field, let's say he's not even at 100%, it changes the whole defense. It changes everything. And I believe Julio will be, because it is a spite year. I think he's going to reprove himself. And he's only had 2 seasons, really, where he's missed any real time in his 10-year career. I'm scared to death of it. And the fact that Tannehill was able to move his cap hit after 1 year after signing $100 million deal. He was able to move his cap hit. It's only $1.5 million next year, I think, for a restructure of the contract that has 2 voidable years at the end. And then all of a sudden, all the cap hit comes in next year and then the year after that. And they'll probably kick that can down the road as well. It's just like the salary cap means nothing. Julio's going to be able to get his money. They clear $15 million in cap space somehow just with this whole thing. He's down to 1.5. Salary cap means nothing. Julio's going to be unbelievable. Feels younger than ever. It's just, man, it's going to happen just like the Tom Brady thing. Hey, just like Tom Brady thing, people said I was overreacting. Now, Cam Newton, all right, maybe I overreacted but I feel like how I reacted, Tom Brady and Cam Newton, 2 very different things. But with this particular case, I just feel like we're going to watch Julio be dancing all over the end zone this next season.
And with the Cam Newton thing, I don't think a lot of us knew that the COVID would actually seriously impact these guys after they had it. Like with Myles Garrett, he said he was at 50% conditioning after he had COVID. That completely changed his season, even though he's still...
And changed Cam too, obviously.
Of course,
Cam got that thing very early, and there's a post-COVID Cam and a pre-COVID Cam. But I guess Jared Stidham's the guy that looks the best up there. But Julio Jones could... What's that?
I mean, Mac Jones, we just saw him on the big screen. He looks fantastic. Jawline could cut glass.
Oh, okay. So just how he appears.
Yeah.
This guy stinks.
Are there reports that Mac's been struggling a little bit?
No. Checkdowns, they said, because he doesn't know the offense yet. It's just Jared Stidham, I guess, looks the best, they're saying right now. That was as of a couple days ago, I think, right?
Yeah, he had one really, really good day, apparently.
Mac?
No, Jared Stidham. But overall, the word has been Mac's the 2.
Hey, how come Packers fans get so angry at us? We talk about the Packers. Not a lot of people do talk about the Packers, and we've talked positively about the Packers for a long time. Now that something's potentially going on, I got a lot of Packers fans telling me, stop fucking talking about the Packers. It's like, if we don't, nobody will. How about that?
Yeah, I don't get it. I see a lot of you guys carrying water for Aaron, et cetera, et cetera. This whole situation has pissed people off so much, and it's kind of like the politics thing where there are the 2 camps, and there is no crossing over to the other camp, I don't think.
Imagine if Julio Jones was a Green Bay Packer, AJ.
That would be a lot of fun. They would welcome him there. But I do think when Mark Murphy said that the fan base is divided, yeah, they're divided. They're not split 50-50. It's not 50% on Aaron's side, 50 against Aaron. It's probably, 90-10 towards Aaron.
Yeah, probably.
I don't know.
I only see the negative stuff. But
yeah, I have no idea what it is.
I mean, they could be upset, like, hey, man, work it out. But every single person wants Aaron back in the team.
Yes. Okay, yeah. That's true. Yeah, that's probably 100% at this point.
And I think the majority of Packer fans, at least that I would ever interact with, I think would say, man, this situation sucks. They need to figure it out and find a way to get Aaron back in there.
I think 10%, and by the way, they might be telling you something that they won't tell other people because you are in the photos. And I think I potentially can get blinded by that as well because, people think of our show every once in a while whenever Aaron pops up for whatever reason. I think because of the season or whatever. But I don't know. I think it's probably 99.99 that won him back. But at the beginning of this, I thought a lot of people were on his side. Then there was a shift that happened, and it was, I think it's natural from NFL fans because it's like, oh, you're spoiled or whatever. But it never got to the point where people calling in this show saying, I'm done with it, get him out of there, like they were with Russell, remember?
Yeah.
And I don't know, that wasn't a large percentage of the Seattle Seahawks fans. I'm not saying that at all, but we got 3 calls from Seahawks fans saying they are done with the whole Russ. Move him if he doesn't want to be here. It happened with Deshaun down in Houston as well. Prior to all the incredibly serious allegations that were brought forward, they're like, God, just get him out of here. I don't think we're at that point yet, and I'm not sure Packers fans ever will get to that point.
No, I don't think so either. And, I mean, people like to get excited, and like I said, especially yesterday with Jordan Love when he's completing all those passes in minicamp, you get tagged a lot and that kind of stuff, but I think people are also very realistic about the fact that, hey, if Rodgers isn't around, next year is going to look a lot different.
Let's go to Austin and Denver. Austin, what's going on, buddy?
Oh, Pat, man, shout out. Thank you for picking up my call there, man.
Hey, man, no problem, man. Thank you so much for calling in, dude. I appreciate you so much, AJ. Ain't that right, AJ? We appreciate Neil over here.
Yeah, we really appreciate Neil. We'll let
Austin.
you know
Austin's his name. Austin's his name. Austin's.
Thank you, Austin.
Thank you, Neil.
Man, I appreciate the appreciation. I feel it all over the place.
Well, we appreciate you appreciating our appreciation, but I don't appreciate the fact that I said your name wrong. I do apologize for that. What do you want to talk about, Austin in Denver? Jesus Christ. What?
Man, I'm glad you were talking about Julio, but the Saints defense has more touchdowns than Julio Jones going against the Saints since 2017.
Ooh.
I'm not saying he's done. I'm not saying he's washed. As a Saints fan, I'm sure he's got bad knees from carrying the Falcons for the last 10 years.
How about your team's dead, huh?
Well, and that's the other question I wanted to ask you. You guys are always talking about the Green Bay QB situation, but the one in New Orleans is heating up, man.
Well,
nobody talks about it, I feel like.
Yeah, is it heating up then? I think training camp, it'll be a big conversation, Austin. Right now, I don't think it's anything because we're not seeing anything or hearing anything other than Jameis Winston's throwing full court basketball makes with his eyes blindfolded. Taysom Hill just signed for $160 million, all voidable. I think as training camp comes, it'll heat up. What are your thoughts on it, though? Who do you want out there?
I mean, I wanted to know who you would take. Would you take LASIK Winston or the Mormon Missile?
Oh, the Mormon Missile. Okay, I like that, Austin. Whoever can play football better is who I would want in that position. But I'm excited to see Jameson when he can see things again. And if Taysom fully focuses on quarterback position, which he's saying he's doing, maybe he can become great too. I think game 3 of his 4-game stint last year, or 5-game stint, he was pretty good one game. He looked like an NFL quarterback, but obviously not a lot of time. AJ, your thoughts on those two battling it out down there in the Bayou?
Well, I think Jameis wins the job initially. I don't know. It's not even from hearing, I guess, a little bit of what we heard of Jameis, and like you said, the blindfolded, full court basketball, throwing a football into a basketball hoop. Maybe that gives him a leg up. But I think Jameis just being a full-time quarterback for the last little while gives him an edge too, and the LASIK. But with Taysom, I love what he is. I love what he can do. I just don't know if he's a every single down quarterback yet.
Yeah, we're going to find out in training camp, and I think that's why we're not talking about it yet. Austin, let's go to
Packers had him. The Packers had Taysom. They cut him. He was on the team.
Aaron like him or not?
I'm sure he liked him. Not as like Brady Papinga really has been banging that drum for years since the Packers let him go. He's been saying how great Taysom is.
Okay, so this Kumaro.
Yeah.
Okay, Kumaro, Randall Cobb, Jordy Nelson, John Kuhn,
Donald, Reggie White.
Yep, Don. And then now Taysom Hill. They just walk out of the building. They even asked Aaron what his thoughts were on Taysom Hill.
Julius Peppers. Doesn't sound like it.
Oh, jeez Louise, dude. Let's go to Neil in Los Angeles. What's going on, Neil? I did not know he was there. That's all game show. It's day, and in your time it's morning. But what's going on, dude?
Just chilling like a villain, man. Watching your beautiful show, man. Love you guys. I was calling about your whole fasting thing, dude. I'm interested to try and get into that, dude. You're looking good, feeling good and shit. So I feel like if I want to be one of the most, hard-working American badasses, I gotta talk to the fucking guy.
I don't know what Seacrest is doing, but obviously, Neil, I appreciate you acknowledging this. I'd assume the intermittent fasting is running rampant in Hollywood out there in Los Angeles where you are. I assume you knew about this long before me. I bet you look fantastic out there, Neil. Don't you worry about any change of diet, pal.
Well, I don't know about that, man. I mean, it's like you're more cut and more tone. That's where I'm trying to get my centered at.
Okay. Well, eat 4 hours a day. I go 4 p.m. Eastern Daylight, right now, until 8 p.m. Eastern Daylight. 3:45 some days, depending upon when we get out of here. But this is a lifestyle. It's not just a diet. And good luck out there, Neil. Ain't that right, AJ?
That is right. You are like the epitome of health.
Me and Terry Crews. Terry Crews is a big intermittent fasting guy. He was on our show, shirt off, and his tits were playing. The bounce. They were doing like a
double dutch.
Trot. Yeah, double dutch. They were dancing though. They were doing the whole thing, and his body. I was like, so what do you do? Just intermittent fasting. I'm like, all right.
Why don't you get him on? He was on the Packers too.
Really?
Yeah. Ask him what he thinks about Aaron.
Hold on.
Serious. I remember Edgar Bennett, great running back in Green Bay, was a running back coach, and I was there. He's like, I play with that dude. Yeah, he was here.
Were you on a team when he was there?
Terry Crews?
Yeah.
I think he's in his 50s, but I did not play. I guess so was Brett Favre. I played with Brett.
I didn't know that. Okay, I thought Terry potentially played with Aaron. That's how.
Yeah.
I mean, you said, why don't you ask him how he feels about Aaron? You're just talking about as a Packers legend, Terry Crews.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, I'm sorry. Jeez, let's go to Grant in Atlanta. What's going on, Grant? Keep your eye out.
Might not even been Green Bay. Might have been another team Edgar played with him. But
jeez. Hey, Edgar or Grant. Sorry, what's going on down in Atlanta? What do you want to talk about, dude?
First off, what's up, Pat?
Like the show.
Thanks, dude. What's up, man?
Boys.
Appreciate you, too.
AJ Hawk, and shout out to the Atlanta Hawks who were going to fucking sweep. Or not sweep, they already lost the game. Shit.
Move on,
Edgar.
Move on, Edgar.
Come on,
Grant.
Come
on, Ed.
That's all right, Grant. What, are the Hawks always good, or is this just like an anomaly this year?
No, we're gonna lose this series, but I'm just enjoying the ride.
I respect that, a realistic view on things. The Atlanta Hawks kind of come out of nowhere, right? The Suns, that's a great basketball city, everybody says. They kind of stunk for a long, long time until the bubble, right? Devin Booker's been like the rebirth, and then Chris Paul goes out there. They got a squad over there, huh?
Oh, yeah, Chris Paul can do it, but again, like we said earlier, no one's beating the Nets, so who cares?
And Chris Paul is obviously OG, it's been around, but let's not, Spider Mitchell up there in Mormontown. Hey, he can play basketball too, AJ. Don't Taysom Hill, Spider, everybody else they got on Jazz up there is a good player.
Taysom Hill's been balling for the Jazz up there.
That's where he's from, obviously, right? Utah. Big Utah guy. That's what Utah does. Utah pumps out greats. Zach Wilson. Yeah. It's a big Utah year. Maybe Utah is the. He got back to the Patriots. Yeah, it's been a big year for Utah. Maybe the Jazz do storm the sun somehow.
Is Hogan from Utah? I know he's playing in the professional lacrosse league now.
Chris Hogan, by the way, congratulations, two-sport athlete at a professional level. Everybody, when he was playing with the Patriots, said this guy played lacrosse. That's all he said. He's catching touchdowns in the Super Bowl, playing great football. All they said is, hey, this guy used to play lacrosse. Look how good he is. Now, guess what? He's playing lacrosse. They're going to say he used to play football.
Okay, he's playing the NFL.
He's unbelievable. Congrats, Chris Hogan. Can't wait to watch his debut. I hope the ex-NFLer does very well on the pitch.
On the field.
On the field, obviously. Yeah. Now, the issue with that potential field and sport is those types of guys, I think they got the mindset of like hockey players. You know what I mean? They'll do whatever, whenever, however. They're going to get down to the hotel and potentially have a little bit of a scrap, a little bit of a schism. And what's going to happen is the way they're going to view the best mollifying way to get over the schism is they bite each other's fucking fingers off.
Yeah, they do.
There's currently something going on in the PLL. 2 players have been suspended indefinitely due to a little bit of a fight. Not a little bit, by the way. Pretty big fight, it seems like. A misunderstanding in a hotel. I assume they were all sober. It was just a classy gentleman's miscommunication. And a finger got bit off, allegedly, by another Premier League lacrosse player. There is the zoom in. It is disgusting.
Yeah.
We should have zoomed that out. That's got to be one powerful jaw. Lacrosse player Matt Godet allegedly has his finger bitten off by Austin Stats, who's got a pit bull jaw.
Yeah.
Okay? Everybody knows this about Mr. Stats. He comes around, he'll fucking gnaw your kneecap off. Just like MCDC, he'll bite a finger off. This guy will gnaw your Achilles if he has to get a win. And now they're both suspended indefinitely. First real controversy in the PLL comes with someone losing their middle finger. I wonder if it was one of these. What?
It looks pretty good.
I mean, how hard do you have to bite someone's finger to bite part of it off?
Yeah, I think just like a chicken wing, you have to go in the right spot, too.
Yeah, I heard it's like a carrot.
Yeah, what's that?
That is what they say.
It's like a carrot.
Do you spit it out
war
then?
dogs.
Well, interesting that you viewed it like a carrot and you pulled that from Ward Dogs. I was thinking that he had to do precision biting
at an angle
to get through the knuckle there, right? Or get through the bone. And this goes back to the lumberjack Olympics where this guy has had to have practiced biting off a finger before. You're not just gonna, because with the lumberjack Olympics, when they got that big axe, some of them are kind of new to the game, the rookies or whatever, the guys that aren't going to make it to the Olympics of lumberjacking next year, they kind of hit that wood at the wrong angle. They don't understand like how you got to get up in there. You know what I mean? This guy with his mouth, he's been there, done that. That finger came clean right off. He did the impossible. He's had to practice. Shout out to Mr. Stats potentially executing a plan that he has had for some time, but it has made me puke this morning when I looked at it, and I almost just puked live on air when Foxy decided to put the picture up there.
I care if I ask AJ why he thinks Chris Hogan, who's from Jersey, went to Penn State and Monmouth, thought that he was potentially Mormon.
I thought maybe he went to BYU. I forgot for a second.
Okay.
Huh. It's weird.
You think why?
Kind of looks like Zach Wilson. I don't know. I thought maybe he went to BYU.
Whoa.
So Penn State Monmouth is where
He went to Penn State, played lacrosse at Penn State. Then he went to Monmouth, played some football there.
Play ball.
What is Monmouth?
That's it's actually in the MAAC. They play Duquesne every once in a while.
Yeah.
It's sexually in the MAC?
They're in the MAAC.
Sectionally?
What do you mean?
Is that what you said?
I think you said actually, and it kind of came out.
Actually?
Came out sexually.
Oh my God. That word was actually there. I'm sorry. I should have known that you did not say anything about that. But when you start talking Penn State, I did not. I thought, you know what I mean? That kind of freaked me out a little bit. You said, actually, I'm sorry. I misread that. They played against Duquesne, Monmouth?
Yeah.
So he's a D3 football player?
D1 AA.
Oh, okay. All right, of course. Sorry about that. Dukes, dude. It's great to be a Duke.
Fucking shot, dude.
I didn't mean that. Let's go to Josh in Connecticut. What's going on, Josh?
Great day to be a Duke.
So he plays D3.
Hey, Pat, AJ, boys. How's everybody doing?
Hey, not too shabby. We're going up to your part of the town, I think, here in a little bit. I think we're taking a field trip over to the New England Revolution region, pal. How's the weather over there, Josh?
Hey, man, it's Connecticut, man. It's very gray.
Oh, the place stinks.
Yeah, Connecticut blows. I've been pounding this drum for a while.
That's where Orlovsky's from?
Yeah.
Huh. Good. Hey, good women's basketball team.
Very good.
Hey, they play women.
Very good.
Yeah,
Page buckets.
Listen, we don't have enough time.
Yeah, that's the truth.
You know what I mean? We literally don't have enough time to go through that Oriema,
Gina.
players
Diana.
up there. You know why they're so good? Because they can't go outside because it's just gray and gloomy all the time. So they go shoot hoops.
Yeah.
Everybody knows they're battling against Mother Nature and the greatest coach of all time, Gina Oriema. What do you want to talk about, Josh, pal?
Well, I was curious to hear y'all's thoughts on the most athletic fictional character of all time. I'm thinking about Forrest Gump, but want to see who you guys got.
Shane Falco.
But he's not fictional.
There's
True.
both can be true. Okay. Let's go to Zeke in Missouri. What's going on, Zeke? That's the right answer, Shane.
Not much, Pat. What's going on, buddy?
Well, I think we all.
Johnny Utah.
Steven Willie Beeman.
Yeah, Willie Beeman.
Johnny Utah.
Am I on?
You're on,
right,
yeah,
cool.
but we had to finish the last call first, Zeke. We all kind of realized we left some meat on the bone there.
Betty like Beck.
Nah, I got you. No big deal. Hey, first off, shout out Pat. Shout out AJ. Shout out boys.
Kenny Powers.
Shout out to you.
Shit on me.
I want to also shout out the absolute Patriots at the NHL game singing the national anthem. Might have made it my new favorite sport.
I agree. Absolutely, man.
However, I wanted to talk about the Steelers organization and why they're so fucking stupid after Dan Rooney died. R.I.P.
All right, rest in peace. Let's have a moment of silence for him. He won the money in a horse race to buy the Steelers. All right, moment passed. I can't wait to hear what you guys say, Zeke. What is it?
That was
Okay, so what I can't figure out is
That was
why
Dan's dad.
Dan was the ambassador to Ireland.
Man, fucking Dan did his thing, too. What do you want, Zeke, what do you want to talk about, dude?
So what I can't figure out is the Steelers drafted Lev Bell in the second round, 48th pick, AB 6th round, 26th pick, Juju second round, 62nd pick. So clearly they're a top-tier drafting team. But for some fucking reason, they got Big Ben over here beating his baloney like a redheaded stepchild
He's not
and
doing it.
refusing to get a new fucking 200 quarterback.
Zeke, great. Hey, like how you're feeling. Obviously a little bit stressed about the Pittsburgh Steelers. Steelers going to win. They'll win 10, 11 games next year, go in the playoffs in the AFC North. Who knows what's going to happen? That's what the Steelers do. That's what Mike Tomlin does.
I don't like what's happening. Every single person that interacts with me on the internet and calls in the show, all they want to talk about is fucking Ben beating his meat. It's because of you two.
No, it's not our. It's
I
not,
didn't say it.
Listen, I will blame them all the time.
Zeke's got a lot to do with it too.
Listen,
Let Ben beat.
I'll blame. Listen,
I would like to talk to that guy who called in's never beat his meat before.
Hey, that guy, Zeke, listen, the beating of the meat is
Never
something.
talked about it to a church congregation.
All right, hold on.
15 times a day.
No
was
church
his-
congregations ever
Blame
wanted
the
to
church.
talk about
I blame the
beating
church.
his-
Well, it was his goddamn whatchamacallit. His
Confession.
PR.
Yeah, no, his what?
His confession.
No, he wasn't
search
talking to a
history.
priest. It was his. It was not his URL and his
Support
cookies.
group.
No, it was not that. It was his testimony
There it is.
for how Jesus has saved him.
Yes.
So it's not our fault, Diggs.
So what did he say
I didn't say it
exactly?
was
How was he
your fault.
saved?
He said he found the Lord. He put the urgings away.
Yeah.
And started focusing on family, faith, and football.
Did he really say like he had a problem? Like it was affecting his
Yeah.
life?
Big time.
He said, look, 8
His
times a
testes were
day.
abused.
And by the way, this is to Diggs's point why our show stinks so much. We did not report this, but how do we not think about it or talk about it every single time this happens? I just don't know. I don't know how we don't
Millions
do
of Americans suffer from the same addiction. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
That's why we're
He's
trying
saying-
to
He was playing
shine a
better. He
spotlight
was doing
on
it.
Tiger did the same thing. We don't talk about him doing it every time he goes out and wins a major.
No, he wasn't doing it to himself. No.
He was slapping
Josh,
cheeks.
I mean, Josh McCown does get off the hook pretty easily as well, but
what?
Josh McCown had that
Big
nice,
time. Yeah. Big time porn addiction.
nice little promo about the seriousness of porn addiction.
I did not know this
Yeah,
was something.
The Josh McCown video, yeah.
Let McCown beat.
You've seen it.
No, I've not seen this video
Yeah.
that you're
We'll
referring
show
to.
you. Yeah. No.
I would assume every other sports show talks about Ben in this fashion, right?
I do believe that's
What's your
the first
problem?
thing that
You're a
comes
part
up.
of this too. Hey, this is 100% your fault too.
You guys told me about it. I had no idea about this.
Yeah,
Sure.
we didn't break the news. What we are
You
saying.
probably broke them.
This is just like exactly. Who knows who did? But to our all we do is just talk about things that we have seen. That is literally we just cover things like that. So I think we often get attacked. You know, I often get attacked for as if I'm the one breaking news. It's like no. I'm just telling you what is being reported out there. For instance, Mai Tai.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like this is in your world. Like Ben's baloney bopping was not our fault.
No.
It was just it was
There's the
happening.
people who are leaking it.
It was, by the way, who's
seeing
recording that
TMZ here.
testimony?
It's also not every day that a Hall of Fame quarterback has to sit out a game because he has blisters on his right hand from smacking his cologne around. We had to talk about it.
He does not miss games.
Wears gloves.
And boots. Because you never know.
Oh, he's always strapped. Just in case. I didn't know he was fully clothed.
Let's go, Giovanni. Giovanni in New Jersey. What's going on, Gio?
What's going on, guys? What's up, Pat? What's up, AJ? What's up, the boys?
Hey,
Shout out Wumbo.
What part of New Jersey, man? What part of New Jersey? Oh, shit. Show's almost ending, Gio. What do you want to talk about, dude?
I want to talk about Trevor Lawrence throwing touchdown bombs to Tim Tebow and leading us to the playoffs this year.
In New Jersey, Jaguar fan. Got to have respect for it. Love you, Gio. Wish we had more time. AJ, Danny Cannell, and Patrick Maher are on the other side of the 6-minute break. Do you have anything to say about what their show's going to be like, or to the serious listeners going in tomorrow?
I'm sure it'll be very good. I called a few games with Danny back in the day for FS1, so they have some good stuff coming up.
He's talked a lot of shit about kickers and punters, but all is forgiven because he's handsome and smart. He's on in 6 minutes alongside a guy named Patrick. We'll see you tomorrow. He has said a lot of things about kickers and punters.
Really? He's been burying them?
Yeah, but he played, so he can do it.
How long you play for?
If people didn't play, hey, you shut up.
Well,
what's that?
And to get him back, he's going to follow up the Ben conversation straight into that show.
Yeah. Good lead in.
This is kind of one of those things. This is just like the jet passing. Like, we didn't mean for this to be what it is, and it's not mean-spirited. We hope you guys have a great Thursday show, but, I mean, we were talking about
who was it recently that was knocking kickers and punters? Was that Kid Rock? Was he tweeting about kickers and punters?
You're such an asshole.
Someone told me he was trashing somebody.
Yes, trashing somebody. All right. Christ, dude.
You are.
You
Sorry, I'm not in the loop.
scumbag.
I'm not there with you guys every morning. I'm not in the loop.
No,
AJ.
what Bob Ritchie just said.
You are.
How do you sleep at night?
All right. Gonna have to cut it off.
Yeah, you have to.
Have to get out of here.
This guy's a grade A bag of shit. What do you
He's a fucking
expect?
loose cannon.
I'm updating him right
This guy's
now.
a loose cannon.
Now he knows.
Wait, you're
He knows, yeah.
updating him.
Well, I don't think he might have seen not the one that was just put out.
No,
but-
you don't think so. Hey, listen, Kid Rock and Bob Ritchie are saying things that nobody in this particular show supports. Okay,
Nope.
AJ.
All right.
So
I didn't know. I heard he was trashing people. I have no idea how.
Wow, he's not in a good spot. I mean,
Doesn't seem like it. Huh?
he needs to be. I mean, just very. I mean, I don't know how it's still up on. Is it still up? There's no way the tweet's still up.
It's still there. Are you
sure?
I just sent it
There's
to
no
him.
way.
Yeah, it's right here. It is not going anywhere.
He quoted himself in response to something he said about the situation. He said from his actual birth name as opposed to his stage name, and this is something that's very fascinating. And obviously, nobody could have expected this turn of events. You know, maybe a teaching situation, a learning situation. Instead, it has turned into a Bob Ritchie talking to Kid Rock situation. And I don't know how those convos go, but I assume maybe it should be done sober, huh? Something to think about. Maybe do that one sober. I'm not 100% sure, but why did you do that? What is your deal? Why? That's not what
I
the
honestly
show's
don't
about.
know what the hubbub is about.
Well, go check your phone.
Check your phone,
There's
dude.
pretty big hubbub.
I saw Connor just sent me something. I guess I'll have to check it out when you guys are on your private jet.
No, you're the fucking
All
worst. All right. We got travel down to Tampa. All right. These weeks are
Is
winding.
there a pay-per-view this weekend?
No. Hell in a Cell is in June
June 20th.
Couple weeks.
Yeah, Father's Day weekend.
That's next weekend.
Yeah. Because having Father's Day this weekend.
Thank you, fathers.
And mothers, yeah. I think we're having everybody over to the house. We're going to celebrate the whole thing.
Let's go.
What do I get Tim? He's listening.
Yeah, what do you get him?
Fucking AR.
Like a tool belt.
An AR.
Tool bed for his truck.
Yeah. That's exactly.
It's a good idea.
That's exactly what we get him.
Get him a Wrangler. Get him a Wrangler. $100,000 Wrangler.
$117,000.
And some change.
Hey, what was your max? I know. Did you have a range of what your max that you were willing to spend?
Yeah, I mean, you heard it.
You saw it in the
So
video.
I stood up and yelled, I did not expect the extra 10% commission and 7% state tax in 117. I mean, I should have cut it off early, did a little bit of math beforehand, but I also didn't recognize that there was a chance $17,000 was going to be charged on top of that thing.
You actually asked the lady, hey, what the hell is that? Where did that 17 come
excuse
from?
me. When I stood up, I said a number. That's where I was at.
Yeah.
What is all this
What's
thing
this?
going on here? And then in the check that I wrote, I just wrote Jeep with a Hemi to the people. And I said, thanks for robbing me. And kind of went about my business. Got the title for it in the mail, by the way.
Here we go.
Here we go. I was driving around with a Mecum Auto Auctions license plate on it. And they said, yeah, they'll get it. Cops will understand. We brought a lot of money this town. And I was like, all right, you got
Cool.
it.
Well, now
You're
you got
right. Never got pulled over. And it's rained every day since I got it, so I haven't really gotten to drive it. But
nice.
Next week, that thing's going to be prowling.
Hell yeah.
So I can't give it to Tim on Sunday is what I'm saying. But I think I am going to give him a truck bed, a brand new truck bed.
Really?
Yeah, God bless your soul over there. Yeah, I think
Like a spray, like a rhino liner, or what do you mean?
you know,
toolbox.
I'm not 100% sure how to describe it.
It's cool though.
It's cool.
It's real cool.
Wow.
It's also potentially in the office and a couple inches too big for the truck that anybody has in this office. So maybe Tim just gets a new truck with a new truck bed on it.
Happy Father's Day.
Hey, happy Father's Day, Tim.
Thank you, Tim.
That thing's going to be here forever, huh? That thing is large.
Yep.
Oh, it's big.
I don't think that's going anywhere.
Wait, is it a cab that goes over the truck
That's like a
bed?
toolbox type.
Step up. It's a whole like super duper truck bed thing that you put on top of your truck bed, I think. And the thing about it is we're going to have to edit the photo a little bit, and we're going to have to cut out some and slide up some on the back end for the sizing issue that we got. But I don't think it's as easy as just ship back, because I think we need an 18-wheeler to ship this fucking thing back, and it's just parked right in the middle of our office right now. Just like these gaming chairs.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, yeah.
How those boxes were just stacked up everywhere, and we gave away literally 30 chairs or whatever to get them all out of here. I don't think it's going to be as easy as that with this goddamn truck bed.
Yeah, I don't think so. I
those
don't know how
chairs-
that thing's getting out of here.
Didn't weigh 800 pounds.
Who was it? Wait, who was it originally for?
Wow.
I think it was supposed to be something for like a new sponsor or something like that to try out.
Thank you, sponsor.
It's
Thank
not
you.
Billy. Doesn't Billy have a little baby truck?
Oh!
Damn.
That's what Diggs says. Or Diggs says in the internet.
Oh, dang.
Tony.
Diggs got a 15-gallon tank in that Silverado.
23 gun.
Sorry. Still a baby tank, though. I mean, nice truck,
yours
baby.
is very big.
It's thirsty. Got to change oil on that, by the way. We're going to see how tough built Ford Tough is. That thing has been telling me to change oil for a little bit now. Who has the time? Who has the time? Maybe.
Good question.
What do? You just show up, right? I haven't done this in years.
It's like 15 minutes. They're so fast.
Sometimes.
Some are.
If you have a Legends
Go to the
license
right
plate,
place.
maybe.
Yeah, you go through the drive-through, just sit in your car.
They're going to ask me about air filters.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to
Say
ask
yes.
me this.
Valve
Give me the
enhancing
standard.
oil.
Give me the
Valvoline, right?
middle of the road
Credit
standard. So I
cards.
guess-
Gotta go premium.
No.
No.
Gotta go premium.
Oh, with how much damage I'm doing to that thing right now, I might need to add premium to heal up the wounds. I'm
Hell
running
yeah.
this thing dry. Built
Synthetic or whatever that is.
Ford Tough. Yeah, give me the new air filter, too.
Hell yeah.
Give me the one that doesn't even fit, too.
Treat the baby, you know?
Just put that on the receipt. I won't even see it. Just charge me for it.
Fuck it. You want pizza and some
Yeah,
wings?
absolutely. Give me, the pepperoni, please. Okay, here you go. That don't
Tire
show-
rotation, please.
It's crazy how those bills are probably should be like this, but boy, there's just you don't know what's going on inside of your car. We had to fix the bop 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 ba da 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 Wait a minute. I had to come because of my oil. Oh, yeah, all that goes in there.
Yeah. That's included.
250.
We put a new car door on there for you too.
That is maybe one of the most upsell jobs in the world. Carnies have to be able to upsell all the time. Oil change folks have to be able to upsell all the time. Veterinarians, oh my God. They're ready for that next surgery as soon as you get out of it.
Yeah, they don't need to upsell, but they sure as hell will.
Oh, did dog talk to you? Oh, I went to school. I got a degree. Dog does talk to me. This is what they need. 4 more surgeries. Oh, Jesus Christ. All right. Well, unless you just want them to die. Oh, my God.
Oh, you don't want your dog.
Oh, my God.
Okay.
All right, yeah, fucking do the whole thing. Do the works. Give her a whole new body, I guess. Jesus Christ.
It'll be $8,000.
Well, are you going to give me a cone to wear? Or are you going to be able to give her some sort of cone that she's not just miserable for the next 4 or 5 weeks, too?
Well, come back in tomorrow. We can do some more x-rays and some more, stuff like that.
Hey, dentists are another group. That's why they had the highest... now, I learned this from the whole 9 yards, so who knows if it's an actual fact or not, but dentists have the highest suicide rate amongst most professions, I guess.
Believe it.
And I thought it was just because they're lying to everybody. You know what I mean? Upselling everybody. Finally, their heart comes back and it's like, God damn it. We ripped a lot of people off. Let's kill ourselves.
What is the reason?
Because you don't know.
No, what is the reason why they have such a high suicide rate? I've heard the same.
And I don't know if it's a fact. I think we heard it probably from the same movie. Good movie, by the way. Whole 9 yards. Good movie.
I never saw that. It's Billy Crystal, right?
Jesus. I guess he is in it.
You don't even know who he is. But.
Oh, yeah. He's a great host of the Oscars.
Really?
Mike Wazowski.
No one references the whole 9 yards and thinks of Billy Crystal.
No. Bruce. And that other guy, the guy who loves cocaine from Friends.
Yeah, Matthew Perry. Not just cocaine.
There's like 4 of them, right?
Huh?
There's like 4 whole 9 yards.
Yeah, well, they added yards and subtracted yards, just like Ocean added a couple people, too. Danny Ocean had a couple. Those are good series and that whole thing. But they say that about Dennis. I think it's because they upsell. I think all those upsellers, I think inevitably it might potentially come back and get them.
Yeah, catches up.
That is correct.
I don't know if that's the case.
What's that?
Male dentists hold the highest suicide rate at 8.02%.
Then physicians and pharmacists and nurses.
It's a lot.
All right, so everybody needs to look after them. Now, I assume the physicians are different because they have to see a bunch of stuff and make decisions that potentially alter everything. The dentist, though, what is that? What could it be? Because they didn't get the whitest tooth?
Factors found to be influencing dentist suicides range from known occupational stressors, toxins and substance abuse, and untreated mental health problems.
You ever see the inside of some people's mouths? Ain't a pretty sight.
Yeah, but I hear the words coming out of the mouths of the dentist, and it's all, okay, you're talking 45 levels over my head. But you got you in the thing, and they get the little thing. Hey, clamp down on this.
Here comes the
Look
fluoride.
at this. We can do this. We can do that. Just it's your insurance, by the way. It's not you. Just we'll go ahead and do this and this and this. Your premium's going to go up eventually for it all, but just this and this. And I think they lay down in bed at night and go, I've fucked over a lot of people.
Man, I'm a dirtbag.
Whoa.
That's probably what they're saying. I mean, shit, they always stick their hands in their mouth. Hey, how's your day going? And then you go to respond. Please shut Please pipe down. I'm trying to work here.
They do make you feel guilty all the time.
All the time.
Yeah, that's what they do.
Oh, you haven't been in about 6 years. Where have you been? Let me get this vacuum thing in your mouth. Sticks to your lip.
Yeah.
That was fun, wasn't it?
Oh, found a tooth.
They do. Nobody's happy going to the dentist, though, so I got a lot of respect for them.
I hate the dentist.
I mean, unless you got like an abscessed tooth you got to get rid of.
Yeah.
Right?
Hey, it's hers.
I try to brush and use mouthwash as much as possible. Exactly. I ain't never going to have teeth like Will Compton had, though. Did you see those teeth at AJ Juicy? He had good teeth over there.
I mean, those are most likely veneers, right? Up top?
Yeah.
Looks good.
I don't know.
I'd wear a mouthpiece if I was him. Protect those guys.
Yeah, but you don't wear mouthpieces, though, right? You don't believe in them?
I don't have veneers. If I had veneers, I probably would have.
So no mouthpiece whenever you're playing middle linebacker in the middle of the collision era of the NFL.
Okay.
Oh, okay, so you're going to use that, by the way.
Yeah.
Now that's a whole new the collision era, because that's kind of what it was, right? Fullbacks.
Oh yeah.
Middle linebackers. AJ was faster than all the other collision.
Towards the
backs.
end, it was probably towards the end of the collision era.
No,
I don't think so. I think you were right in the middle of the CTE studies era.
I mean, he said his teeth were turned into dust
on the field.
Yeah.
And
I said Once. It happened once.
No.
Yeah, but then you didn't miss a play either.
You had
and
8 root canals, dude.
If you miss a play for a tooth, you should not be in the NFL. You know that.
I paid a lot of money for a new set of teeth just to see a headline like this. Thank you, Corked Bats. Hey, good play, by the way.
Good work.
What do they do when they do that? They shave down your teeth, don't they?
Yeah.
And then they build back fake ones?
Put them over top.
They glue them over, yeah.
That...
So you lose feeling.
God,
gives me the chills.
Can they put me out for that if I was to get those?
Yeah, I think you're out.
No.
Laughing gas.
Nah.
No, they wouldn't even give gas for root canals.
Where do you go, dude? Is this the Green Bay Packers again?
They couldn't. It was in Green Bay, but they every time they said like, no, the thing over your nose gets in the way.
Yeah, they freeze the side of your mouth when they do it. They don't knock you out.
Dude, Novocaine.
Yeah.
Of course. Just like a cavity.
Shot on the top of it.
It looks good. I've heard some people, though, once they get them right, their speaking changes a little bit because
At first, yeah. I've had a lot of guys, teammates and friends, that show up and you're like, oh, it's like something about Mary, when he shows up with his veneers.
What's up,
Same
guys?
thing.
Yeah. And then they just get used to it. The
They
tongue
can't
learns.
close their mouth. Can't. Yeah, it looks good though. Once you get, then all of a sudden you settle in like a day in. You're like, that's all you know.
I'm probably gonna get them, huh? If I had to guess at some
You can
point.
request to be sedated. They can put you under if you
Here we
want.
go. Shout out Nick. Put me out, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, give me the IV. What am I? I'm gonna pop back with a lisp and a great set of teeth. Yeah. All right, I'll see you on the other side of this thing.
Sounds good.
How bad do your teeth? Does it hurt afterwards?
Probably.
Now, this may be Big Tooth saying this, but they say it's a pain-free procedure.
That's not a chance.
Big Tooth.
It's already It's painful enough whenever it goes into your mouth and touches something. It's already like
Some minor discomfort and sensitivity for a few days.
But a great set of teeth, huh? And what happens later in life? What happens?
Probably get new ones eventually.
Like LASIK. Might just wear off and then you just have your teeth.
I mean, it's like $20K to get like your top teeth done, isn't it?
Is it
It's
really
expensive. It is not cheap.
It's not cheap.
Oh, so you've looked into this? I did not know it was 20.
I've had plenty of teammates I played with that got them and showed up. I'm like, oh, okay, and then they told me about the whole process.
I thought you could potentially get it like just like off a promo code nowadays because it feels
You
like
should go to Guatemala or something and get them cheaper.
Is it ivory?
That's a good idea.
Will they stay white forever? Are people thinking that there's a time? Why doesn't everybody do this? Do you get cavities?
It's super expensive.
It's $2,500 per tooth.
What?
For like a high end,
Yes.
it says right
Wait,
here.
how much?
500 like is low end, 2,500.
When this is one you can't get the cheap, $2,500 a tooth.
I'll go 1,000.
They last anywhere from 10 to 30 years.
Wow.
10 to 30. That's
They
quite
better.
a jump.
10 would
These
be
big
tough.
teeth.
It's a big range.
So is that 500?
Is this a
2,500?
cable company? Will be there between 8 a.m. and fucking noon tomorrow.
I'm assuming that's based on the level of you're willing to pay.
What is it? Is it ivory? Is that what it is? Bamboo?
Porcelain.
Definitely ivory.
Toilets.
Porcelain.
Definitely ivory.
Thank you, elephants.
You've thought about getting it, huh? What would your
I
mouth?
actually can't get. Because
Big thanks, Elf.
however my mouth sits, my teeth grind on each other because of my bite. And I remember I asked the dude, I was like, what if I got like veneers? Would that help with this bite situation? Because you claim I'm grinding my teeth away in my sleep. And he's like, we could put veneers on. With how your bite is, you'll break them within like 2 weeks.
Bro, you're a fucking maniac.
Yeah.
You probably have sleep apnea, huh?
I probably would
Yeah.
get them. I would get them on the top, but I said I can't. I'm like, okay, so I'm just screwed. You think I'm going to grind my teeth away the rest of my life? He's like, well, we could break your jaw and you get braces for 18 months at least. I'm like, okay, that sounds awesome.
So hold on. Are you going to end up with no teethers, dude? Are you going to
That's
be?
why that's why I disagreed with the guy
Oh.
because I'm like, this has to be other options. This cannot be.
You gonna be out there numbing folks, dude? You got a little gummy games going on, pal?
Maybe any dentist out there, let me know if you think it's possible I could get some veneers to take care of this bite that I have.
Yeah, but you won't listen to them because people have been telling you got narcolepsy and sleep apnea, and you've been just shooing them off. Now some
Not
dentists are going to.
narcolepsy.
Sleep apnea, baby.
How do you
Sleep
know?
apnea is a real possibility, yeah.
But how does that affect you falling asleep whenever the sun's setting, pal?
It just means being tired. Like, okay, so my oldest brother he didn't his wife said, you sound like you're dying every single night. And so he went in and got a sleep test, and they said, yeah, you woke up, you stopped breathing like 600 times at night. And he's like, oh, this is a problem. So then he went in, got the CPAP machine, kind of changed his life.
This guy didn't breathe. Was he just holding his breath all night?
I mean, however his nose and mouth set, and yeah, of course, my wife says if I fall asleep on my back, It's a possibility she may hear me a little bit.
Okay, so I could assume you do snore.
If I'm on my back and Bobby, like General Bob, he's seen me fall asleep taking naps. He's like, dude, you're going to die. You stopped breathing 100 times when I saw you sleeping on the couch.
Why don't we get this fixed? What are we doing? Is there any way other than that loud-ass machine? I had a college teammate that had to get that because he had sleep apnea. It changes everybody's life, I think, around that person to get it. Is there any other fixes? Can they not just go up in there and...
I've had my nose drilled out. It didn't work.
What?
Deviated septum?
Oh, yeah. I had no air coming through. I still don't have any on one side, but yeah, they drilled it out. It didn't work.
That's because the helmet didn't do it, huh?
No. You can't mess it up once you had it done, but it just maybe, I don't know how it didn't take. I need to do it again.
It's because the helmet hit into the nose?
No.
Yeah, it's because you led with your head so much. Mm-hmm. It's broke your nose so much that you can now no longer breathe, which is one of the facets of your nose.
I mean, I've never had good airflow through my nose, but you would think getting it drilled out would have taken care of it.
Me neither, by the way. Invisalign, a lot of people in the comment section saying they can straighten that thing up and then you can get veneers.
It's my bite. It's my, oh yeah, that was an option. I had Invisalign for like 2 years. And he's like, and it would move, it's not going to work, but you could try it. That's basically what he said.
I have some things that are a little bit, out of line too, and
That's Invisalign then.
Huh?
That's what Invisalign does.
Yeah, but 2 years and you have to wear it
and it's gross too. Like I play with dudes that would take it out and set it down while they're eating, and they can't. A lot of people can't talk with it. Some people's, I guess, fit better than others.
I got a little cross thing, One of my lips was.
You got a cleft palate as a kid?
No, not a cleft palate, but it was like unresponsive. Didn't have any feeling. I couldn't move it. It was like, and then I got it late.
Dead.
Yeah, it was like just dead there
for
a bit.
Like how old were you?
I think when I was a kid. I don't know how old I was, but they thought I was potentially just going to have like and I think my job maybe made up for it whenever I started, and then now it's just kind of stuck that way.
Like Rocky. You're like Rocky Balboa.
Yeah, I've never seen that movie. I heard it's great though. Hey, when he beats the shit out of that cow that's hanging.
Oh yeah,
bro, in the freezer.
Oh yeah. Have you seen Rocky 4 at least?
Of course, dude. One of my favorite movies of all time.
So you haven't even seen Rocky. You can't tell me about Rush Hour 1, 2, and 3.
Listen, you can't tell me about Rush Hour 1, 2, and 3.
And I never would try.
Yeah, you did actually. You said it was a bad movie. You actually pissed on Jackie Chan. It became a whole thing. But when you talk about Rocky, I've seen it.
Yeah. All boxing movies are the exact same.
Whoa, Cinderella Man, much different. Creed. I watched Creed.
They're the exact same.
I watched Creed whenever they were on the bikes in Philly when he was running. That was a cool movie.
Let me guess, rags to riches. He wins at the end.
Well, his dad. He was fighting for his dad.
Guess what, Fox? No.
Bingo.
So.
Wow.
I think that is the most boxing stories, though.
All of them.
Not Raging Bull.
Nope. Not
the first Rocky either.
Not the Jake Gyllenhaal one.
Nope.
Oh, Southpaw.
$1 Million Baby.
Classic.
Anything else, Foxy?
She dies, yeah.
Not Rocky Balboa.
Nope.
I watched that in a plane, man. Don't do that. Southpaw, that was
not the fighter.
Fun.
Wait, I think I saw Southpaw.
It is sad, man.
Yeah.
It is sad.
In the ballroom, they fight in the ballroom.
Yeah.
Wife dies.
His wife gets killed.
Eminem's part of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I see that.
Eminem's in that?
Mm-hmm. He had a song for it.
His music. He also Cinderella Man.
Cinderella Man.
Cinderella Man. Cinderella Man. That's another boxing movie, right?
Yeah.
Boxing has the greatest genre of movies, you think?
No.
Okay. What do you think?
I've never thought of the greatest genre. I think it's like anything. It's like when you say favorite music or best music. It depends what mood you're in to what you want to see.
I agree. All right, but I'm just talking sports-wise. You think boxing has the greatest list?
Football. Varsity Blues, The Program.
Remember the Titans?
No, it's a great movie, but it's not one of the best.
What's that?
Remember the Titans. It's cool. It's a good movie, but it's not. I wouldn't put it up there in my top.
Why? Because Gary Bertier was better than you, dude.
Strong side, dude.
Yeah.
I feel bad for Bertier. He got paralyzed, right?
And then he died, dude.
Yeah.
The Mighty Ducks, Mystery Alaska.
Yeah.
Miracle. Goon.
Slapshot.
Good was good.
I don't remember the Titan slander, by the way. I will not forget about. I'm just at this point with everything you say, I just have to kind of just. Be
it's
like,
not slander. You just got to be in the mood.
No, it has to be like, of course. That's kind of, you know what I mean. Of course.
Got to be in the mood for that.
You don't have to be in the mood for Friday Night Lights. You just go hop right in there.
Yeah, it's fun. Like Friday Night Lights, is that a movie? That was a TV show.
I'm sorry, Varsity.
It was a movie first. TV show ruined it.
You're the one that said Friday Night Lights, I think. But
no, Varsity Blues.
I said that.
Varsity Blues, though, that was a movie that got me through, some times there. Mm-hmm. What a movie that was. Are they remaking that? It won't be anywhere near as good if they do.
They can't. That's one of the ones you can't. Yeah. Where it's like, hey, this.
Hey, Mitt, your generation missed out, bub. Those football movies.
No, he's got the Tooth Fairy with The Rock.
Yeah, and All American.
And now, listen, to get off of your little thing, the Replacements. I mean, we just talked about greatest athlete and fictional character. That was a great football movie.
Great film.
Rudy, so good.
Oh, man, love Rudy.
Offsides, though.
What's that?
What'd you say?
He was offsides.
In real life or in the movie?
Both.
No, in real life, he wasn't even on field, I don't think.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
He couldn't even be offsides. That's what I was told, potentially. And that ruined everything. I liked Rudy for a long time.
Oh, yeah.
I was so happy for
His
him.
teammates did not.
Well, that's what I learned over time.
Yeah, talk to some guys that play with him.
Joe Montana.
Yeah, basically said it's a bunch of horse shit here.
That's a liar.
Listen, the guy, the groundskeeper, great guy.
Yeah.
Okay?
Made up, though.
That was accurate.
Vince Vaughn, what a player. But this Rudy guy, this is not set in reality, pal.
He's a fraud. Invincible.
Oh, Vince Papali.
Yeah.
What a movie. How about the
Longest Yard?
great movie, all of them. How about the garbage kicking man?
Garbage kicking,
Field goal
kicking
man.
Philadelphia phenomenon.
Yeah, him.
Tony Danza.
Tony Danza.
Yeah, it's a great film.
That's a banger, isn't it? AJ, you saw that movie.
What's it called again?
Philadelphia garbage man kicks footballs through the uprights.
I
thing.
believe it's the garbage picking field goal kicking Philadelphia phenomenon.
Tony Danza.
Tony Danza.
We Are Marshall.
Oh, Mount, good movie.
Draft
Learn
day.
of the Veer.
Oh, dude, the Browns inside scoop. Kevin Costner running that thing.
I never watched that. Is that any good?
Yeah,
incredible.
Yeah,
Little Giants.
Blindside.
Little Giants.
Blindside. Saban has a great role in that.
Yeah, he does.
Saban.
Michael Orr's pissed. Isn't Michael Orr pissed at the movie because they
yeah.
they portray him as a big old oaf?
Yeah.
Also, I don't know. I got a chance. I think it was Senior Bowl. I was with Michael Orr, or a Pro Bowl. I forget where it was. I was with him. He was a cool guy, incredibly cool guy, like very, very nice guy. But goddamn, he did have that look. Like, okay, that guy could kill you if he really wanted. Like he does not
look like the character that portrays him at all.
No, he did not. It was like, this guy does not enjoy my presence at all. I should shut up or whatever. But I think by the end of the week, whether it was the Senior Bowl or something else, we got along. I think the story was he sold the story rights to somebody, then that person. So, like, I think there was a much bigger, I don't think he was exactly just him hating how he was portrayed in the movie. I think there was a bigger business thing that potentially happened as well, which made me immediately, turn against the movie. But I had watched it by that point, and I was incredibly impressed with him and everything that happened. So it was like kind of a tough feeling. But I think there was something with that whole thing.
Yeah, because there's a book first, right?
Yeah.
And then I think the book sold it to Big Film.
Yeah.
And they did that whole thing.
Didn't Sandra Bullock win the Academy Award?
Yes.
Wow.
It's a good movie.
It was a good movie.
But I stand with Michael Ward, by the way.
Hell yeah.
If you don't like it, I don't like
it. That kid, has that kid that played him in the movie, I see him popping up all the time in different movies, right?
No, you don't. I don't think.
Really?
What was that all about? Was this something that AJ's doing? Is this
I think AJ was trying to.
I just read about this, and stay away, AJ.
Come on, AJ. Again?
Wait, from what?
Again, dude.
Stay away, dude.
I'm dead serious.
Why are you
multiple different
such a terrible person?
He's gained like 800 pounds, and he gets kicked off airplanes because he's too big.
Are you serious?
AJ.
Thanks, AJ.
I did not know
that. Are you serious?
It's because it's fresh. I never saw the movie, and my kids watched some of it the other
All right, I'm done with it. I'm done with it, dude.
And I kept seeing him pop up. In his
everybody's like, AJ, he's so quiet on the show. He tries to tie the whole thing together. He's a professional on the show, as everybody says. Everything that's coming out of his mouth, he's trying to start a controversy for us.
Burying someone.
Every single thing that comes out.
I don't know.
Is that right? Is that right? He said the two things tonight. Oh, I didn't know that.
You guys try to bully me because you sit there with you and the Bugle Boys can sit there and chat, and then I'm just over here on my own. And so I don't know all of the inner workings and what's going on with you.
Why don't you drive down for a show for once, AJ?
We've never been in a studio together, you and me, by the way.
You're right.
Put your desk right here, pal. We'll put a desk right here.
That'd be so weird.
Really? I just sit like this the whole time. Is that right, AJ? Is that your...
We do need to do that. Well, we need to do live shows eventually.
Hell yeah.
Hey, a lot of people selling tickets right now.
Yeah.
Really?
A lot of people selling tickets.
All
over the place. A lot of people selling a lot of tickets right now. We should do that, I think.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work, though. Like to go.
Got to be somebody. Isn't there somebody that you don't have to go on tour, but you could do little pop-up shows?
This somebody, by the way, would be basically me doing it, and
you could hire somebody.
We tried that. We had some, delegated something, and then there was just zero care. You know what I mean? There was zero care for, I thought us and for our fans potentially, the way it got handled, the way things happened, the whole thing. So it's like, I don't think I'll ever do that again, And it's better when
there's got to be people out there, though, that are really good that would take pride in that, and they would feel like they're part of it.
Somewhere, AJ. I assume there's somebody somewhere. Yep. But how do you find that person? Everybody's going to tell you they're that person. It's a whole thing.
Got to get some references.
It's like agents. But who? Who do you get references from?
Other people they have worked for in the past that have booked live type stuff that you want to do.
Yeah, but I don't know. I feel like a live show is supposed to be something. If somebody's paying money to go out. Jerry Seinfeld did his last stand-up. He was like, congratulations, you're out. Okay, this is, you got dressed. You did the whole thing. You bought the tickets. You got dressed. You did the whole thing. I think it's supposed to be something, I think it's supposed to be. So, putting that whole thing together.
I don't know. I'm not saying I have any idea what the live show would be. I'm saying the person that set it up, so.
Yeah, we can't trust those people, AJ. Especially with us. We're just some small-town Indiana, Ohio show, The way we get treated by people that normally operate in that particular world are as if we are scum of the earth, pal. It's just...
Yeah, but if people are coming into the deep end, they will find out now.
They will, they will, won't they?
Uh-huh.
All right, that's a show. We're going to do shows. Got to do it. We should blame Foxy.
Whoa. What for?
Yep. Well, Foxy's with me damn near all the time. Has anybody heard when Foxy's around me, Foxy saying, hey, finish up that live show planning? Has anybody?
No, not once.
Has anybody heard Foxy say that?
Not one time.
I'll add it to the list.
Come on,
I'll remind you
Foxy.
every single day.
My battery's just died.
He said he'll remind you every single day.
Not every day. Oh.
No, he will. He will now.
I had to go take a tour of a place. I had to call somebody. I had to do this. I mean, I was trying my best. And I get to the point where so many things are, I'm like, well, fuck everybody. I'm not doing it anymore. It's just it's a lot. We're going to do it. We need to get on the road. I want to go see the people that have spent their entire quarantine with us.
Yes.
We want to go interact with them. We're going to put on a hell of a show. But this is some of the problems whenever you don't have,
We could ask Ja Rule.
Back office.
Yeah, we don't have a full back.
Isn't Billy getting out of jail soon? He could help set it up.
He has a year and a half.
It's not fraud. It's not fraud. It's false advertising. Is he in jail, Ja Rule?
No,
he's
not Ja.
He never went in.
Oh, you thought that? I thought you were talking about Bill.
Bill's not in jail either, right?
I don't know. I haven't seen him today.
Bill McComas?
Since the show started, is he all right?
No, I think he's good.
I think he's all right. Yeah, he's back there.
Bill's not out here anymore.
Can we play the at-bat?
I gotta find it.
I watched it 6-7 times last night. Died laughing. As soon as these fucking assholes go, bolt, just in the middle of this guy's answer too, right? Middle of this guy. Have you guys at that point hadn't asked your questions yet, or you did? He was answering one of your questions.
I don't think
he.
No, he was on his 1920s run.
Okay, so you guys potentially could have been having to listen to him to potentially not ask a same question that he had already answered, but instead. We all realized, I think, that, okay, none of us are going to do anything more than what Jet Bassin's saying, you know what I mean?
Well, yeah, and like Gumpy said, he was talking about the 1920s. I wasn't going to ask a question about Babe Ruth, so I figured I was probably okay to,
Gotta stop paying attention.
Yeah.
He did not deserve that, dude. I legitimately was listening to him. I wanted that to be known.
So
were we.
Hey, I rewatched it last night. I think I texted you about it. At one point, I started to listen to what Jet was saying because I legit heard nothing of what Jet was saying in that whole interview.
See, you can't actively listen.
I just couldn't handle it. I couldn't look at you. I lost it.
I do think a lot of good points that were being made by Jet were potentially missed by people that have watched that video.
I got them later. I went and watched the video. So I got the info.
Yeah, great points.
All right, play this one time. As soon as they say ball, dude.
You redid your
They're not going to crack down on it. I don't sit here and blame these guys for doing what they did when Major League Baseball essentially. I'm not even going to say they swept it under the rug. They just acted like it didn't happen. Do you guys remember? This is back in 2017. Brett Cecil threw a pitch. He was with the St. Louis Cardinals, and I believe it bounced and Yadier Molina couldn't find it. And he couldn't find it because it was stuck to his chest protector. And at that point, Major League Baseball had a chance to go in and say, okay, something is really wrong here. Something is screwed up here. Instead, Major League Baseball didn't say a thing.
No, we shouldn't. I was thinking.
Brett Cecil said, I don't know how it happened. We gotta do it. And Yadier Molina called the person who asked about it an idiot, essentially. So, this is just baseball trying to hide what any person with logic, with sense, with anything,
you're fucking laughing in his face.
Completely ridiculous.
I couldn't handle it, man. I was like crying. I started sweating really bad.
And now it's paying the price for that.
You're right, Jim.
You also were right after that. It keeps going. Your face turns red from holding in the laugh.
I was trying to eat it, man. That's maybe my favorite moment in show history. I'm gonna be honest. And we were getting attacked last night by people saying we were being rude to Jet or whatever. And it's like I can see how you could say that, and we do apologize to Jet. But man, in the middle of that, I don't think I've felt that alive in the middle of a show in some time, man. In some time.
It was the delivery from the boys over there. What? And then they're like, just how they did it, so kind of nonchalant, under the radar. I'm like, this is not reality.
It was not mean-spirited yet.
Not at all.
But once it started happening, I mean, it had to happen. It had to.
I was thinking about throwing you a pitch, and then pops up on my screen from Zito, throw him a pitch. I was like...
By the way, I think I'm getting comfortable in the batter's box, by the
Same
way.
way,
Maybe it's time to...
take some BP.
Strap him back up.
Maybe it's time to get back
That's
up.
the thing. That's what was funny to me is like how casual and confident you are in the box there during the whole talk. Like you're just taking your time. It's like a comedian that's not scared of silence, not scared of letting it breathe a little bit. And you were in it.
Well, I was in a zone.
Circling the
That's
plate,
what
you got to
happens.
miss that right foot with the bat.
Oh,
Redo
dude,
your
the fucking...
gloves.
Felt so good with the left. I was like, let me go ahead and switch this thing up. Just full man. Sorry, we're reliving it here, but I mean that one brought me back.
You know what though? It brought some. Jet is not backing down at all. Like is Jet mad at ESPN? He's kind of stepping out a little bit and coming after us.
Whoa! See, we don't need to start that whole thing. What you just said right there. I don't know if Jet's
I'm saying,
mad.
have you ever seen Jet respond like this to us? I give him a lot of credit. I respect him.
Well, I like it, and I told him last night, like, hey, I think
he gets it.
He called us assholes.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So he gets it.
Yeah, Gumpy's been on the receiving end of Jet getting it, yesterday a couple times, and I don't know how that one's going to end. Hopefully, you guys end in positive fashion.
Yeah.
But I love when the Jet comes on. It just so happened to lead to like, for instance, if Eddie Olczyk's coming in. And he starts saying something about a goal scorer having sick dangles like Marshawn, who's no longer in the playoffs.
No, he does have sick dangles, though.
I mean, I'd probably do this. And if you somehow bust out a hockey goalie net helmet and stand over there, I mean, I might have to fucking shoot one, That's just something that could happen. It just so happened to be Jet, is what we're saying.
I'll have to get some props up here. My kids play hockey. We have little, like, Nerf face masks and stuff. There you go. I'll bring
You guys
one
play
up.
floor hockey, knee hockey? What do you play?
No, we stand up and play in a little playroom in the basement, like huge concrete
house.
floors.
Yeah, massive.
Huge house. Yeah. This ain't hallway hockey, no. This is down there in the villa.
Playroom in the basement. He's got a goddamn
unfinished
arena down there.
Basement.
In the barn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got the...
I bet Axel's carving people up.
Oh, yeah.
Two-handed them.
He's got a good clap bomb, dude?
I don't think hockey's in our future.
His kids are watching.
He's fine.
Right now.
He's fine, but he's not going to really have the chance.
What does he mean?
Hey, Uncle Pat thinks you're going to be the next Sidney Crosby out there. Keep swinging, all right?
Could be. Hey, he's good. He could be, but I don't think he's going to get the opportunity, man. Because it's like you play hockey or you play nothing. Like, that's it. It's hard. They want to play everything.
How about football? You going to play football? You're going to put his brain in a helmet soon, or what?
I mean, Axel's only 4 now, but my 8-year-old is probably going to start playing tackle next year.
Let's go.
Okay. So you saying that's going to piss off some parenting group somewhere. Now, isn't there a full, don't need to be wearing helmets until they're at least teenagers thing going on? Not
in the football world. I mean, some people are definitely not playing football. Like, people are not putting their kids in football early. They're not playing tackle, all of that.
The play 60 stuff.
It's still happening. There's still tackle football happening.
Hey, if the all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers didn't have his kid strapping it up at the age of 8, I mean, what would we even be
I don't
doing?
care.
It'd be a problem.
People told me I was behind. Like, I didn't care at all. I wasn't going to have him keep playing flag, but I know the guy coaching tackle, and in 3rd grade you can start playing tackle, and my son wanted to play, so I was like, yeah, man, do it. And I trust the coach.
3rd grade tackle. People in Ohio are telling AJ he's behind. Our kids have been tackling since pre-K. Okay, that's Ohio, and that is why football will never die. There was a time there where I think people thought football was going to disappear because of all the science, and people were like, I'm going to put my kid in the hell. The only people that were saying that were people whose kids probably weren't going to make it to the NFL anyways. So there's still people strapping it up in a safer fashion all over the country, and I think Ohio is definitely one of those places. Get that fucking child in a goddamn helmet and pads now.
Right now.
And
It's different, though. They do teach it a lot safer way to tackle and keep their head out of it. There is a whole situation going on with how they're doing it. I don't know how it works, but from the coaches that I know that have coached it, they say it's actually all right. And these are guys that played football.
So at home coaching, you telling them everything you just learned out there is good and all that stuff, but it ain't going to work.
But we know what butters are bread.
Yeah, there's definitely going to be a Mike Allstott situation where AJ's watching on the sidelines drinking a couple beers. He's going to say,
Michael, you drink beers while watching your kids?
I do not, but I mean, like at games, there's parents definitely having a good time.
Allstott.
Hell yeah.
I'm about fucking tired of this guy.
That's what he said. What happened, right?
Yeah.
He went out there and just became the high school coach that day. Yeah, this is my team now.
For travel soccer, did your group of parents?
I don't think.
Our age did.
They got after it every game? Practice?
Weekends, not practice, no.
No, at the tournaments?
Yeah, tournaments, weekends, yeah.
Yeah, because like CFO Phil now is doing this travel tournament thing. He's in hotels all weekend.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, you got to really like these other kids' parents, right? You know, like you got to really like, because you're being forced to hang out with these people. And what do you guys do? Just get all boozed up every weekend? CFO? We got any fucking math problems to figure out on Monday morning? Get all boozed up with these goddamn parents all weekend? I don't think that's how it works in every single team, I guess is what I was told. But I assume CFO Phil and his wife are just down in bottles of wine with these parents every single weekend. I think that's kind of the nature of it, isn't it, AJ? That's what you guys do. You guys just...
Yeah, hopefully you get along. Like I know at least growing up playing travel baseball and stuff, we were together for many years, so our parents were super tight, so they loved hanging out. They have coolers. They're having their own whole situation while we're grinding away the game right here.
Yeah, it's like a community that gets built, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's cool. You hope it's that. You hope it turns into that. You hope it's not like, oh, okay, parents don't really talk to each other.
I think Phil likes all the people. I think from what I've been told. I think it's very obvious if Phil doesn't, I'd assume. Yeah. Those other parents realize.
As long as they're passing, little Phil the puck, then they'll be all right.
I mean, that's smart strategy and on the ice and off the ice.
Mm-hmm.
Feed little Phil.
Now, is Big Phil a big hockey guy? Or is his son just really good?
Yeah. Phil is also really good. Big Phil, CFO Phil, was a very good hockey player.
He also played baseball and football. Didn't just need to just play hockey like you said earlier.
Yeah, he was actually really good at all of them, to be honest with you. Good. He was a articulate goon on the ice, I believe is a good way to describe him. He was a goon mentality, but he had some dangles and speed.
Like Marchand.
No, he's more of a pest. Phil was a little bit bigger, though, like at the time, because Phil hit his growth spurt in, 7th grade? Maybe he had a full beard.
Maybe earlier, I think.
Yeah, Phil was bigger than everybody. Now it's much different. It's much different.
Sure.
Game. You know what I mean? Now
Everyone
the adult
caught
stuff
up.
happened, but Phil was the dad on the ice for a long time. He was good, too. I think they won some. He played for the Baby Pens, the little, not the pro team, the kids team.
Didn't he coach Pitt?
Yeah, I think. Yeah, he's a fucking good player.
Yeah.
Phil's a good player out there. Now he just boozes with all the other hockey parents.
It's just a commitment. It's a giant commitment, man. Like I find an ice time is always early or super late, and then they travel. Like I talk to parents whose kids play hockey around here every weekend. They're like, "Oh, we're in Missouri this week." They're just all over the country.
By the way, he's got a couple other kids too that are doing awesome things. I don't know how he has the time to do it. To be honest, it's been cool following them though. He's kind of he's kind of introduced me to his life a little bit more. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? On the like, hey, this is potentially because it's like, what am I getting into here? And he's, I like talk to him, I FaceTime him, he's at practice somewhere, and then he's driving somebody somewhere else, and then he's over in another city for a hockey tournament. I'm like, who you with? So I'm like interested in that world because I know nothing about it. The kids, the thing, the this, the booze. We're blacked out. We're happy. We're sad. We're winning championships. You know what I mean? Like what happens? What happens if you hate everybody that's on the team? I assume that had to have happened probably to Tim McAfee on the amount of teams I was on. He probably hated a lot of people. Phil doesn't, which is good news. But I'm just saying, like, that has to happen out there, huh? You hate other... Yeah, you do.
I'm lucky. No, man. I'm very lucky. We talk about that all the time, my wife and I. We have... Parents are cool.
How many OHs?
Not always the case.
How many OHs?
Oh, no OHs. We don't have to do that.
Yeah, you say your entire group of people that hate Ohio State.
Oh, no, it's known. Like, you'll fist bump, go Bucks. OH, McAfee sucks, things like that.
Whoa! All right, anything that can bring you guys together, I'm happy for. It's good for the team. It's good for everybody. Let's get out of here. We got a plane to hop on.
They wouldn't say that. I would not fist bump them if they said that. I'd stand up for you.
Hey, that means a lot.
You're a good guy, AJ.
I appreciate that.
So if I get arrested sometime for hitting somebody, I'll tell them what he said. Pat sucks.
Hell yeah.
Hey, if you're gonna fucking get arrested for somebody saying, listen, you're gonna get in a lot of fights. A lot of people saying that these days. You know what I mean? I mean, this is maybe not as serious, and maybe just a little. Hey, that's okay. I don't think you need to obliterate somebody's face for saying it because it's gonna get. I think it's gonna get a bit loud, and I don't know how many knuckles you have left to break. I think it's gonna happen a lot potentially. But I will say, nobody says this. If anybody comes up to me and says AJ Hawk stinks, I'll punch him right in the fucking suckhole, pal.
Yep.
Hell yeah.
Hey, congrats. You just won a lawsuit that's probably worth a lot of money. Pow! Bang! See ya.
A lot of money.
It's only growing.
I might try to get you to hit me so I can sue.
Smart.
Cover that $20 million you're gonna
I was
own.
gonna say, yeah, even your debts.
Ooh. Take it right out of the pocket, bud. I mean, don't act like you know technical terms. Like,
I'm telling you what I do. I have a $20 million golf swing. Okay? Yeah. And that's all I need to have, by the way. That's what I found out. I'm going right here to here to boom to pow to point to where I'm hitting the ball to. How you doing? Bob Ross painting that son bitch. Coming right back down in there.
Yeah. So what are you going to shoot?
Fucking whatever it has to be, dude.
Top 50.
So now whenever you do go play golf, are you going to play from the tips? Like, how are you going to prepare?
No, I'm going to do what I do, everything. I want it to be as easy as possible at the beginning so I get my confidence up.
Sure.
Even if I can find balls that travel further, find maybe the double hold golf courses. Ooh. I need to build the confidence.
Some Vaseline on your driver to take the spin down. People do that, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Oh. I want more spin, don't I? Like RPMs?
Yeah, but if less spin, it won't fucking hook or...
Right.
How do I do that? What do I do?
I used to rub
I tried it.
chapstick
Didn't
on
work
it.
for me.
Oh, I'm using spider tack on that thing?
Chapstick works pretty good.
Chapstick, yeah.
On the driver head?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's illegal.
Is that legal?
Am I allowed to do that?
Probably
on tour,
not, but...
No.
Not on tour.
I think
you could do it in practice.
Stick?
Oh, yeah.
Huh?
You could do it in practice to build your confidence, but you can't do it on tour. But
Not
don't
if
worry,
you're playing
you'll
with
never
Patrick
be
Reed.
in an event on tour.
Patrick Reed that does it?
No, not if you're playing with him. That son of a bitch tattletale on you.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what. If old number 50 and I are battling, I'm going to ask to get that fucking old bastard's clubs checked as well.
Check him right now.
Anything to get in that top 50, I'd like a $20 million check on that goddamn driver right there. This thing's going too straight today, ain't it, pal? You and I are battling for 50th. You're not this good. How is this happening? Check him out.
Or you can maybe like throw one of your clubs into his bag. Like, hey, I looked at it. I think he's got one more than he needs.
Extra bag. He's got too many clubs.
So you guys might want to look into that.
Do we have a salary cap or what?
DQ.
This guy's cheating.
Salary cap on the amount of clubs you can have?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, there's a cap on that. I was going to make a reference to a team that's in the NHL playoffs that is way over the salary cap, and other people have talked about it. But that particular team did invite me to a game, and I have a house in that city, so I'm a fan of theirs.
Yeah, pulling for them now.
So I'm pulling for you. Let's go Bolts.
Let's go Bolts.
I do love saying go Bolts down there.
Hey, they're spending the most money. They want to win the most. Let's go Bolts.
Go Bolts.
They're spending too much money. They got too much. They're over the salary cap. Let's go Bolts.
Go Bolts. Go Bolts.
That's our team. AJ.
Not illegal. You can do it. Nothing wrong with that.
Bingo.
That's the Bolts.
That's the game.
Did Brett Michaels pull you in?
Huh?
Did Brett Michaels pull you in, or was it somebody else?
That's the show. See you tomorrow, dude. We'll be live down in Tampa. What's that?
So it sounds good. Good luck on your flight.
Go Bolts, dude. Are you going to join us?
For what?
Tampa Bay fanhood.
Sure, why not? I don't have a team in the playoffs right now, so that might be my team.
Who was your team? Columbus?
No, I didn't really have a team. Columbus, sure, but not really.
It's in your own backyard.
You hate Ohio State.
It's wild.
It is. It's amazing.
I haven't watched a whole bunch of hockey lately.
Well, we were actually talking about that earlier. It's tough to do. It's tough to watch, tough to find. But now ESPN, Turner, PK, Subban, playoffs happening. It's going to be easier to find. We got to find our way out of here. Hammer Down's in 17 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
We'll be down in Tampa alongside Darius Butler tomorrow.
Let's go.
I think James Jones coming on tomorrow.
Jimmy.
Nice.
I think so. Clarify some comments he made. His thoughts on a real insider situation with Aaron Rodgers, AJ.
You're right.
I think we have somebody else too, maybe.
Guy who's supposed to be today, or
no?
Okay.
Nah.
Kid Rock.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
See you tomorrow.
Just trying to end it.